hardly any water in play. It just centers up between Los Leones and La Bendita. So Howl, as always, finding themselves in a center spot early, but around that field, we already see Sonics, Seventino roaming on in. No one's really getting quite to the center just yet, but as we know, that is likely going to change as the teams are already going to start to rotate in. We're looking at 4 minutes on the clock.
Oh yeah, the majority, if not all, of the southern teams have already made their way into the circle. It's really only the north side teams and Danawa that we're missing. So curious to see how far south around Danawa is going to wrap, and then up towards that north. If you have the likes of Luminosity and 4AM not push too far into the circle center, Ghibli, Cerberus, Ascent as well might have a hard time finding a spot, like finding a good entry to the circle. So if this circle, now again, theory crafting here, but if this next circle, based off of teams on the north side not giving space, shifts south, it's going to be chaos. Because all of a sudden you have Los Leones, troublesome rotation to go through. And speaking of rotations, Na'Vi here, going side by side with 17 shots fired. A few connected shots, but no knocks coming through.
Ooh, it's a bit of love taps, but yeah, no knock for Na'Vi just yet. Howl not exactly in the position, Schofield specifically to follow up on the damage from 17. 17, they were just holding that road, and I think they were perhaps, if they were eyeing center, they were waiting for everyone to rotate in from Picado before it made those final steps. But with Na'Vi having looped right in front of them, I wonder if that might stall their plans, and they'll just be holding around that little bit of a choke point there that they're currently standing on the west.
And I don't know if 4AM are just, okay, they are just stopping here to get some quick loot and then move on. I was going to say this, though. If they opt to set up shop, like this just kind of it plays perfectly into what I was saying earlier. If they set up shop here, so many teams up north are going to have to find audibles, have to find new routes into this first circle. It would be very difficult for all of them to make their way in from there. 7-7 in the meantime has seen a crate in the water. And you know what? You're all alone, buddy. Why not go for it?
Yeah, they're looting north of Puerto Purdy, so it's a free box. They're basically going to be holding, they're already holding a couple of different positions on that. It's kind of a field. There's a bit of a you know, terrain, whatever with it, so it's not entirely flat, but it's essentially a field. They're already holding that position, and that gives 7-7 the space to go and run out and get that gear. It's quite an investment of time for a player to swim out like that, but they're able to use it because everyone else is going to be coming in from the north or the west. I don't expect anyone to be going down that highway between Impala and Puerto Paradiso.
Oh no, maybe you'll see the likes of Ascent feel forced to go all the way down there, depending on how much space they're given on rotation. Ghibli here can see Heaven. Pretty much the man of the team, not necessarily the man of this match just yet, but he has been a huge impact player for Ghibli in their success in this tournament so far, scouting the rotations on forward, spotting Cerberus leave.
Absolutely, and while we are waiting for these teams to be rotating in, Heaven is on my fantasy roster. The reason why I didn't choose to make him captain today, the reason why I wanted to stick with Na'Vi is because a lot of Ghibli's success was based on the fact that they were able to find a lot of really strong but isolated 4v4s. Very few times were there options for teams to third party them and they can just focus 100% blinders on the team in front of them. Now, with I think a lot of teams sort of being more and more aware of how contested the center is, I worry that there's going to be more options of more teams looking for those third-party opportunities. We saw Third Eye lean into that strategy yesterday. I think a few more of those teams are going to be entering the mix here, and that I think might nerf Ghibli's playstyle.
It is very interesting how we always tend to see these like third-party, I should say, setups later in tournaments where it usually kind of plays hand-in-hand with teams not really having a whole lot to lose at this point to see if you can get some extra points, but it works really well. And that always makes me wonder, why is it that when we go off of Enter tournaments, as we hold that thought for a second, little Ghost, I should be able to back off of that. Why is it that teams don't do it earlier in tournaments when it works so well? Because it's always one of those where final couple of days, like, oh yeah, now they're doing this, finally it's working. It's as if they tend to forget that it worked when they then come back to the tournament again.
I think part of it is because it's based off of abusing patterns that you are recognizing from the rounds that have played beforehand.
True.
But also, it doesn't have the highest highs. If you are in the center position, you're able to keep all four up, and you keep, if you don't get those circles, you're in a position to rotate through those circles through other teams. You're not only getting the placements, you're also getting a bunch of kills. This sort of third-partying scavenge point is a good way to pick up things when you don't have a lot of control and power, but you want to make sure at least trying to be one of the teams that's in the driver's seat before you go into that playstyle, because you get a lot more points that way just looking at the way that, 17 and Sonics have been playing so far.
See Soul here. I like the point you made there. Can make perfect sense. Soul,
thank you.
Yeah, there you go. So, sneaking his way forward. I think he's waiting for the cavalry to arrive. And also, Danawas, I don't want to say their success has lied on the Soul, but their downtime period, which has been the grand final so far, has had a lot of Soul dying early involved in it. So I love the fact that Soul ain't getting too aggressive on that one as long as he's alone.
Both 17 and Danawa have a little bit of a box spread intermingled with each other, and they're aware of each other's presence, those two individual players from those teams. But I think at this time, there's not much to play for except for that singular kill, so neither of them is going to go aggressive and try and make a play. It's rather just wait around and see if they can't catch the opponent off guard. And, I mean, it's not just them. Everyone that we're seeing as we're rotating through the map still is in a holding pattern, waiting for phase one to close. There's not really any water. There's a lot of space to play for, but I think more importantly is that there are unplayable mountains in the middle of this phase. And so they just really want to make sure that they commit to a position before they start to go for fights.
Exactly. Now, while the game is remaining quiet for a little while, just want to underline it again. If this next circle, which we've seen them do quite a bit before, does shift south, not even necessarily super hard south, but just south, involved, like including Los Leones and the southern city, it's going to be so difficult for all those topside teams to rotate down. Because either A, you go all the way through Mikado, or you have to go over the water. There's simply not enough space for all those teams to maneuver south. And because Los Leones proves to be such a big roadblock, you only have so much space between Impala and Los Leones to wrap down. And that's where the finals come in. That's where teams tend to get eliminated very early on. So where are we headed?
Only 2 more seconds now. It's going to be... I kind of want to call this a hard shift because it's as far as it can go while still having all land in the circle, but I guess it'll be a medium shift to the east. And as you can see, there are very few teams that aren't already inside. There's a small pocket there on the south, just south of Tiamba, that we're looking at Danawa to go that direction, perhaps, but it's going to be Sonics, Tiamba, Luminosity with those wide spreads across those fields that are going to be in the best position here.
Look for the teams that do the hard wrap rounds. I'm looking at Gen G right now, potentially doing it. Third Eye, Optics to do the same thing. If they come in the southern side now and get really stayed off it, they could be golden. In the meantime now, Na'Vi and other teams as well, trying to rotate through the center. They've gone past the Sonics compound with shots fired now as well. Don't think there's any reason for them to turn around, but there ain't really a whole lot of free real estate available for them.
Na'Vi can get there first. It's the teams that follow behind them that might have to scavenge a bit more for space, which mines down. Shots coming out from Shao DD. Not really tagged onto Lu, so they're going to be able to bunker down in that position just below that rock and a little bit of hard cover fairly well here. We'll see if 17 want to put more presence on that east side, because now that Danawa has retreated from the west, they're in an angle that they could perhaps just lob grenades all over that position.
Yeah. See, 4 AM opted in to stay around at the compound for a little while longer. They came a little bit further down south, and now if they trade around them, I think they don't really have an option but to stay around. But you see the way they park their vehicles, with the exception of Summer, all in positions from where Daytrade can't really get to them and pop the tires. So smart understanding of the terrain and kind of recognizing that Daytrade's around.
Ascend is on the movement here on the East Coast. Forced to be relegated, I would say, on the low ground here, on the far east side. And the only option for them to really play for, and it seems to be the direction that they're going at least, is that field that Tiamba pushed through to get more towards the central off of this phase. But Tiamba are going to have lines of sight onto that angle. I think Ascend, they're coming in with safety, but they're losing a bit of presence at the moment. They're going to have to fight more for it as the game goes on.
But it's not necessarily a threat for Ascend or like difficult for Ascend to play around that, because that caters directly to the other playstyle. Let's sit it. Let's hope that the circle swings to us. If it doesn't, we find a new area of approach. So Ascend obviously opting to go to the southeast side. They've kind of set up that highway out on the east coast for them to go both north and south, waiting for the next circle shift.
We just saw Third Eye rotating out the blue way below Los Leones, just trying to come in from the safest side possible, whether that means taking some blue damage or not. That's that MO, playing slow, picking up teams where they're not expecting it. I don't know, there's no one in the south side right now to be not expecting Third Eye, but that's definitely something that these teams are going to be aware of, is more and more presence of people ratting out in the blue and trying to pick up those kills here and there, as we also watch the rest of Ascend continue to make their way down that angle. It's really the only spot that's free, that's relatively uncontested, but Cerberus way out in the open now, using these ridges in the field to get some good damage on the Na'Vi. Alia is already taken down. Haisaki with a great follow-up frag grenade. This could be explosive.
Yeah, sure could. They crossed over from the gas station first. Sorry, found second, found out third as well. As Cerberus wants more points off of this. They're sat close to Na'Vi on the leaderboard, and now it's just Melman left alive.
Super early for such a sneaky play, but they seem to be making good out of it. It's only Mel up for Na'Vi. Tiamba's shots at range did push Cerberus away. So this could give Na'Vi the opportunity for the revive, but Solozzi has a couple more frag grenades with Na'Vi's name on it. Mel still avoiding it. Mel's still up and at him.
And while this fight unfolds, everyone else is... They've got to be flipping their heads now, because this circle could potentially shift into Los Leones come phase 4. We have got unplayable terrain right in the center of it, and I have no way of calling where this one is going to take us. But for now, let's stay with Na'Vi.
That does make this fight more valuable for Cerberus because they cannot guarantee points elsewhere later on in this game, and Mel just needs to stick these revives. The damage, the bleed out for his teammates. Already lost one, doesn't want to lose any more. The question is, does Cerberus push this effort, or do they take this option, this moment to try and rotate around?
Get extra points, try and see what you can find, because as you just said, I mean, it's already now too late to really claim proper real estate on the other side. Example falls, Melman was able to get Ali back up with nades now coming in as well. It's only going to be a matter of time there. They fall, Tiger able to rack them up. Cerberus annihilates Na'Vi as they fall in 16th.
They made it look so easy. Yeah. It was definitely a good window of opportunity and good use of frag grenades, but I also imagine that this circle shift helped them really sort of tear the teams like Chiamba away from that third-party opportunity so they could rotate in. We're watching Ascent now driving past Third Eye. Rex does get the knock onto Adam, and the rest of Third Eye is not in an immediate position to try and respond. Adam does get finished, but does Third Eye stick around for this?
Oh, Mika kind of out of his vehicle now, forced to stick around. I think that's going to force the rest of Ascent to stick into this position as well.
Chris.
Ascent came in from the hard north side to this circle, but forced to make the wraparound. Nice off angle on Chris, finds Richie. We'll see if he can get the second off, and Mika, crucial that he got help. And actually salute from further up towards the northern side now, up close to Los Leones, takes out all this, and there you go. Third Eye, they thought they were being the thorn in the heel, but that thorn was easily blocked.
Ascend, really good counter maneuver there. Counter strike, 3 kills for Ascend, and that's Third Eye taken out, but they know of Danwell's position. We already saw that third-party angle there from that high ground, from that what is going to be unplayable, but for now, Danwell are playing it very, very well.
Still curious to see whether this one swings hard into the city or if it goes up north. If we are to take, I mean, the team's positions into account, everyone right now expects this one to shift up towards Howls, shift up towards Twisted Minds, and then allow them to play out from there. There's only one team, make that 2, with Genji on the northern side, probably inside Los Leones. 17 sat there, Genji now, making them in from the north, Ascent coming in on the southern side. But if this one shifts southwest, this is going to be a bloodbath.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath either way.
It probably not wrong.
Because it's going to hard shift.
It does go that way.
And I think for Danwell, who is really utilizing the high ground, they're not the only team. There's also Daytrade with some good high ground angles there. They just want to get the points that they can while they can.
Yeah.
Because there is a big possibility that getting down from those mountaintops, from those plateaus, is going to be difficult to do. However, I would much rather be in their position than the team that has to gamble east or west.
Well, Ghibli slowly starting to maneuver their vehicles forward, caught on the field. We'll see if they get the circle towards them or not. No, it's going northwest. Everyone's going to have to make a play here. But for now, it's Luminosity trying to take out Ghibli. Just 2 up, 2 down. As I believe it's Toasty trying to make his way out of it.
Good follow-up grenades as well. That threat from Ghibli has been removed. There's only one member remaining, Toasty on the run, and Luminosity they're holding for now, but as you say, that circle hard shifted northwest, so Luminosity are going to have to move. Sonics are going to have to move. And Howl Esports, they can try and hold this crossfire. Apocalypse with the last kill onto Ghibli, out in 14th place. But Cerberus continuing to push the effort, push the matter against the Sonics.
2 top contenders falling early as Cerberus. Himas goes down, should be a pretty simple rest. As I say that, oh, it's a molly onto Haisagi, should be able to dodge move had happened, and then he would have been instantly out.
Oh, that second one, or rather the third, almost tags him for the final burn needed, but yes, Haisaki is still up. That does delay the timing for the revive and the potential team fight here, but Luminosity, they're trying to get involved, but Shrimsy is making them pay for it. Snaker's now down, mind playing around that rock.
They have to take the fights here. They know that getting into the city at this point probably won't be possible, so salvage what you can out here on the northeast side of the circle. See how many kills you can get before you make the inevitable, somewhat suicidal push in towards the center of the circle. Haisagi running in the blue. His entire team is still alive, but nothing he can do but make the run on foot.
I think Haisagi was spotted. And that's going to be H-Twin taking him out. Tycon remaining with the Groza in hand, but as you say, out in the blue. Sololzi peeking in from the window, dealing some good damage there. But taken out of 1 HP, Mime is finally able to put a stop to that. It's all into Tiggleton now, up close and personal, trying to take care of this last big threat. At the very least, the rest of the Sonics are trying to move out from this position, but the timing has been ruined.
Yeah, everyone knows that this won't be a winnable game, so get however many points you can coming into the next ones. Tiggleton Tycon, now the sole players left alive for Cerberus and Sonics, trying to see if they can outlast one another.
Last sole player in this position. Sonics have 2 members that were able to make a break for the circle. However, Shrimzy is already being cut down. Mime as well. So yes, indeed, now it is the final 2 remaining. Tickleton was left out in the blue, not only to take care of Tycon, but to just have some sort of contingency plan, because they knew that that run in through that mountaintop is going to be, I mean, essentially suicide, as we saw the results.
Exactly. Tiamba made their way into the city. Danoa, as well as the southern side, able to sit tight. No one's really tried to contest them. I mean, they had a pretty good setup for anyone trying to drive up this road, but no one really went to try and challenge them, so they're all right. In the meantime, Ascendas made their way far inside the city. Now, this fight is going to come to an end eventually. No shots connected, but look at the blue, taking away both of them.
Yeah, neither player really feels comfortable committing to the peak, committing to the fight, because it's not just damage from each other, it's damage from the zone as well. Tickleton pre-firing out, heard the footsteps, but once again forced to back away and potentially pop a med.
Yep, as first dates work with his own face balls, you can do it. Tiger with the gross up close, takes it down. Sonics out in 12. A few more first dates now. 4 Tigers to pick up, but I don't think he's going to be alive for much longer here either.
Yeah, just going to try and man out until placement points. Apocalypse now up against STK. They've been slowly edging their way in, and STK have been slowly making their way as well, but coming in from the blue, and Cerberus does get eliminated in 11th place. Tycon unable to really heal med out for that much longer. Vegas down to 8, running in through smokes.
Needs help. Alo needs to somehow distract him. He's doing what he can, but Soul from the other side finds him through the smoke. It was only a matter of time, and now Alo's seen over the top. What a huge shot from Schofield.
Good isolation there. Not much that Penta or Alo could do to help Vegas out, though, because of all of that high ground fire. Danoa are still trying to be kings of the castle. Howell still making it work, though. 4 kills, 4 up. If they can find the last one of Penta, that'll be STK removed. But Danoa, they're unbiased on who they're going to be shooting at from this angle.
They just want to take out all of them. The more space we have on the east, the better off we're going to be, especially if this next circle shifts anywhere west. Loki currently sat in this end of the circle, just chilling on the hilltop. Also, I mean, this circle shifting east, not something you see too often. This one is going to make for a very spicy end game.
It's definitely going to make for 4 AM and Day Trade finding each other, because there's no way to share the entryway from the north side. Who chills Belmoth? Damage comes out, they have the high ground, they have the grenades. And 4 AM, they're all clustered up in a singular position. Dodging the grenades do go for enough, but that's still a bit of damage. Crazy 112 at the very least is going to be falling back potentially to heal.
Curious to see when Day Trade are going to make the aggressive play. Thing is, with them having the high ground, with them having the inside of the circle, they don't really have to. So Puchel's going to lob for a couple more utility down that hillside, but of course, throwing utility downhill, so difficult to time it right. We'll see the last lateness inventory. If you can find anything, not going to happen.
Shalu is trying to get some covering fire for this maneuver by 4 AM. Belmont with the spray coming out of that barrel, not finding enough damage, and now it's actually going to be Lou there from Twisted Minds with the next point of entry with the shotgun, able to put Crazy down in the dirt. Zhao Hai also goes down. And so again, 4 AM just trying to retreat from this position. They're not finding any success with that. They only have 1 left standing, and not anymore. 10th place is going to be where 4 AM finish.
What a split from Twisted Minds as well. Only leaving 1 inside the compound, the other 2 on the hill, so they can pretty much block off the entire push on up. Huge position here, but the mat went unnoticed for a short moment, and that's going to allow for him to take down Batulin's. Great shots coming through. Should allow for Schofield to either get the rest or at least get some utility to make the run further forward.
It's not just that. Day Trader also trying to fire back on that high ground. And so Twisted Minds, no revive possible for Batula, despite him looking safe, at least from the low ground. The Matt from Howell still maneuvering around. At this point, if you're on the northeast edge, the best chance you have for points is just fighting each other, because trying to make a break into what remains of Los Leones is going to be incredibly difficult. Spiral with another nice angle, and a follow grenade is great.
No rest is going to be possible down there, and with downhill positioning too, I don't think Day Trade could steal those kills even if they wanted to. So for Twisted Minds, they lose Perfectix at the drop, and still almost placement points already and 7 kills confirmed. So huge game for Twisted Minds, despite the fact that they took casualties very early on.
Another hardship to the northeast. This means that Howell, the Mad at the very least, can continue to sneak out placement points, and these high ground positions for Danoa, for Twisted Minds, and for Day Trade can continue to do hard work. And now it's going to be 17 and Gen G, and of course Ascend below them, that need to make the hard moves.
Yep, 17 still yet to find a kill, yet to find a point in this match. So for everyone else on the server, they would want to deal with a first place, or current first place team, as fast as possible. They've been gifted a couple of circles in the city, but now, as you said, they have to make a play here as well.
Foxy ready. Heard the vehicle in, saw the jump spot. Of course, it was spotted in return, and so it's going to be grenades thrown from either side. Foxy's arc, it looked good, but not exactly where Suju is positioned at. We still see action on the north in the kill feed, but 17 Gaming and Gen G, they are just focused 100% on each other. And it really is up to 17 to make its first move. Xiaodidi with a really nice angle, but it's not quite high enough to be able to get a lot of information and potential knocks onto Gen G.
And 17 will be much better off taking this fight now rather than later, because once the Ascent Tiamba fight on the southern side comes to an end, you can be pretty sure that Ascent is going to backfill this 17 fight. So right now, if you want to take this fight without a third-party team coming in, it has to happen now.
Mika right now taking a bit of damage from Chiamba, but able to get behind, cover. Longsker, however, does get a knock onto Brex, who was playing that off angle, and so that's the flank position taken care of. Good frag grenades. Longsker is going to go down a bit too close to the blue, not a lot of maneuverability to run away from that one. It's all to 77 and to Pow Pow. 77 in for his behalf is rushing forward with the Groza, still dealing damage, but now he is the only one up.
So much utility damage coming through here from Ascent. Chris holds back, but look at Micah, still holds the angle, still has the corner. Good thing for him is that Dano is looking the opposite direction, because he's miles out in the open, and now they see that touch doing Loki, double headshot connected.
And now 17, as you say, they need to push on a Gen G before they get backstabbed by the, admittedly wounded Ascent. But PO is going to go down to a Molotov from Xiao Bei, so that's going to be that first initial position cleared.
See if 17 can make the grab on down with captain of Gen G taken out of this one. They'll go Suju. They want to make a play, but they just cannot find the right angle of approach onto this garage.
Just staring at each other. Logo Suju versus Foxy and DG98. They're waiting for the utility to try and break that moment in, and Logos, he just wants to peek, and he just wants to peek. But there's always going to be the threat from the high ground, and it's Chris approaching from the backside. That could be that final, I guess, warning for 17 to try and go big here.
Yeah, they don't know how many people just pulled up in that vehicle. So for them, you can see now making the play off that info as well. Pushing up close, there are smokes there. It's difficult to get eyes on anything now. Little goes to the shotgun, pushes on in Foxy though. They have to take down the first threat.
Such a great high-low hold for Gen G in this position, but Taman needs to go activate, and he's actually going to get cut down. Great hold by Xiao Bei, Xiaodidi. The shots are all coming on in. 17 annihilate Gen G. It was a delayed, long-fought fight. And that's given Daytrade the opportunity to push all the way down to the south side.
It sure has. In the meantime, Chris, making the shotgun ring in the mountains up above, finds Soul. Issue for him has used all of his utility in the fight against Tiamba, so now forced to make the wrap around. Not oftentimes you see the shotgun being put to use out in the open, but found Soul, maybe having him think twice about peeking against Salute, though is sat here waiting for Chris to peek around. Should be a kill coming through, and no, as I say that. First one doesn't find him, second one does.
Yeah, that initial damage was more than enough to guarantee, especially with the lack of positioning for its Chris. So 5 teams remaining. A few of them very, very healthy. It's just Penta and the Mad as the loners on the east side, and everyone else is fighting for what little high ground there is remaining. Daytrade and Danoa facing off against each other, and that standoff might give 17 the positioning, but Poochill's not going to let that one go, not going to leave a spot unchecked, making sure that they are not backfilled and pushed from an opposite angle.
The one team that the rest of the server wouldn't want to have sit comfortably in the compound on the west side is 17, continuing to rack up points, continuing to rack up placement points as well. So I think Daytrade now realizes we have to take the fights to Danoa first. We cannot fully commit to 17, because if we do, they will backstab us. And it's much easier for Danoa to backstab than it would be for 17 to make their aggressive play forward from down there.
And down the blue.
Just chilling.
It's a big open field that he needs to run through, and it all just depends on, did Danoa lose lines of sight, or maybe even forget about the last soul from STK, but yeah, their focus is 100% on Daytrade right now. Utility coming out, frag grenades coming out, Molotovs coming out, that looks good! So close for the knock, 7 HP remaining for Poochills. Belmont, Flash, both pushing over to the high ground to try and give some defense, and Flash does strike. First knock, can't quite hit the second.
Had the smokes early, now they're fading, now the cover is gone for Soul and Salute to work with. They need to peek over this rock. They need to peek over this ridge side if they want to find the kill.
A great double push. Salute and Soul get separated from each other. Isolated engagements here. Salute is going to deal some damage, pushes Poochills away. But Loki has been confirmed, so can't even use their down teammate for information. And Belmont now rushing into an opposite direction. This gun could be good for Soul, able to deal even more damage to Flash, but again, the knocks are coming. Salute going down, Soul is able to at least trade.
Such an hot area to take proper fights, and especially when you're outnumbered like this. Belmont now able to wrap around, should be out of vision from Soul. Soul down to literally 1 HP, trying to get the healing up that flashbang. A bit too far to really have an impact, and we cannot take out the Mad and Penta either from this equation. These snakes can do a lot of damage to the players up above.
A lot of damage, especially because they're pushing on in with very little information on where they've gone. Daytrade, I mean, and even Soul, the last one up for Daniel, if he's able to survive this fight, might be completely unaware of which of those little caves below him will be occupied. Eyes towards Penta, is aware of the possibility at the very least, but you cannot check, you cannot hold every single corner.
I mean, they were the ones looking for them initially. They were the ones dealing the damage on that northeastern side initially. So I was well aware that we did not get those instant kills that we would have wanted earlier. There is snakes in the grass. I think for Soul, while he's looking for them right now, the more quiet, the more steady he can play, the better off he is. He wanted to find a spot in the circle, now he's prone. He's just going to try as best as he can to wait this one out.
And in the quiet of this final phase, where we still have 5 teams up, 17, Xiao Di has also pushed forward, has also pitted himself below Day Trade. Suju and Xiaobei still holding out the hard cover. They still want to be able to find that information as well as get some potential knocks onto Day Trade up on the high ground. But they are still putting themselves up for victory come phase 9.
This is huge from Soul. He's wrapped the entire plateau. And you can see here, Day Trade, no clue where he is. They completely lost him. Issues. So he has to be aware that there's a full team of 17 sat down below him. So as much as he wants to peek one fight, he has to peek the other. Soul finds Belmont first.
A great first frag, but how does Blue Shield respond? Smoke's gonna come out, but it's initial damage now. The blue coming on in. The timing does not favor Day Trade, and it favors 17 because everyone else is now pushing in when they heard this fight break out. Soul is going for a miracle play at the moment, keeping Daniel alive, pushing through. Oh, but Blue Shield has the angle.
Nate came from down below, knew that he had to try and make a play. Now the solos galore up against our current first place team. 3 solos versus 17. How, oh how, are they planning on bringing that home? It's going to be difficult for the solos, but we'll see if 17's communication and teamwork can grant them the win here in the first game of the final day.
The Mad behind enemy lines, or rather 17 coming in to steal his territory. Just holding a little bit. Small spot in the cave. Buchos is found by Penta, so SDK has another point, 2 points with the placement that they guarantee. But now what does the Mad do? It's 1v1v3. The Mad knows this and is now discovered, taken down. Oh, it's actually Penta! We get another kill, so SDK are at least climbing to second. But can Penta do this 1 versus 3? Frag grenade out! It's gonna be to the blue. SDK denying a point. But 17 still with the win.
For everyone on the server, this is the last thing that they wanted to see. Now, good thing is, while they get the win, 10 placement points in the book, it wasn't a very kill-heavy game for them. They were sat in the city for a long while while everyone else was fighting outside. So the chase is still possible, but they just made it that much harder.
5 more games, we'll see how far this chase can go. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
Game 1 is done, and 17 puts their 3rd chicken dinner of the grand finals on the board. It was a tough circle. It went to Los Leones. They were there, and all they had to do was get through a defensive Gen G, and it opened the door for them to take home that win.
Yeah, well, that circle was a rough one.
It was
hard to predict it as well. It's also, I've never seen a circle in that zigzag one. It's a super rare one. 17 held it down. They're able to hold 3 guys alive for so long, and also, yeah, you were expecting some of those solos maybe to get 1 or 2 of the players down, but no, the Mad, he wasn't able to log on to 1 and get 1 down, and then it opened everything. And also Penta was able to close the door for Day Trade, and yeah, shoot to kill though.
Shoot to kill, got some points. Cool. Day Trade. I don't know, sorry. I don't know if that was rude, but it's been a rough run for my lads. It was good to see them get into the late game, but they couldn't have a huge impact. The real story came down to the fight on top of that mess, right? As they sort of went back and forth. The team that came out on top, we thought, if they can get this win and keep 3 up in that exchange, maybe they can take 17 down as they try to take the high ground. But because Soul kept fighting, There was just nothing to stop 17.
I mean, 17 when Soul and the boy, like when Dano and Daytrade take each other on, like they're all flushing immediately. Like they're trading punches, right? In a case where they can't keep 3 alive, they're not going to be able to take a 17 gaming that is this strong right now. Take them on with 1 or 2 players.
Yeah.
You need way more bodies to throw at them.
Every time they went for a flush, you could hear laughs in 17 as they just watched the carnage. And they did. To their credit, they played that perfectly well. They knew no one's going to come down here to where we are. We can take our time going up onto the high ground. They laughed every time someone got flushed, and they walked their way into a 3rd chicken dinner. But that is to speak of how strong 17 has been in this event. 3 chicken dinners. They only got 4 kills, but that's fine. That's all you need when you're at this stage. You're coming in first place. They bristled up, they played good defense, and they walked away with tons of points to put on the board.
They traded late as well on 4th place. That's 12 points for them. I mean, all the teams that are on the eastern side that had to fight their way and had to fight their way into this high ground here, it's a rough situation for them because, like, you're not going to be able to go through, you know, these 3-4 teams and another team that's holding the high ground on the very top, like an unplayable. It's just a rough one. Also, of course, really well played by 17 game there, able to take down Genji in this case here. Like that was a really nice play, and overall good defense here inside Xiaobei.
Yeah.
He's been on fire so far this grand final.
And that was really the key to unlocking the win for them, was getting Genji out of that warehouse, open the door for them to just sort of shell up and watch the top of the high ground fight take place. It was a lot of back and forth, some great gunplay for both of those teams up here.
Nice.
But the gunplay was too good. Everyone got hurt, and it just left that door wide open. So the fight happens up on top. 17 gets to watch, a couple of solos, and then from there, it's just a sort of systematic process of eliminating their threats.
Yeah, exactly. And also the angles they're able to take it, just sending it in there, Genji's sending it in, and they're not able to take any more than 1 down, so it's just a rough one for them there. And you can see the damage as well is not too much. Little Coach usually pops off, but here, 65 damage taken, 65 damage done, and 163 damage taken, no kills. Small win, but it's 14 points. And when you're already in the lead, that's going to be even harder for everyone else to catch.
You say small win, and it was a small win in terms of action, but a big win in terms of managing to maintain their position on the front leaderboard. Now, the man of the match will go to Xiaobei. 3 kills, 2 knockouts, 258 damage. Again, this man of the match has to come from the winning team, and that's partly because you took the chicken dinner. You have to maybe play what the circles give you, not necessarily get to go out and have these over-glorified frag moments. Take a look at the team summary, though. Cerberus does take over the lead in kills.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with Cerberus, what they're able to do, with what they had, also being a little bit sick here, also traveling to this location has been a little bit rough for them here. They've had 4 guys sick playing at the same time. That's super impressive. They're able to put this up here, and 67 kills like this. Sonic's still on top for total damage, but the match leaderboard here, it's 14-12. It's very linear. There's 4 teams on 9 points. That is pretty crazy.
Absolutely. So you do see those points coming out there. Daytrade is going to be pretty happy with 12. They are in that mid-pack and have been fighting for a little bit of position. Howl and STK, 2 teams that have been on the bottom coming into today, will be happy to get their hands on some points. Danawa, 9's not bad. When we talked today about them as a team to keep an eye on, we said if they have a big 15-point game, that's them back in the mix. 9's not terrible. If you look at the actual standings right now, they are in the mix with that 74. 17 does make it harder to go after that $80,000 with that jump up. With 5 games left to play, it is wide open. Now, you mentioned Cerberus. They are sick. They have not been feeling well. In the past, we've had teams say, oh, we haven't felt well. We've underperformed at this tournament. And it's over. In perpetuity, we can point to this tournament and be like, yeah, Cerberus did it with 4 sick players.
It doesn't matter at this point anymore. And also, at this point here now, I will say, I feel like it's only the top 5 that's going to be able to catch 17 at this point here. It's like if you're 30, 40 points behind at this point, it's going to be impossible. But still, huge catch-up in terms of there's PCS points on the line, there's a bigger prize pool on the line here, so gotta keep climbing.
Twisted Minds, take a look at them. They look frustrated. They ran into the I don't want to say the troll attack, but the third eye.
The twisted third eye.
Whatever they're doing right now, which they're getting points, but they've changed their gameplay a little bit in the last couple of games, and it's cost some teams like Twisted Mind who are getting picked up in these strange rotation camps.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of like a landmine kind of. Oh no, we don't want to step on third eye at this point here because they're gonna blow straight up in your face and they're gonna take you down. Get at least a couple of players with you, and then you're gonna be down to like 1 or 2 players, and you don't want to see that. Sonic's here, of course. One of the last, if not the last.
Our only hope.
Yeah. To win this event. I talked a little bit with the boys, so like, yeah, we gotta do it. This is it.
Help me, Gunnar Kenobi. You are North America's only hope right now. This is great for the boys. After PGC, the fans, they were devastated with their performance. And honestly, it seemed almost like that was a kick in the back. They've worked hard. They changed coaches. They've been training good. And I think this is their chance. If they have a big game here to get back into that mix with 17. Na'Vi, man, they own the winner's bracket.
They're hurt. Literally got hurt by Cerberus so hard there. They got destroyed by Haisaki. Of course, in a case where it is our global defending champions, they are still in the mix, 83 points. They're 30 exact behind 17. So it's one big game, and it needs to be now or the next game.
Yeah.
Because otherwise 17 is going to be too far out of the striking distance.
And we talked about that at the end, like the losers bracket. You don't want to leave it for that last game, that second to last game, because the circles have been wild in this event.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Miramar, our grand finals have been, with the exception of 1 or 2 games, in the East almost exclusively. So you need to get those points in game 2 or game 3.
I'll say this though, Na'Vi is a team that is really mean us. Like they're fine. They are on the East side. They should be having a kind of good home turf circle.
Yeah.
Some of these circles we've seen, some of their games are great. Also in this bracket, we saw them pop off. Also because some of these circles, of course. Here, Howl on your screen. They are currently 13th.
Okay.
They're a little bit down there. Still, you know, like 19 points ahead of third line. The rest of the Americas teams down there. But yeah, they're still in that kind of big mid-pack. With one good game, they're going to be able to jump into things. Stage right here, also a team to be reckoned with for sure. They've been able to show what they're capable of, and I'm happy to see them stepping up compared to what we saw in the group stage here. Now in the top 10, and again, one of the teams with one good game, you're straight into the top 8, top 6 even.
Absolutely. And I want to touch back on Howl for just a second. They're a team that I don't think there was a lot of expectations for when they came here. They are performing well. They did a great job in the brackets previously, and I think no matter how this goes for them, if they can get into the top 10, they get to walk away with their head held high. They get to really represent their fans and their brand. I'm excited to see if they can continue to do that.
Yeah. Shoot kill. Let me scroll down here. 38 now.
Why'd you have to say that? It's just mean. I don't want to
I
talk
talked
about
to the
it.
boys and I asked, how's your mental going right now? And they're like, yeah, not too good.
Yeah.
6 points yesterday.
Yes.
It's not optimal. And of course, I'm hoping, I love the guys. And obviously they did super well in PS1. They were dominating. They were destroying. And they're on the grand final.
I mean, you want to talk about a team that was destroying before they got here. They destroyed in early stages of this event. I don't know what's going on. I mean, the circles on Miramar have been on the east. Like, things should be in their favor, but they haven't been. My big watch is Na'Vi. We just saw them there. That's a team that has been good. They've had great moments. It just seems like if they can get it to stick together just one more time, if they can come out, if they can have a massive game, this could be the chance for Na'Vi. Returning champions, you know they've got the pedigree. If anyone can keep their mental strong as them.
Yeah, 75 points in one day of winners. That already against the majority of the teams playing here.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if they can do it. With only 5 games left to play, it's hot time to head to the grassy pastures. It's game 2 of the grand finals.
Game 2, and it's Cameron Davis and Toby here to take you through this game. 17 just won. It was only a 4-kill win, but it was a win nonetheless, and that is going to further extend 17's lead. But for all the teams chasing, if there's something that they can use as a point of motivation, I suppose it would be the fact that neither day in the grand finals has 17 won the day.
Yeah.
They've never had the most points on that individual day, which means that even though they're first right now, there is room for teams to perform better than them, and for the teams that are chasing them in the top 4, top 5 behind them, they could potentially catch up.
Also, it's wild how we've now seen the polar opposite. You have Luminosity on your screens as well, thank you so much, observers. A team that stomped their way through the group stage. All of a sudden now, things not going their way. 17, coming into the group stage, we knew there was going to be hot drops to Sonic. Sonics came out victorious. 17 plummets into the losers bracket. Everyone's going, oh, they're definitely the Chinese team we thought were going to make it in, that is not going to make their way into grand finals. All of a sudden, losers bracket comes around. 17 starts playing incredibly well. Petrichor out. New Happy out. I think, honestly, 17 being in that losers bracket might have been the boost they needed in order to go to the grand finals. Look Sonics in the eye and go, you dare come, particularly Picardo will take the fight to you. And that kind of authority, that kind of momentum they've driven into it from the losers bracket is what they're living off of now.
And they have all the momentum in the world.
Yes, they do.
And, you know, if you're unaware, momentum in a Battle Royale specifically is a lot more about confidence and just knowing to take those peaks without getting punished. And, you know, when it comes to the actual points on the leaderboard, knowing that you have a bit of a buffer to take the peaks. And even if you do get punished, it's not going to be the end of the world. Whereas if you're a team that's at the bottom that just hits a brick wall after brick wall after brick wall, that's like anti-momentum, where you're just constantly struggling, nothing is working for you, and you lack the confidence to make those plays, which could lose you valuable seconds of doing what you need to do. That first circle is going to be a hard northeast circle.
I was just looking at the map for Third Eye. Like, oh, who are they jumping on now? But it seems like they were just jumping on a car. So not too dangerous.
Third Eye, they've griefed Luminosity before.
They're going for Luminosity now as well. I don't know if they have any vehicles. They don't. Oh, they do have cars, but they don't have weapons. Richie finds one, finds two. NA on NA action commences once more. And if things could not get any more... I can't even find the word for it. If things couldn't get worse, let's just say that. For Luminosity right now, if their mental could not be tested to a worse extent, I'm worried for Third Eye when PAS 2 comes around, because Luminosity are going to be on their heels that entire tournament.
At the very least, it shows that Third Eye's sort of trolly, griefy maneuvers are not... They're not biased towards everyone who's not in their region. They got three of Luminosity on the rotate. The problem is, that's not the first time that's happened to Luminosity. The fact they fall into that, I don't even want to call it a trap, but they just get wounded by it yet again. Talking about anti-momentum. Nothing is working for Luminosity here at these Grand Finals.
And the interesting thing is, I was looking at it on the map as it unfolded. They all jumped in the exact same combo. Let's take a replay, though. We'll quick before we break that further down.
Yes, nice. The replay of Na'Vi getting absolutely decimated here by Cerberus. Once again, it was a very, very surprise maneuver this early in the game, especially with the threat of all the high ground teams third party. You actually see Tiamba start to take some shots a bit later into this strike by Cerberus. It was actually that, if you recall, phase 2 shifting away, which gave Cerberus even more room to commit.
One thing that makes that play even more amazing, and it didn't happen on screen, is because they were in and around Impala. They had the hillside. There's one position from where, if there's a player there, that play cannot happen. You cannot make that push into the open. But Cerberus were the team in control of the same hill that would counter them. Therefore, they knew there's no one up there. We can make that play happen. Smart understanding of the situation by Cerberus.
And I think when they went for that play, they didn't expect to have the opportunity for the full wipe that they did.
Yeah.
But again, even if it's only going for 1 or 2 points, it's those little things, those small things, they end up adding up. If the circle did remain on that east side, with Cerberus only getting 1 or 2 kills onto Na'Vi, that could have been more than enough to alleviate pressure from that Na'Vi position and allow Cerberus even more control of that area.
Now, while we are seeing the vehicles rotate on through here, just to quickly touch on it, to make the point that I was making before, Third Eye all landed on the same one building. Jumped into the same one car. They were running around the vehicle for a couple of seconds, waiting to hear the cars from Luminosity on the hills to the east. When they heard them, they all jumped into the car, drove straight east, cornered them off. So that was a very deliberate gatekeep on Luminosity, which, as you said, Cam, they've done it before, it worked for them then. This is what I like to see from any global team. Try and set up camps like that, because those are the freest points you're going to get in a global tournament. And free points in a global PUBG tournament, those are the best points you can get.
At the very least, though, Third Eye, they're still in 14th place, so they're picking up kills here and there, coming in from the blue, catching teams off guard. But I don't know how much higher they're going to be able to put themselves on the leaderboard if they don't go for full game-controlling, game-winning plays. The next level up for that team would be able to figure out how to you jump from early game shenanigans into late game prowess.
That is
and I don't know if there's an answer to that. Very rarely do you see that playstyle lead to world-beating, tournament-winning.
There's a lot to break down in that conversation, which we won't have time to now, but it's safe to say that playing a good early game in a global stage and coming out victorious in end games are two very, very different things and requires two very different levels of expertise as well.
Howell now rotating in, as we just saw, finding a nice little position below Gen G. We've seen those spots become really easy targets for grenades in the past. I'm sure if Gen G would be one of the teams to, jump on that opportunity as much as, say, Twisted Minds previously. Now, of course, other teams also moving in. Na'Vi was still waiting on Ascend that are very far on to Primorsk, and then, of course, Sonics at Very Pure, Day Trade, Cerberus. Those teams still need to come on into the zone. And we haven't really talked about with this zone being so far northeast, but everyone currently playing below Stauber, there's not that much space remaining because of the water. But what does remain, you got to drive through other teams to get there. So the teams that are still outside of the zone, which are, at the moment are 4 of them, it's might be a hard little push. That might be why they're taking their time making their way over.
Exactly, but they know that whatever is prime real estate is already gone, so whether we tank blue and use 1 first aid, we might as well just find that extra first aid and just spare a little bit of ammo, we should be alright. The only potential entry point to the circle would be up where Chiamba is now, but once they see that the compound they're around now is free, I would not be surprised to see them just opt to stay around. So as you said, correctly so, North, very free, but practically unreachable.
It's not unreachable, but it's definitely dangerous to get there.
It's suicidally reachable. If you like running the risk, if you like rolling the dice, then by all means go for it.
Okay, third eye approaching where Na'Vi had just set up shop. Oldless now heard the vehicles from example, so they didn't know that Na'Vi were there. They certainly do now. And with Fox in tow, they seem to be more than willing to see if they can't catch Na'Vi off guard.
I mean, Third Eye just hits big enemies today. It's insane. They're just pulling up on everything they can find. And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If you're not going to win the tournament anyway, might as well see how much you can gain from one of these positions, because there's a pretty big guarantee that the opponents around here won't be expecting this happening.
A couple of shots coming out. Not entirely sure who is the one firing those bullets. There is a wounded member. There's a wounded member of Gen G here trying to follow up how that grenade doesn't quite land over that wall very close, but the Mad is going to find a great angle help by Foxy, though. That's going to be shut down by Taman.
Matt had a chance to shoot initially, didn't go for it. That allows Foxy to spot him, and now here comes Schofield with some nice offing by Ruin. Schofield Ruin finds 1 apiece, and the rest of the Gen G players not in a position to assist. PO now coming from one side, DG on the other. There's 1 knock onto Howl, but not a whole lot more they can do from this. And now, Third Eye, well, here they are, wreaking havoc to many more teams.
Double-digit teams fighting with single-digit teams. And so far, the double digits are coming out on top. Example, another knock from the side of Third Eye. Uba, not the only ones for Na'Vi left standing, trying somehow to save their position here. Example is not going to get revived. Third Eye rotating up and taking Heaven part of Heaven and Hell. And it looks like Na'Vi just trying to get out of here. Alia also has to be left behind. Last 2 remaining in a vehicle, sending it on in. 4 AM, I'm sure, put a little bit of extra pressure onto that spot, as well as that Gen G fight. So 4 AM, with their split on the east side of Yasnaya, they're getting some good third-party action.
Yep, they got the entire field under control and should be able to see Na'Vi make their way on through in just a moment's time. DG, oh, nice nade locked on over, will find the first. We did see Pio go down before, so DG is all on his own, trying to now rack up as many points as he can before his eventual downfall will happen.
Ruin checking for it, expecting the flank along this ridge. Skillfield with the utility in play to go for the revive, so no immediate point for DG98 off of his strike. And now the frag grenade coming out looks like well, you want a hat, DG? Here's one for you. It's coming in hot.
Wow, what an 8 lockdown. Of course, Ghibli would have heard all of this, so parking the vehicle at enough of a distance that hopefully for them, Apocalypse did not hear that pull-up. They're slowly creeping their way on forward in the very Korean style of doing these things. Go slow to the fight, but once you get there, make hell.
And once again, Ghibli, if they're able to find these isolated 4v4s that no big threat of third-party action, they're going to take them and they're going to be really, really strong while doing it. Though it looks like Apocalypse for Howl is, you know, expecting the opportunity. Third Eye Oldless, they are still just wanting to finish Na'Vi. Grenades are coming out, that one backfires! It was cooked so well, but it was put on the wrong table.
Oh, the window bars prove fatal once more as Uber goes down, and now it's just 1 left alive for Na'Vi. Melman on his own does find the first one down to real low HP though. Here comes Richie. He's going to jump on, he's going to vault on, he's going to see him in the middle of first aid. Cancels it, gets him down.
At least he's able to get the information and stops the first aid. Now, spotting that the push does not have the timing to come. However, Oldless is trying to hold that angle. And Vox is going for the revive on to Adam. So Richie B, unfortunate that information is not going to be useful in the next second. That's actually a frag grenade going back over towards Mel.
Yep, here comes the pull-up from 4AM as well. They were the ones to get the flush on Gen G earlier, so they know that there's a wounded Howl team set in this position. Ruin down to low HP, but Xiaohai first one to fall.
They're dealing damage when they can't get the knocks, and the Mad is here to put a stop to this from 4 AM.
Yep.
Phase 2, hard shift towards the east. A lot of water, and this coastline is now the active play, which is why 4 AM is going for this maneuver. but with the Howl still holding points, still defending very, very well, suddenly 17 is coming in from that backside, and 4AM need to figure out which angles do they want to hold from these two separate teams.
There's not a whole lot more to claim here. Issue is, as you were saying, 17 backfilling. The 4AM has to get away from here. Where do you go? Where do you go? You can wrap your way up towards the north, but Danawa has full control of the two only compounds in that direction. So expect 4AM to not necessarily go down real soon, but take casualties on transition. They're going straight into a position with this rotation coming through.
Oh man, this is, God, these circles, this entire event has been brutal. And for it being the last day of Grand Finals, you would hope that it would at least give a little bit of slack to these teams. 4AM rolling on up, a little bit of damage, but it's going to be Soul on the low ground. What? Melvin! Na'Vi!
If there's a time to make something out of nothing, well, just pull up a Saiga and allow for Third Eye to pull in one by one. Third Eye just got schooled on how not to push a shotgun.
If there was a script for this event, for these individual rounds, it has just been lit on fire with the matchstick because nothing is happening as expected. Grenade going to come out from Soul to get the knock, and then a follow-up from Anonix puts 2 more down for 4AM. It is all on to Shao Lu. Smoke's coming out, gonna try and go for the revive, but I'm surprised that frag didn't do that final point of damage.
This is so well set up by Danawa. They leave this building open. They want opposing teams to take this position because they have the 2 overhead compounds available. So was sat behind the wall of the shack on the northern side just waiting. Whenever a team gets there, we spring the trap. They did so here. Nothing 4AM could do to stay alive. Nice setup, nice execution by Danawa.
So the population of this play, the population of this game right now is looking very familiar to the early parts of this tournament. We're already down to 13 teams, 45 alive, and well, the circle, it makes perfect sense why that is the case. At the very least, hopefully this frees up space for more teams to arrive to try and have a better hold here, but now it's Day Trade following up the angle that 4AM just couldn't quite complete. Loki did get knocked. That is going to be an angle no longer utilized for Danawa in the meantime, so this could be the window that Day Trade need to really put their flag down.
And this is an issue for Solar because Twisted Minds are actually pulling up on this knock. They called this split. They saw there was only 1 on the roof, only 2 in the compound salute. Well, there's only so many angles you can peek from that, and hey, from Tool's just a little bit short, won't make it all the way in the window.
Now Salute needs to make a decision. Do you hold? Okay, gonna go for the revive.
Perfect
That's such a good molly though. It's not gonna be enough for Danawa. Timing was perfect for Twisted Minds, and that's going to be it for these high ground players. It's all on to Soul and Anonix here. Suddenly in the middle, and now this circle. Hard shift southwest, hard shift southwest. I have no clue what the best play is here for any of these teams.
I mean, for Twisted Minds, they just got blessed off of that split. Again, it requires guts to call the bluff. It requires guts to full speed send it into it, but they saw it. They got the knock they needed to make the play happen, and the execution was flawless. Now, good real estate on the northern side of the circle, but if this one continues shifting south-southwest, we are in for a, I mean, I said last time, I'll say again, we're in for a bloodbath of an endgame because there's going to be practically nothing to play around.
Day Trade going back here into these little World War II bunker positions. Ascend also rotating up into the safe space of the cliff sides of the beach. But it's not going to be safe for long because the blue is going to be closing in and there's not a lot of space.
Exactly. Up towards the north in the meantime, teams have slowly crept their way on in, but we're running out of space with the water playing a factor, with the hillside and Stalwart playing a factor to the Cerberus, and STK close to one another. But we cannot forget about Tianba on the northeastern side too.
There's a lot of big teams up here on the north because of the hardship back down towards the south. STK, Cerberus, Tianba, and then of course Twisted Minds and what remains of Danawa right below them. So this is a very, very populated edge of the map. Toasty in the kill feed gets a knock on to Poo Chills, but Haisaki, he has been a playmaker for Cerberus. Pushing himself forward, gets in the back, shots do come out, can't get the knock, and now, position known, position identified.
Yeah, STK, I think they're just going to chill on this one. They still have the chance to wrap down on the western side if need be. They heard the commotion between Twisted Minds and Danawa. Twisted Minds has no good reason to leave that compound until the very end of the game, or if they get shifted out. So I think it's smart on STK to sit tight on the high ground position, and if they can, by the presence alone, force Cerberus to take the fight to Tianba, that they can then third party.
Slowly has an arm in play. Just holding my breath, waiting for him to be able to find a headshot with that. Yeah, exactly. Look at Haisaki here, trying to flank to the north side. The rest of Tianba are actually rotating, I think, because of that. I believe Linshu spotted Haisaki's flank. And so he's immediately going up to hold point, but that just means an angle held by the rest of Cerberus. And Haisaki now knows where Tianba are relocating, where Tianba are repositioning themselves. And Tianba caught out in the open, unexpected. Haisaki with the beat, a little bit of damage. Not enough for the knock,
And this is
but it's definitely enough to keep Chiamba cornered.
This is playing perfectly into the favor of STK as well. If they want to make a play on this, they have a perfect chance to. Tiamba continuing the push on forward. I like the aggression they're sitting up, actually forcing Cerberus to reconsider this engagement. They have Sololsi and him at some hills behind, but Aisagi has to make the Rayon back because the circle is closing in.
This was great maneuvers by Cerberus. They've got in front of Tiamba. Tiamba now have no space in this next zone with the blue coming in. We're about to hit phase 4. That's when the damage really starts to add on up. They need to pull away from this fight. And, I mean, I suppose their only play now is to make a bomb send towards the center, where at the very least the circle does commit to. No more hardships, at least for this next time. And Howl holding center, Daytrade holding center, but it's a lot of open space.
I mean, this fight will have to come to an end one way or another. Tiamba, unless if they can somehow wrap around, but that's just most likely going to take them down anyway. Sonics as well, on our screens down the southern side, have to make their way on in, but back to Tiamba we go as they need to find a way to make landfall. They still have 3 or 4 players up alive, and I think their best approach here is Danoa. Do they know? Did they catch in the kill feed that they were fighting in these compounds? They wouldn't have heard the shots, so it would be one hell of a gamble to go for this position.
Nice. Trying to jump peek out of that window. He's got a couple of frag grenades, and with Linshu pulling up, I think he's going to be preparing one of those. 10 seconds left before phase 4 begins to close until the teams that have yet to make their way into the zone, which there are a lot of them. They're going to have to start moving now. Chiamba continue to push forward. They avoid Danoa, but it's now Ghibli that are holding the line, holding the point. They're in a split, but they're not holding it immediately. Backup from Ghibli is arriving.
Nice angle on the approach here from Tiamba. They call the block. They see the split from Ghibli. There's nothing that Toshi and Heaven can do to assist from the other side because of where Tiamba approaches from. So at least now they've made landfall, but can they stay alive?
It's a great trade at the very least. They can't get Yumi picked back up, but 7-7 has been knocked, which means Chiamba, if they want to go get the revive, they need to commit to the hold now. Heaven with a great angle, that's 2 knocked. And he has a grenade. He knows exactly where Papa is. The grenade goes a bit too far, but the second one is perfect.
Huge that Ghibli makes the play on over, but look at who pulled up behind them. All of a sudden is coming up to the building they were splitting out of, and all of a sudden now Ghibli, caught at the crossroads between 2 teams. They have to approach on this. They have to push. And Heaven, sole player to try and make a play on this building now.
Grenades lobbed back and forth between Longsker and Glass. And Longsker is going to reign supreme in that one, and potentially timing to go for a revive. Heaven with a grenade, more frags at the ready. There are a lot of windows to bank them through. He takes a bit of damage in return and going to try and confirm that kill. Longsker with the underhand. This one also, again, does not bank far enough, but he has the peak. That's Ghibli eliminated in 13th place.
Foothold in the circle, huge for Tiamba. Nice reaction from Ascend as well to make the aggressive play. And we said it here, maybe Tiamba was going to make a play and this didn't happen. Cerberus, though, does set up the push. 4v2 in favor of Cerberus. Let's see who comes out victorious.
Solon and Onyx holding the back angle, and Haisaki is going to go down. That is a great pick for Onyx here to at least lighten the load.
Yeah.
It's still a 3 versus 2, and Onyx needs to take some time to heal on up. The frag grenades are not landing where they need to. And Sol is holding point, a good Molotov to deny the push, while we also want Ascend discharging dead ahead on the day trade.
I don't think Ascend was expecting there to be a full team on this side of the circle, but look at the amount of damage coming through. The utility sent up by Ascend. Kiliakai able to find the first, but so much damage done to the remaining day trade players. One more name to be able to do it, and that's going to be Mika. Finding the second, Chris now pulls it up with the F2-4 in hand. Can't find the first one, spotted from Ruin from afar.
That's suddenly a lot of damage coming out from the Sonics. They thought they had this, but now they are as wounded as Day Trade are. Dano are eliminated, as you can see. The circle is going to hardship towards the east, so that means that this position that Ascend are trying to push is so valuable, but very few people are inside. They still need to fight each other to make their way into this next zone.
I like the commit from Ascent, but they committed to it before all the players were there, ready to assist. They lose one because of it. Now they might end up losing more. We hop over to 17 as well as the new circle shifts towards the east. They have to make an aggressive play, and that play is going to be towards Sonics.
There's so much fighting in the kill feed. We're not going to be able to follow along with all of it, but how does Brex get inside the bunker? Belmoth has the opportunity to heal on up, and Kiliakai is on one of his next knocks. Not the first one, but he's going to be bleeding out pretty quick fast. SDK versus Howl. Alo's down. Vegas with the continuation of the damage onto Howl. Ascender eliminated, and the revive is going to be coming on through. It is all happening at once again because there is no space.
Huge stand being set up here from both SDK and from Day Trade. Really impressive that they're able to fend off against their position in that situation there. Sonics now forced to make the wrap around, playing a vehicle and a rock for cover. Not exactly going to be easy that day. Tons of damage coming through.
Flood, last round of Luminosity is able to at least deal some damage, but goes out before before any placement points can be gathered. So that is another 0-point game for Luminosity. Twisted Mind trying to answer back against Cerberus. They took some damage from that grenade, but no knock, and now in the blue, so Lolzy is going to go out.
Now, Na'Vi lost 3 players very early on in this match. Melman is still running around in the blue, trying to eat first aids. It's rather impressive because now, well, at least for something, he's made points this way. He got 3 kills on third eye early. Now we'll see this push coming through.
Belmont frags at the ready. Not sure how many more he has left, but now his position has been recognized. Mime with the shot fire with the ankle, and Belmont is making a work for it. Cannot get that last point of damage, but the grenade is there from Shrimzy, and now Mime can get revived. But 17, they're going to be following up. It is the most obvious play known to man, but they're stopping short.
Yeah, I like the idea of them not over-aggressing, because look at the open field that have to cross through. Xiaowu able to find the first one as H-Win falls. They want to get the rest up to take as well, but not going to happen. Belmont gets to confirm.
The domino effect of Mime going down to Belmont is absolutely huge here for the Sonics. At least one of them is going to be revived.
Rest will come through, but look at this Melman still running around in the blue. He still has 4 first aids. I'm curious to see how many he had, but he did have the entirety of third eye salute. So there probably was quite a few first aids. You can see Xiaowu. Still not seen, not gonna matter. Na'Vi falls in 6, but again, salvage where you can, and that is exactly what Mel did.
Mel did more than enough for Na'Vi here.
Oh yeah.
Still only sitting in 6th place right now, and it sucks when there are 17 in Sonics ahead of you, still in this round with so few games left to play, but it is something. Circle's gonna shift away from 17, at least hard shift up to the northwest, and SDK with the hard cover that they have, as you know, being on edge as it is something to play out of. But there's, again, open area. Dead center of the zone is virtually open. A few teams with some high ground spots, but they're not going to remain.
It's wild how so much fighting unfolded in this game. For all these 5 teams alive now, the team with the most kills has 4. And that's Tianba. Goes to show everyone who's been fighting early took casualties in doing so because of the way the battles went down. Shrimzy finds the first. At least that gives them the info across that 17 is approaching.
Not just the info, it's also the timing damage towards 17. They're going to have to go and, you know, take some time, take some resources to get the revive, and the blue's going to start coming in anytime soon. More grenades come on out, and now with SDK also with the line side on the 17, it's going to be a hard push for them to make any more headway into this phase. Revive is coming through, and there are a few vehicles, but that is the last option that they want to use.
I'm looking at this right thinking, is there a way for 17 to wrap all that way south around? I don't think they can. I don't think they'll be able to make that play without going into the lines of sight of Sonics. But now, speaking of lines of sight, Vegas gonna see the entirety of Twisted Minds in just a second, trying to make their way down this hill in the US.
17 now on the push towards the Sonics is the best option for them to do so, and what a good grenade shot with the follow-up knock onto Shrimzy too. It is all down to Mime. 1 versus 4 in the blink of an eye.
That's 100-meter spray as well. Xiaowu was the furthest back player able to take him out, and just like that, Sonics in trouble. Mime trying to fend off here against 17. They want the win, and they want it early.
SDK are pushing out their compound. They're going to want to at least capitalize on 17 being damaged or at least out of position. Once they take care of Mime, Mime is spotted. They're out in 4th place. But how much damage can now SDK do? Can 17 have all 4 members up? In fact, all 3 teams have all 4 members up.
Again, goes to show it's some of the teams that haven't had to fight all that much up close to this game that are now finding late game presence. SDK the ones who really have to battle the hardest to secure their spot when they went up against Howl earlier here in this match. But 17, I mean, they came in hungry today. Sometimes you see the team up at the top crumple on the final day. But 17 winning game number 1, now guaranteed top 3 as well. Huge performance right off the get-go here in the final day of PCS 1.
Chabé trying to find an entry headshot there with the bolt action. Not the most often used weapon here, but man, can it be useful if it does get that knock.
Waiting for the next shift. There's still 2 more things to go. I mean, we lost, as you said earlier, it was pretty much a group stage game with how many teams went down in the beginning of this match. So it is going to slow down a bit. There's plenty of open terrain for these teams to utilize. So now it's about the big brain plays. How do we outmaneuver our opponents?
At the moment, until we see the shift, SDK have a really good spot because they have Penta and Alo, as you can see on your screen, on that high side flank. That is going to actually be the most damage potentially onto Twisted Minds, but they're currently paying attention to 17. It's going to be Perfectus with that first knock and trying to go for the confirm. Logo's thinking very low as well. The circle is going to center up dead center. No one is incited, and the fact that 17 have taken these wounds is really, really bad for them, and it's trades across the board, though. SDK can't even deal damage to Twisted Minds without Alo going down.
Knocks across the board for everyone. Batulin should be able to get back on his feet. They have one car for cover, but look at the dark smoke coming out of it. Yet US is going to be alive for, I think, 3 or 4 more bullets. They have to get downhill. I mean, it's
all three teams do.
Exactly.
All three teams need to get down the hill. And they're just going to be shooting at each other while they're at it. They're going to have to go basically one at a time with people trying to give a lot of covering fire. And I think if someone is able to find that first position and able to hold that position, maybe they can anchor off of it. 17, their only option is to go now. They're going to stop here in the dip temporarily and then continue to make the move on foot, potentially. The line of sight is not the best. Alo trying to do even more damage, but 17 on the prone. They're alive for now.
Issue is they're broke behind the cover. They're not inside the next circle. They have gotten closer, though, than they were before. So SCK, the next team on the button, has to make a play happen. Vegas first one to cross.
It's actually Kurt who's made his way across the road, but Vegas is eyeing up this position by 17. Smoke wall does come out. Suju is staying behind just in case disaster strikes, but the rest of the vehicle is sending it in, and they're able to find the tree and another blown up car. So that's the point of cover for 17. But Vegas, the angle strikes.
Oh, he wishes he had an 8 right now. That molly wouldn't be doing enough for him if he wanted to throw it. And now here comes the team. He's suppressed as hard as he could. He's tried to not allow for them to shoot back for as long as he possibly could, allowing Penta to cross at least. But Purdy and Alo still stuck on the other side.
Again, SDK in a 2-2 split. Some of them are in the zone, some of them aren't. But this is a great follow-up to answer to 17. And Twisted Minds now, you can see in the mini-map, they are trying to push on forward. Grenade's not landing from shoot to kill, but Alo does. Spyro is down. Twisted Minds still not healthy. Grenade does not land. Low Ghost, Chalet, trying to stay alive. Happy feet, dancing out in the field.
Dodge and weave as best as she can to try and stay put and allow for these 2 other teams to fight one another. There's no guaranteed third-party option for anyone here. It's a free-fall. Everyone trying to damage one another.
It's all about landing your shots. Now Vegas and Penta in a vehicle again. They're not going down to the low ground. They're going to go back up with the rest of the team, and they have the best piece of high ground remaining. It's not great, but it's better than any other team. Kurt's shot's not landing, but Little Ghost is there to follow on up. Tulin is confirmed down.
No matter where you sit here, if you're kind of hitting from one angle, you will be exposed to the other. A proper Mexican standoff here, as all these 3 teams want to bring home the second match of the final day here.
Grenade not quite banking to the right angle. More smokes do come out from Twisted Minds, but look at the follow-up vehicle maneuver from SDK Vegas with another knock on Spyro. A follow-up grenade from Kurt.
Huge. SDK hasn't had to use a whole lot of utility early, so they have it now. Now the push is coming through, now the flash is coming through. They need to make this play. Lou down to low HP.
The mollies aren't hitting, but Purdy Curdy has the space. He is pushing on forward. The flash, he is flashed by his own teammate. And 17 might have the angle, but Penta has a better one.
1 down, 2 down. As I say, the effect is finds Purt in all of this, and you have to expect 17 to push off of it.
Look at the angles that 17 now have on SDK. That strike from SDK just didn't happen fast enough, but Vegas is still there on the far side, anchoring for the team. Kurt can maybe get revived here, and that'll give them the man advantage.
17 needs the opening, though, because they are not inside the next circle. They need to find a Hail Mary knock. Xiaopei with the bolt in hand. If you can land one here, that could be the entry for your team. Sushu is right on the cusp of the circle and has maybe just now made landfall.
It's Vegas to make the play for SDK right now. Needs to play his life. Wants to wait for S17 to be focused so hard on the rest of the team. But now he's straight. Can't quite get the spray. He hasn't been knocked again, but that is a grenade on Little Ghost with Vegas' name written all over it.
Even if it goes a bit far, it should be enough to get him. As I say that, no damage done. Just a centimeter off, and Vegas off of that, able to get the first hit off.
Just barely, but Vegas is alive, and his presence alone is keeping 17 hiding in the corner. Xiaopei down, Little Ghost down, it's all on the Suju. He's able to knock Vegas, but 3 still up for SDK, and they take the win in the end. 9 kills. SDK survives.
Huge game for SDK. The team with arguably the worst position in that push on in, but able to bring it home. It didn't look good for them, but that is a lot of points scrapped in a very dire moment of this tournament.
All those 3 teams at the end, just trades onto revives, and they trade again, and they move, and they find the angle. And let's find another angle back onto the desk as we go there, setting up game number 3 of the day.
It's STA-OK as they come away with the chicken dinner in our second game of the last day of Grand Finals here at PGS1. STK gets the win, but 17, who seems to just be lengthening that lead, comes away with second.
Yeah, they had some really good pull-ups, especially the one on Sonics. They're like, okay, they're fighting now, time to strike, and then they got some good nades in too. Yeah, 17 is looking really strong. Someone has to stop them a little, otherwise we're going to have to crown our champion like with 3 games to go.
I kind of hoped STK would maybe stop them on that crash. Then we had Melman sneaking up behind them, and somehow they just found him in that grass right before he was ready to engage.
He had more first stage left, so he was going to be fine.
He was.
He could still get in, yeah. He could get in slowly. He also had something like 7 crates in that compound. He managed to also touch against third eye. That's pretty impressive. Melman got the 4 kills there, so a little bit of points for a salvage mission. He also had that many first stages because of that fight for so long that he was able to get into the placement point. So a little bit of a salvage mission for him that was successful.
Yep, but the big success comes for 17 Gaming as they get second. They continue to expand that lead. STK does get a chicken dinner, so we will give those accolades well deserved, but it's going to be a tough climb for them to really get back into sort of the money increase on the top half of them.
It has to be a, I feel like, even a back-to-back at this point here, it's going to be rough. But still, they're saving face. They're also winning some they're coming in and they're like, all right, we're going to get it done. We're going to get some kills also. 19 points here is going to be fantastic. With the 9 kills, 7th, went second place for 17. That is, it's a lot of points they're continuing to get every single game. And the boys chasing Sonics and all the other teams, they're just not ahead of them at this point.
Sonics trying their best. I think they pulled a second on that one. STK, though, 2 games in a row where they end in the top 4, so that is at least something to take away. They said come in. I saw on Twitter, Purdy tweeted out it was a rough start, and I saw the other NA guy, Sharp, walking in and saying, hey, man, just do your best, go out there and show what you can do.
Beautiful.
Navi fight. Third eye.
Millman with the side guy just like, tick, get it in.
Third eye is just making
this one here. And Shabu just 6th sense him. He still had 3 first hits when he got just popping the third, I believe. That nade from Lil Ghost and Shabu opening it up on Sonics. There's no way they're going to be able to defend that there. So super well executed by 17. And yeah, this fight here at this point, and you were talking about maybe like shoot to kill, they should have pushed out and kind of closed it out a little bit earlier, but they managed to do this one here though for Lou. The boys from Twisted Minds, they were in a fantastic spot to be able to put some pressure on to 17. Shoot to kill, they played it perfectly here. Like they could maybe have pawned Twisted Minds around a little bit, like chest smashed them a little harder, but it ended up being 4 guys live. They didn't need to, and they held on there. And Vegas with this super off angle really opened it up. That was good for.
I'll tell you what, that's why you add Vegas to the team. So STK made the push on Twisted Minds, and you kind of watched it, and I thought, oh man, they might lose 1 or 2 in this. They only got pretty knocked. They were able to pick him back up. Vegas goes off into that crazy flank, and he missed the first barrel spray, but was able to sort of duck 2 grenades, get healed back up, and then make that clutch move. They got him those 4 kills and that big damage count, ultimately STK the chicken there.
Yeah, beautiful here. 50% increase in total points from 38 plus the 19 from this one here. That is.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I mean, it's a huge game for them, right? Yesterday they had an insanely hard, rough games in general. I think it was 6 points in total they had yesterday, right? So it was a rough one here. So we have to point out now, 4th place and now a win. So it could be climbing into the top 8 if they continue this style here.
Yeah, it would be nice to see. We see Vegas comes away with a big damage count, good knockouts. It was a big impact play from him on that flank. Look at the team summary, see if anything's changed up. 17 does have that survival time. Seems like that's what they're playing for today, is to make sure they just continue to protect that points lead. But they're still the #1 team is putting kills on those boards.
If you're able to hold on to 3 or 4 players for that long, it's inevitable for anyone else to you're gonna have the bodies to throw at the fight. You're gonna have these kills that you're gonna be able to get into the late game, and then of course the match leaderboard here. It's 19 points. We're talking about 2 more teams on double digits, 17 on 13 and Twisted Minds on 11, but also Sonics and Navi getting 6 there. They're kind of holding on a little bit to it. 17 is only adding 7 points on top of them.
Only adding 7 points. The problem is that they're so far ahead. When we go to the match, the overall leaderboard here in a second, there is going to be that climb is going to get tough. We're 2 games into the last day. We had 6 to play today. Not a lot of time to make those games.
Oh my God, they're
17
far.
Goes to 126. The Sonics and Ghibli, Ascend, Cerberus, they're all so tight together right now. But it really does come down to whoever's going to catch them has to get a win. They've got to do it big at this point to get to 17.
I mean, 17 is 2 bad games at this point for everyone else to catch up. Or like we're talking like a double-digit mega win from either Sonic, Ghibli, or Sin. It's close though.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're looking at second all the way down to 6th, it's super interesting. Like we're within 10 points. It's super close, right? It's fantastic. But 17 is running away with it, making it not interesting for who's going to win. All right, this is crown 17. If they're winning another game, if they're getting another like, top 4 with 10 kills. It's going to be like, all right, guys, here we are with 2 games to go. Right. Congrats, 17 Gaming, with the win if they're this strong.
I'll tell you what, we don't know who Third Eye is going to maim next. They went after Na'Vi, they went after Twisted Minds. Both of them had a little bit of a tough go there. Maybe this time they go after one of the top teams. We'll see what happens in the next match. It wasn't explosive. We know the next game is going to be explosive no matter what happens. We're going to be back after the break with even more action live from PGS1, co-hosted by Crafted and VSPO. Don't go anywhere.
Both teams are landing right in the warehouse.
Gets this animation canceled as well to get the gun up quickly. One team, one taking down Spiro. That was Adam with the AK in hand, reloaded, but able to take him down. More shotgun is in play as Pentagram finds the second as well. Pentagram folded in second, and there they go!
As the big ones, and now FaZe are trying to get involved. They're swinging on in. This was a hardship for the Northwest, so having a big send towards the middle might not be that big of a surprise. They don't seem to be going so far, but up the steps. Nothing check the right angle. It's he has to go for something big. Does not succeed.
3 players go down. They know the new F is fighting STK. This is great recognition. They weren't ready for Akari's position at the tree. They're out on the road. Akari finds the perfect time to strike. Takes 2 down. Grenade in hand here for Soul. But he's nowhere near this. He can't get a grenade there. Now he's out in the open. What a spray from Akari! Only saw 1 or 2 more smokes in his hand there, so that's not far enough to cross that field. Leo, though, spotted Linshu just barely, and the re-peek is going to get the knock through the smoke. Now he sees 2 by the rock. That's information. That should be everything GEX needs to get the job done. Longster knocked as well. Leo, only 1 more player to go here. 7-7 wraps to the back.
Don't even need to get the revive on and send on. They already have the man advantage here. We're looking at Savior pushing on in with the grenade. Trying to confirm every single person that they can. 7-7, last one up. What can he do? 1 versus 3. His position has been compromised.
Here comes Yuri looking to finish the job. 7-7 though, able to at least find the knock. Leo trying to get there to prevent the point. Claimed high ground in an area that they had no rights to claim whatsoever. Now Donovan is going to get backstabbed here, but yeah, that's the easiest AWM shot. You're not going to be able to flush kick there. Heaven though, I'm not sure if you can get to that res before Petrichor Road decides to up-lock and finish the job.
We all know how dangerous that could be. The shot does come out though, and that's going to be a warning. But Sparrow, he delayed his drop, able to get the knock, fully run away from that, down to such low HP, but this is a moment to perhaps finish that kill, especially with the frag grenade in hand.
1 HP to work with, and what a survival. I love the fact that he sits in the window, but the shotgun comes through the chest for the nade, finds the second as well, too, it goes down. With full control of the hillside up above, shooting over the top, finds the first one, that is Pushil's down. Yeah, Tiggleton and company, oh my god!
Engagement is might be overwhelmed, but AZ with the underhand grenade, this one could be good.
Oh, he gets the knock, and now he's going to push out and get another. Looking for the third, looking for the finish. The 1v3 on Adanawa. Salute is hurt, but he is prone. He's going to throw a molly right on top of Salute. This may be the end. Salute is burning, but I think he got the first aid off just in time. Has to wrap to the outside, but no, the molly was good enough. What a play from AZ.
It's not perfect, they're getting knocks against them, but they are making it work time and time again, but Apocalypse with a very, very good return knock on Kurt.
Nice double headshot coming through, gets the flush instantly as well. Molly should take out Boom. We'll see if the man can do anything. No, Halo able to find the first. Apocalypse not in the position to cover him. And Old Vegas now spots the same down to have HP. They knew the connection was there. Push forward, aggressive forward, get the final kill down. So HP, no!
Halo as well, so they are not down just yet, but Halo is.
Exactly, man. The team's aware of exactly what's going on here. Apocalypse crawls for input. Let's go for the flush. Yes, he does. Again, first game of the series. It's only 12 matches. Totally want to optimize the amount of points you can get here. Penta, Nate locked on out, doesn't find the first man. Able to stay alive. Penta will take it down. Takes the second time around. Apocalypse hits him.
You've seen them cheekily pop up in semi-viral moments, so not too bad to be able to get yourself a few points. There is a world where they make grand finals, and quite honestly, I'm truly frank with you here. Me, Benja, Toby, how? But it will PC, fantastic. However, how are they going to do on land? We have a...
The clock is ticking here at PGS1. Only 4 more games to go. And right now, 17 Gaming firmly in the driver's seat as we head into these final moments of the tournament. Paperthin coming out of the cast here with Cammy D for the next couple of games. And all eyes certainly on 17 Gaming going forward.
It's almost a 30-point lead. And with 4 rounds remaining, it's not impossible to climb. It's, in fact, very reasonable to climb that number of points. Problem is, 17 are still making it to every single endgame. Even if they don't win, they're getting a good number of points every single time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and now, you know, if anybody's going to catch them, you've got to start thinking about trying to hamstring them somehow if you're some of these other teams are looking for moments where you can try to third party them, but the way they're playing is so safe, so cautious in the early game.
Yep. Heading back to Miramar, though, things might change up a little bit here. We've seen a lot of... I mean, do we even call them weird anymore? They just seem kind of par for the course at this point.
Well, that Olsen on a circle, I've seen that happen once before, so I kind of was sitting there in the back room, and I'm like, this could actually shift back to Los Leones, and it did. And I was like, well, yeah, it's not the most likely result, but it can happen. But we'll see if we get another crazy one here on Miramar.
They trade right now in front of our screens. They're one of the teams that needed to have a really good climb, and they started off game 1 really good, really solid. Game 2, not really the case. But again, when you're looking at how these zones have been playing out, you can't really blame these teams, can you? They're just so out in the open. Okay, you can blame Third Eye. You can blame Third Eye for a lot of things. You can blame Third Eye for a lot of things, for ruining and griefing a lot of other teams' approaches. Not even just Luminosity, but every single time they're just looking for opportunities to just ruin another team's games. And so far, it hasn't really given them a lot except for a few scattered points. And I suppose there's a conversation on whether that's, you know, like positive or negative impact on the gameplay as a whole, but at the very least, it is making teams just have constantly looking over their shoulder. Until they see Third Eye in the kill feed and it's not around them, they gotta have someone watching their back.
Yeah, I mean, they have definitely chosen violence. It just is, it's the most W key, like, PUBG I've ever seen, where they just are fight. They're gonna take every position, they don't give a crap who's there, and they are just gonna make plays for it. It is absolutely insane to watch the way they start as we get the light show going here on stage, as we get ready to go into the last 4. This is gonna do it, guys. We are getting into Miramar now. It is time to kick off game number 3 of the day here at PGS 1. Buckle up, folks. There's still plenty of action coming at you.
Plenty of action, and with that 29-point lead that 17 have, there are, let me do a quick little countdown here, 4 teams that are so close behind. Sonic Ghibli, 97, Ascent Cerberus, 95. So, like, again, it's gonna have to be a level of effort to upset 17 at this point, but there are a good number of teams that all have the same opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought coming into today that, you know, some of those lower tier teams, so to speak, at the current standings, would have pop-off days. They could maybe leapfrog. Now that's out of the question. Now it has to be some of those teams that are sitting around 90-ish or more points.
Yeah.
Those are really the only ones who have a shot.
Really? I mean, you can't count any of these teams out. Even Na'Vi in 6th place with 89 points. Perhaps Twisted Minds in 7th with 81. If they throw everything at the wall for these last 4 rounds, but it needs to be all 4 rounds. But if they do that, maybe we can put another team into the mix. But the way that things are going and the lack of consistency, at the very least today, if not this entire grand finals, for every team that is not 17 gaming, I'm gonna have to wait until I see it happen before I, take a guess in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like 2 chicken dinners are required now to catch up to 17. I mean, that's just
that way, yeah.
The way they're playing, the fact that they're that many points ahead. That's just the standings, the way you look at them, and that's about the best math I can come up with if you want to catch them.
It might not be the most perfect math, but it's pretty close. It's a nice little, it's definitely something that the teams are going to be all focused on. And should be their goal now is not just picking up a couple of scattered points, but doing what you can to go for the win. This could push some teams that are push some teams into some Hail Mary plays, but of course they're going East again. Of course we're going East yet again, centering around that field. Luminosity home turf, Howl home turf, Sonic's home turf. I mean, whether it hard shifts away, which direction is going to hard shift away still remains to be seen, but we've seen this area quite a few number of times.
Yeah, well, it is kind of par for the course now, but you know what I was going to say, I see one team drifting in the direction of 17 here, and it is Oldless. These guys, I mean, Oldless, 17, Third Eye, they don't care who it is. They just go at you. There is just no stop. I mean, it doesn't matter what team they run into. It's LG, it's Na'Vi, it doesn't matter. They don't care anymore. So this isn't like, a targeted thing. This is just the way they're playing.
Oldless reloads his barrel and jumps spotting on that hill to try and see if he can't catch Suju. And there's certainly a possibility here, depending on Suju's own sort of looting path through this building.
He might have seen him through the window in that bottom right-hand corner. I'm not sure, but Oldless taking his time here, double-checking all these corners, making sure that Suju is not around, but I am fairly certain he saw him in that house.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's definitely going for it. And at the very least, he's bouncing, trying to go with speed without giving any information away with the footsteps. And okay, did Suju's spot.
He knows now.
Return. Okay, no.
He certainly saw him come out that door. He's got to be careful with the footstep sounds here. Once you get closer than about 50 meters at full running sprint, it could theoretically be heard. Let's see. he's going to keep pushing on this. Suju, though, continue to make his way a bit more towards the eastern side of things. I think he's just waiting for him to go to the vehicle.
Okay, Suju. I wondered if Suju spotted Oldless. We're going to go to a replay while this continues on out. This is going to be the 1v4. This is what happens if Third Eye, if you push onto Meltman, but in, oh man, of course Oldless gets the knock while we're watching this. Of course it's Third Eye on Third Eye. They just can't get enough of the limelight.
Yeah, well, Oldless trying to get in there to make sure he can finish the job, or at least barricade Suju enough that it won't happen. But yeah, Oldless here is going to strike early. Once again, Third Eye is aggressive in the early part of the game. Let's see if Oldless can get out of this situation.
Should be able to get out of this for free. Because 17, Suju's already been finished. There's no way to get the revive. There's no reason for them to go back and take this one singular player out because they have, again, in the Eastern Circle, a pretty good track to find a central position, a good line there. They're going to have to go with only 3, but just leave, let Oldless just run away with that one. Give Third Eye whatever they can get here.
This has been the name of the game for them for the last couple days. It's just non-stop aggression in the early part of the game, and it has gotten them out of last place. I'll say that. But, like you were talking about earlier, it doesn't get you much more than that.
Yeah.
But that is their chosen method to... I kind of get it yesterday because you're just trying to play, from behind anyway. You might as well go for as many points as possible. Who knows? Maybe you're able to snowball some of those early kills into, a big chicken dinner.
Yeah. Unlikely, but hey, it's okay. Anyway, we can talk about that at another time. We can sort of go into whether it's a good thing or a bad thing for the game. But right now, day trade, other teams, they're just trying to push into the circle, trying to find one of those central positions. Of course, there are a bunch of splits here. Sonics being one of the teams, again, splitting across this open field. This field here, northeast of Los Leones, is really, really good for these wide spreads. And so far, even though we've been here a lot of times, similar areas, none of those splits have really been punished just because of how powerful they are to hold with the lines of sight between the two buildings or whatever positions are being held.
Exactly. Twisted Mind's one of those teams we were talking about earlier that maybe has a chance doing some damage to Na'Vi, but not able to find the knock is Lou. Perfectix now rolling in right next to his teammate as they continue to kind of keep eyes on this 2-2 split that Na'Vi has, but they have a 2-2 split of their own, just kind of jockeying for position, but right now, you've got Spiro and Batulins on the backside to kind of watch to make sure that the backsides of Lou and Perfectix are clean.
Hamas, Cerberus, a big wide spread for this team on the northeast. As usual, now Ghibli pushing on up. Hamas definitely heard the vehicles. The question is, does Ghibli expect Hamas to be in this position? At the very least, it is a 1v2. So even if Hamas is able to get the knock, likely chance to get the trade before Hamas can get that immediate confirm, the immediate flush there. But now as spread as Tosi and Heaven are, that makes the opportunities here for the 1v1s a lot more likely.
Oh, Tosi's going to show himself. Tosi's faster. He's ready for it. Gets Hamas down. Sololzi putting some shots in. Hamas for now not flushable because of Sololzi's position and Tosi's health, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. Is he revivable is the more important question. His death might just be long and slow. And I'm looking at a lot of other members of Cerberus sort of falling away from this because Ghibli have crossed the road. Human and Glaz have crossed over to the opposite side. Glaz is going to be there for the confirm. Grenade also thrown out for good measure as well. So hey, it's a one and done for Ghibli. Cerberus retreating with the tail between their legs.
Yeah, so some early damage done to some of our top teams in the leaderboard. Cerberus and 17 both losing a player early. Mel's going to find Summer at distance, and Na'Vi certainly one of those teams that is in spitting distance of potentially making a run. We've seen it before. We know that, tell you what, if any team in the world can do it, it's Na'Vi.
Absolutely. All is going to go out there with the bike just for the 100% confirm because they need every single point that they can get. Not even stopping to loot, just wants the confirm.
Certainly. That's, he's sitting pretty with utility. He had 8 smokes in there and 1 frag, so absolutely doesn't really feel like he needs to risk it to get any more. 17, though, just going to be vibing here in this warehouse that's out in the middle of the fields. Could be an interesting compound if it ends up there for them, but it can be a little tricky to defend.
Cerberus right now, a nice little care package picked up for them. I don't know if it's worth losing a player for that, but at the very least, they're able to get something for going down to 3 early on, finding some space to the east of Luminosity, who are once again holding a little bit of a spread themselves. Home turf, it's only a matter of time you would hope for them to really have a good game from this position. But I mean, No excuses. Poor play definitely is one of the reasons why they're currently sitting in 16th place. But maybe I'm biased here, but I feel like they have just been dealt a heavy hand and just thrown curveballs in the most tilting ways imaginable.
Yeah, certainly it just hasn't been their event. I mean, they've definitely had some bad fights, gotten caught off guard. It seems like one thing led, compounded into another for LG here in these grand finals. So a team that we all had high hopes for, not able to get it done this time around, but certainly we'll be seeing them again. I think I have very little doubt that they aren't a top tier team. We saw it early on in this tournament. They can compete with anybody.
Oh, PO knows this. PO's going to be recognizing this, at the very least spotting Ascend rotation. I'm sure if he was able to put together the self-knock and the kill feed and then this, but I think with Koyakai looping back around, he's definitely going to know now.
I would think PO would normally go for this, but he's holding the trigger so far. Doesn't want to go for Mika, doesn't want to reveal his position. I think he's concerned about across the way. There is Dono over there, we know it on the map, but PO likely senses that someone's going to be on that mountain, could punish him. Pow tries to spring to action onto Alo. The headshot is going to find Alo, but Alo almost takes him down. Wow, Pow just barely wins that.
Oh, it was running right into the grenade. It took a while, but Alo is down. And STK are going to be looking for the possibility for the revive, I'm sure. Kurt, I think I saw driving in that direction, and now PO once again peeking in towards Ascend's angle. Taking some shots, and at the very least, he's spotted. Forced to back away down to 30 HP.
Well, PO tries to be patient. His helmet pays the price, and he is likely going to be piecing out and looking potentially for another new helmet. I do see this circle. Oh my god.
Of course.
All right.
Oh, man.
Here we go again. Down in this part, it's a hard shift down to the south, and right into the territory of Sonics, SDK, Gen.G, all in the mix.
Gen.G are actually leaving the high ground. I'm shocked. They're trying to go dead center. Maybe contest Ascend for the high ground. That's the north side of that road. I actually kind of would have preferred they just stuck on the south side and deal some damage from that position. But a lot of other teams also rotating in very limited choke points. Instead of driving through the field that has already been held by Luminosity, Sonics, etc., or coming in through Los Leones. And that long south wrap they want to do, if any team wants to go from that direction, come up 3-point radius, so it's going to be a very, very hard, far one.
Na'Vi barricading the northern entrance from 17. You do have Twisted Minds down to their west as well, but Twisted Minds peeled off momentarily. I'm not sure. They didn't want to get aggressive on this rotation. They wanted to try to play edge. Donovan now going to shift over more in the direction of where we just saw Ascend a moment ago. Tiamba, Gen.G, Taemin, Longsker here right next to Taemin. See what he can do. Taemin seems to be reasonably cautious, or is he just parking the vehicle, or is he trying to get out? Okay, he's trying to get out. Something, I think.
Oh, this is...
No, he's parking. Oh, I thought he was going to drive out. Oh, this is dangerous for Taemin.
It is. Hop House on one angle, Longster on the other, and the rest of Gen.G is pretty far away. I imagine they're going to have some sort of angle, and at the very least, Taemin is going to have this little upper... Okay, well, no, he's not even staying there. He seems to be completely unaware of Tiamba's position. Now he's running out in the open. Longster not covering the angle, but the door open. It's going to be an easy fight for 7-7 to win.
Yeah, just a great sneaky play here from Longskirt. And that's going to claim another point for them and for Tiamba, trying to get back into that top half, trying to change some of that money that's going to come into their hands. Of course, top 8 is where you want to be sitting to get extra money.
Yep, absolutely. Pretty much impossible for Tiamba to try and gun for that top spot. Almost half the points that 17 does. But any extra dollar in their pocket, any extra PGC points is, of course, going to be very, very highly coveted now. 4 a.m. on the west edge, coming across Twisted Minds, and there's going to be driving past Spyro. Spyro unchecked, and that's going to be a tire popped out. This is a great option for a spray.
Yeah, he's got a good opportunity, but can't quite make it work with that 2X. Bouncing just a little bit too much. Now he's got Crazy on the off angle, and have to try to win a tough fight. The rest of Twisted Minds now looking around, trying to figure out how they can help. Spyro here stuck out on an island, and if any more angles are found, he is done.
Get a run away from the grenade. If Jalha has any more in that same direction, that could be it for Spyro. Lou is trying to get that covering fire from the high ground. But the damage is there. It's doing something chip-wise. And Shalu, at the very least, is having to back away because of that. But that is 17 third-partying on that high ground onto both of these teams.
Still a ton to play for both of these teams. So absolutely a tense fight. Now Perfectic's taking damage from, I believe that was Third Eye, over from Los Leones proper. So he just got chunked heavy. That takes a momentary respite for him to get the heal back in. 4AM now gonna go for the grenade as the blue approaches. Lou lets loose. I don't think that's gonna get there. Yeah, ooh, it still managed to get some damage around the corner to Spyro.
Circle hardship for the east. We're going to the coastline. Everyone, Ghibli are looking really good in this one. So are Chiamba and now 4AM. If they weren't considering having to move just yet, now they are. Spyro out in the open. Does get cut down by Crazy, but it is a trade because Batulin is going to drop Xiao Lu. And again, the question is, these two teams are so entangled up against each other, with each other, and they're going to want to move because they're going to be coming in so late the way things stand.
Oh, Richie B from long range, able to steal that kill away from 4AM. Perfectic's going to confirm the knock onto Xiao Lu. Now Richie B and the others. Oh, we got Cerberus and SDK dusting up in the middle. Tiamba in the mix as well. Penta's taken down by Sololzi with a Groza stepping in today, having some impact. Lin Shu there almost getting the knock onto Vegas, but it's actually Heaven on the other side of things that's going to do it. Things are really kicking off here. Gen G out in the open, might lose Foxy.
Everyone's losing everyone. There's no clean, clear path into this. It's such an open field. It might be on a little bit of a slope, but it's a field nonetheless, very limited cover. And now Howl directed towards Tiamba's location. Tiamba are on a pretty good split themselves, 2 and 2. So Schofield and remaining teammates finding a little bit of cover there.
Yeah, and Howell's going to have to sacrifice at least one vehicle for that. That's not the ideal spot you want to stop in. Xiao Bei out here for 17 Gaming. Batulin's Perfectix now in the blue. Third Eye as well, just opting to try to harass everybody on the edge of Los Leones, no matter who it is.
Schofield was knocked. Howl now playing on the opposite side. That grenade bounces well, though. That's going to be Schofield confirmed, 477. The follow-up grenades just can't hit Madden Apocalypse location. They're safe on that angle for now, but I imagine it's only a matter of time for a team on the east or perhaps even the south finds the angle possible, or, from what we're seeing right now, the grenades get cooked just enough. The Madden Apocalypse down so very low on HP.
Wow. I mean, one more grenade could have finished the job, but 7-7 opting to keep an extra in the back pocket just in case. For future situations, I assume 17 has to make a move, likely going to sit up top of these rocks or on the edge of this next circle, trying to wait this out. This has been their MO today. Play it safe, play it cautious, play edge.
They're getting the points. They're sticking up there in first place, so you cannot criticize it just yet. Kurt now surrounded by a couple of different teams, but at the very least, Cerberus and Ghibli are shooting at each other, and there is Luminosity there on the north side, but back here onto 17, finding an opening knock on to example, not the zone, but it's the points, and it's those little ones that matter. It's going to keep adding up and keep extending this lead.
There's no hope for example. He is done. The blue is here. No one from Na'Vi is anywhere near him, and that is going to be a point going over to 17 Gaming, and every point they get makes it that much harder for every team behind them to catch up. Mel trying to see if he can do some damage, punish 17 Gaming for taking down their teammate.
It's not a great position, as you can see. Circle's going to center up on this field. Twisted Minds make a rotate through Sonic's territory and then into a crossfire between Gen G and Luminosity. And if they don't get cut down here, it's going to be Cerberus territory that they're driving immediately into. They are running out of positions to stop at and play at. There are a couple of dips, but how many of them are going to be safe? Lou taken down very, very low, has to hop back in the vehicle. Haisaki, more grenades into the field.
All right, this one, if it's on point, could be really devastating. No, it comes up short. So for now, Twisted Minds able to avoid the grenade range of Cerberus. There's a fight brewing between Danawa and 4AM at the bottom right-hand corner. 4AM getting wiped out with their two surviving members from Danawa.
The Cerberus are continuing to push onto this, and they are once again dealing the damage. There's a little bit of third-party coming in from Chiamba, but it is not enough to deter Cerberus from this push. Kickstart also getting involved. Flood also getting involved. Stakers is getting picked up as we speak, so they're going to try and get activated here on this northern edge.
Yeah, certainly LG wants to end the day on a high note and looking to find some damage, find some kills, see if they can recover and get themselves feeling good, at least somewhat decent at the end of the event. We do have Twisted Minds going down to LG there. 17 is going to fall to Na'Vi, so a sigh of relief collectively breathe throughout the rest of the server.
But Ghibli, Sonics, Cerberus, and now Ascended Na'Vi, who are in the mix of that top spot, they need to use this game to close that gap. Now that 17 are out, it is only one round of opportunity so far to make it closer.
Yeah, precisely. Now you have Day Trade here, surrounded by Ghibli. And we know that Ghibli out in the open is a force to be reckoned with, but so is Day Trade. We'll see if they can find a way to break through here, but yeah, the crossfires are just way too good right now for Ghibli. Gumin has Belmont down, Poochill's out in the open here. Glass needs to find one more, he's good for it. And that is going to be a couple members of Day Trade falling. Nurin's trying to do what he can. Him and Flash, that star duo for Day Trade, see if they can turn this around.
But this is a game Ghibli finding an opportunity to have an isolated 4v4 without getting any contested because they're in a dip. Really, really difficult for Angles to be found by another team. Heaven is up on a high ground. I think there were shots coming his direction, but it's valuable enough for him to stay up there to remove the rest of Day Trade. Norins and Flash, they're trying to look for those opportunities as elsewhere. Na'Vi are continuing to pick up the kills, this time against the Sonics.
All right, Na'Vi trying to barricade the Sonics there. They are going to lose a player, it looks like. Shrimzy is going to fall to the blue. Flash now knocked by Evan. Continues his reign of terror. And now Tycon and Cerberus helping out their APAC brethren a bit here as Nurin's, though, in the phase for blue. Not really a lot for him to do. Tickleton taken down by DG98, Gen G, with a couple teams surrounding them. Pio's out in the open there. They're going to get the confirm on to Tickleton, Mime and Win. Trying to do what they can.
Foxy with the Molotov at the ready. Knows where H-Twin is, or at least general area. But I think it's going to be on Mime from the blue. The problem is Na'Vi are also pushing on in. But at the very least, this could distract Gen G. And this whole three-team kerfuffle, I mean, it could be opened up for H-Twin. He already gets the damage on to Pio.
Pio's got to get to safety with Na'Vi right on the other side of that hill. Mime in the blue trying to see if he can do something to salvage some points here for Sonics. They would love to try to, like you said earlier, close the gap as much as they can. Circle's going to head a little bit more towards the mountains, so still keeping some of that in there. Of course, we are in phase 5, so it doesn't have to remove the land ratio terrain yet.
Grenade comes out, falls short. I mean, it's all into Mime right now to try and make a moment. I don't think H-Twin is going to get salvaged unless, I mean, something big happens between Na'Vi and Gen G. But the chances of Mime trying to 1vx this is pretty insanely low, especially considering, I think that's Third Eye. Of course, Third Eye with the third-party angles, keeping him behind that rock.
Yeah, Third Eye and Ascend looking towards Mime, and yeah, there's nothing left for him to do. Foxy gonna reach out into the blue here, really wants this Murado. Is that gonna be Na'Vi's moment to strike? Instead, it's a smoke from Mel to cover off Gen G's angle. Pio, though, gonna use this opportunity to try to drive out ahead, but that's the open top Murado, and that's a headshot on Pio. One more, and he is done. Oh my God, Mel almost got it.
Insane that Pio is still alive right now, but the rest of Gen G, they are staying put because now that Na'Vi's position is confirmed, they're going to try and cut them out on their own pass. Shots come out, don't land. DG dropped down to 26 HP.
Still a long-range battle between Third Eye and Ascend up on the Los Leones Mountains. Ghibli, good job here, except that they, Nurin's was able to sneak out from underneath them. But overall, that is a successful defense. Now Pio turns things on their heads, takes Mill down, but I think the point's going to get stolen indeed. It's Chris who's going to get it. Uba tried to do something about it, but not in time.
Last one up for Na'Vi. What sort of play can Uba make? Because, if he goes out, Cerberus is sending Ghibli. That's still even more room for them to maneuver on the leaderboard. Pio with the shots out, not quite hitting. Just constantly tagging the sand right in front of him, but finally it's going to be towards it's Chris. Na'Vi are out. 10 teams remain, and Cerberus fighting Ghibli. Ghibli pushing up from that low ground to separate themselves up from Day Trade.
Oh, Sololzi there just took a step out right into the firing lines of Flood. A grenade in hand is going to take him down. Ghibli now trying to recover from losing Yumin. Heaven Toasty Glass now rotating in the direction of LG. Out in the open is LG momentarily. Toasty with the 3x spray trying to go for it. Couldn't quite connect. Now Heaven around on the flank side from the tree. Is this battle going to kick off? It kind of has to. Ghibli has the blue right at their back.
They do. There's 4 men of LG to the north, 3 of Cerberus just in front of them. And so they are running out of space to play behind. Heaven has already rushed towards LG's position, and the grenade could be the opening, not able to get the tag that it needs. And Heaven now has another frag grenade, and he's in much better range for this one.
Kickstart going to be on overwatch of this position, going to make it really difficult for Heaven to push over. A grenade splashes some damage into a couple members. Blood going to go down to the blue here as LG pinned to this blue, just like Ghibli. Heaven just making life a living hell right now for Luminosity Gaming. Some grenades are finding the mark there. Heaven's going to try to prone and go for the spray on the Snakers. Can't really make it connect. Heaven himself in trouble. Glass able to bail him out, but it's Tycon Cerberus striking from behind, taking down Glass. Toasty under pressure now from the side. He gets hit by Kickstart. Isaki going to get knocked by Snakers. This is a mess.
This is a great push from Danawa. The shift went towards the west, and so they're going to come here and try and finish all of these teams to have a clean push on their own, but they are taking casualties themselves. Soul has been knocked and confirmed by Kickstart. Toasty last one up for Ghibli, trying to heal in the smoke, but with the crossfire of the two strong teams of Luminosity and Danawa, well, Cerberus are eliminated, but how much longer can Toasty stay alive?
Toasty made Danawa's round all of a sudden flip-flop by getting that knock. He's under pressure. He's at almost no health, and he is gone. Snaker's going to finish the job there. Danawa's able to find a grenade to keep Howl at bay at the very least, but we should be able to get the res here for LG back up to 3.
And credit where it's due, Luminosity already have 8 kills in this round. They're getting the revive, but look at this grenade coming out. That's actually going to be from Oldless with the knock, and he has another frag grenade ready to remove Howl from this one. It's not quite going to land far enough, but Apocalypse still needs to get revived.
Yeah, here we go. Salute trying to get involved in this fight as well now. Smokes are going to be out, though. He knows those teams are on the other side. He wants to create a barrier as much as he can. Tianma now going to be crashed. What a spray from Longsker. Going to get 2 with the barrel. And LG trying to make something out of nothing. And Longsker and 7-7 just shut it down.
He had the perfect angle for that arrival. But at the very least, it's a much better game for Luminosity, but we're looking at the top 6 teams remaining. PO is removed for Gen G, Foxy, and DG98. They got to break in through this position held by Linshu, and do not forget about Ascend and the Third Eye, who are just constantly trying to find these third-party angles.
I would love to see Danawa try to rotate up to the warehouse if they can identify that it's open. We'll see with this Murado if they can make that move. There are some smokes as well cutting off this angle. Loki, though, looking to just kind of push his way into the zone and try to barricade a little bit of a dip with that Murado.
It's incredibly hard for Danawa from that position to find the information on that warehouse. They were so focused on the east side as well, but then of course just looking up, there aren't really a lot of spots, and as loud and active as Third Eye are, it's pretty safe to assume that there's a high chance of someone being inside there. But as the zone closes, you can see on the minimap, Third Eye, they're all condensing into one singular position. Ascend, however, they're spread out on the rocks, trying to make sure that Gen G cannot gather any more space for themselves.
For a moment there, I'm like, Killikai, don't shoot his Chris in the back. Please don't do that. I know he's a guy who's usually behind you. He's usually out in the blue. But this time around, he's going to be a little bit further forward. Gen G, 2-man squad left. Pinned down in a ditch. Tianba here, Linshu trying to take space, trying to take the shack, trying to get information for them. Now, finally, Danawa, diligent maneuvering here, as they are going to find that this warehouse is at least open for now, but like you were talking about, Third Eye still here, still going to be a challenging opponent.
This is a great shit for them, however, taking this warehouse, because now at the very least, not only are they in the zone, Third Eye are focused on Ascend. Going to be trying to gatekeep that position, but let's see what Gen G can make of this. DG98 grenade comes on out. Linshu is already knocked down to half, and this grenade won't be enough to confirm it. Not quite at the right angle to land inside, and Tianma are going to be continuing to roll up into that position because now their compound in the field, no longer in the zone.
Yeah, now Ascend, it's Chris. Flanks out from the rest of his team, trying to get engaged here with Gen G and others. In fact, he's going to strike onto Longsker, gets a knockdown, looking to cook a grenade towards DG98. If it's on the money, it could be dangerous there, but it goes just a bit too far. Rolls down the hill, isn't able to find any damage.
77 with the counter utility, wants to revive Longsker. Pop out there on the off angle, but taken very, very low. Removed by Killikai, but Vox confirms Brex from Ascend. So this fight is not going down without some damage towards Ascend. What a volley from DG98. Tianma are just losing space, losing ground. They have 8 kills, but it's all on the Linshu.
Yeah, Ascend here really hit Tianba at a weak time. When Longsker was kind of in a bad spot, here comes some more stuns, trying to back Linshu off, trying to give Gen G some kind of space, but you still have Ascend overwatching this fight, trying to make sure that no one on this northern corner can get into this next circle. And yeah, it's Chris who's going to set him down. 2 big kills for Ascend.
Gen G had to go for the push, and if Chris wasn't there, Linshu was going to have a good opportunity for it, but now with Gen G removed from this angle, Ascend can focus a little bit on the last remaining member of Tianma. That's It's Chris's job, while the rest of Ascend are trying to push down to the south, but It's Chris gets removed. Suddenly that control of the north is gone, it's over, it's done with. Linshu, potential opportunity for revive on teammates.
Yeah, you can see Killikai and Mika here nowhere in the vicinity to help. They're kind of busy still messing with Third Eye, who's got 2 knocks of their own to deal with. They're going to shut the door on these grenades. Great timing on that, expecting those frags to come in, blocking them from doing any further damage to their team. But Mika gonna line up for another one. Adam sitting right around this door. A grenade is gonna go in, but he jumps to action, and they're gonna trade each other. You gotta love that. Killikai here gonna come in, either go for the res or go for the point.
Old Liz trying to find an off angle, spots the body, but it's not spotted in return, goes for the finish. But now there's an opportunity for KillierKai to go for the finish onto Adam. Instead, he's going to try and drop inside and take that 1 versus 1. And Danawa, they are pushing on this. They know that this is their opportunity to make the winning maneuver. There are so many solos left in this warehouse. They just need to surround it and cut out the survivors.
Yeah, here they go. Loki on point with that level 3 gear and the AUG. Going to try to lead the way. Oldless, the only survivor for Third Eye. Still got one member of Ascend to deal with. That's KillierKai. And Donawat trying to use this 3 versus 2 advantage to take control of this compound, maybe see if they can take control of this game. Some grenades here being prepped, but right now Donawat is sitting tight. I think just maybe waiting for someone to make a move.
They're going to have to leave this warehouse at some point, and Danawa are fully ready to play the war of attrition and even come in from the blue off of this.
Oh, okay, traded knocks there from Oldless, but Salute with the sawed-off. Able to get right on top of an Onyx and go for the res. Howl in the meantime, just I cannot believe that they are still alive at these crates. Like, they have survived just barrage after barrage. There was a res earlier on the Tianva, but now there's going to be the flush on to 7-7. So once again, it is just Lin Shu left for the Chinese squad.
Well, look at the Mad. He's trying to find that final angle against Lin Shu, but knows that he cannot push too high up on that ridge line without getting spotted by the remaining players on the high ground. There is KillierKai left for Ascend on the far side of that warehouse, and with Danawa spread out as they are, they might actually think that they've cleared this area and that the final remaining snakes are in the field. It's going to give KillierKai the opportunity, but an Onyx, perfect timing to check behind him.
Oh boy, an Onyx there. Just the reactions from this guy, we've seen it time and time again this tournament, have been incredible. KillierKai doing the best he can. I love the idea, but now Apocalypse has a knock on a Salute way out on the flank here, on the edge of the circle. Yes, he's going to be able to stay ahead of the next circle, but can Donawa get to him in time? Meanwhile, Lin Shu is choosing to just let this one play out and save himself for the right moment. There it is.
Second, it feels like, but now an Onyx going down, and Lin Shu still with the angle onto Loki. Maybe there is more to play for here for Lin Shu.
Well, Lin Shu really smart positioning, and now Salute is all but dead. Here come the grenades now, though, right on the back of Lin Shu, splashes into his feet. The Mad trying to finish off Loki, can't quite do it. Now going to line up for another frag. Out and over on towards Lin Shu. That one I don't think is going to do much. Yeah, just about 24 damage. Salute confirmed. There goes an Onyx. Loki here going to have to heal up, and Lin Shu just barely surviving. Is this one finally going to finish the job? It does. Howl, a 2v1 now versus Loki.
They stuck their way to the end game. Both rounds of 4. Can they confirm this one into a win? Good shots coming up. Loki is still making it work with the AUG, but his vest is so damaged. So low.
Good news for Loki is that level 3 helmet is still in decent condition. Few first aids left for him as well. Knows the situation with that, but tree to tree is so dangerous. This tree is so narrow, it's going to be Owl. Apocalypse finding the final kill, and it is going to be Owl taking game number 3 here on the last day of PGS 1.
6-kill win, a low kill counter for that one, but they were stuck in the middle of a field with no real opportunity to try and go loud and get activated there. So good job at the end for them to get all of those kills.
Certainly. All right, guys, we're going to go to some highlights quick, and then we will hand it over to the analyst to break it all down. Stay tuned.
Congratulations to Howl, a team who a lot of folks had a wait-and-see mentality when it came to the grand finals, gets a second chicken dinner here in our Best of 18 series. So great for them, and I think kind of really great news for your region is a lot of folks from their neck of the woods were saying, oh, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, really surprised with how well both Howl and Ascend has been doing here. Ascent is fantastic push here. Of course, they're getting a lot of damage done, but yeah, they split their forces. If they committed everything maybe to the third eye fight or whatever, then it could have been hugely different in terms of the outcome. But yeah, how managed to survive those containers and I don't know, 15 nades and I don't know how much utility. There was crazy how much, but like pressure that came from everywhere around them.
I can't help but wonder if those knocks that Ascend got on third eye, if they hadn't gotten those, if maybe they would have won the game, because that they correctly followed those up with a push, but unfortunately Danawa saw the same knocks and got involved, and then the circle shifted back up to that north side, and you know, you gotta wonder if they had stayed in the rocks where Chris was, maybe it goes a little bit different. But what does matter is Ascend at this event has been incredible. It's something that I have just loved watching it start. We made a little bit of fun. You know, it's Chris is anchoring and last in the final circle, but they are making the most out of all of these moments.
They are, for sure. I'm loving what I'm like, especially the pushes that they're able to do, the execution on the fights that they're able to do. It's Chris has been such a fun to watch. Rerunning all the different guns that he's been having, like he's the weapons master. Like, oh yeah, I can do this one too. I'll show you. Like them two for now, of course, been legendary. Let's see how many more he can pick up and do. Well, good thing for.
And let's see how many more Howl can get. We're gonna take a look at them in just a second, but it is a team that Bruin is unproven at lands. It's cool to see him putting up some great numbers and playing really well. Their coach is standing in for a player who is homesick. And it's one of those things where you in those situations, you're like, oh, no matter how they do, as long as they make the winners, we're gonna be happy for them. But to put up 2 chicken dinners at this stage is also really exciting. Now, that was a tough circle. There was a wide open area. If you weren't in the warehouse, there wasn't a lot of options to play. As we look at those top 4 teams from the match, Howl does manage 6 kills and a lot of damage. But one outstanding fact here for everybody in the lobby except for first place is that 17 went out early.
Yeah, and that's obviously huge. Third eye, a huge impact on that one. Actually, Olda's running up with the nades. Like, there's multiple nades coming halfway, but those 2 nades that Olda's was throwing there, I was sure that Howl was going to go down. But they survived, and 16 points coming their way. Danawa, another great showing for them here. Actually, pretty impressed with how well they've been able to step up in the last day. Of course, their first day was pretty horrendous compared to what we've seen from them yesterday and today so far.
And Tiamba is still 9 kills. They're going to feel pretty good about that match. Now, the recap is just the end of the game, so what you are going to miss out on was that old list camp that set 17 back. And I know everybody watching was like, there's no way, and it did happen. And it was funny because we talked about it at the start of the last game. Well, you know, they went after Navi, they went after TM. And I don't think they're going after them. They're just like, oh, someone's close. Let's go mess with them. And it happened to be 17 was their next target. So we'll keep rolling that dice and run the spinner and say who does third eye stab in the back next.
I honestly love they're like this Joker in the whole lobby here. And honestly, you know, on top of that, you know, like everyone out there saying, you know, paid actors, mercenaries, all these things coming out. And honestly, it's super fun to both read all that and also listen in what they're doing. But they're doing way better than they were before. So whatever they have been doing is obviously working out. Apocalypse and the Mad, obviously the guys that are able to survive here. Ruin, Schofield died a little bit earlier on. But yeah, big impact here from Apocalypse, the coach. Super huge impact in this land. Being able to stand in for Laza, that's homesick.
Absolutely. That is, I think for me, that's one of the biggest stories for Howl. To pull your coach in, for him to be able to continuously, I think this is the 2nd time that he's been up for man of the match at the end of one of these chicken dinners. That speaks to how good your coach is. Nice to have as a sub, but how well they play as a team that he can step in and be able to do that. 532 damage, 4 kills. Howl is similar. Their win a little similar to STK's win in the last game. It is teams who are not really in the hunt to win this thing are still getting some good chances to put up points and we climb that leaderboard a little bit.
And in general, the circles have been absolutely insane. It's so unpredictable. You can see how the teams are like trying to set up in similar places, then it goes different places in terms of where it ends. Tiamba, they actually stick the same position that they had. They had the split here. They were out on the eastern side when we had that Los Lotus-esque ending, and they stuck to it, and they managed to get some more points out of this one. Total kills still on top here, 17. Cerberus still super close tied, 73.
You know, you brought up Tiamba, and I think that's an interesting one to me because, actually, let's get that in a second. We'll talk about the match leaderboard, then I want to break into Tiamba because they are playing the hardships, which is interesting. They come out with 14 points, 16 for Howl. Ascend, a team that is, I think, just having an incredible day, keeps grinding up, gets themselves 12. That's good news for everyone in the lobby. And 17 going out, our leaders right now, in 12. Unfortunately, Sonic saw them go out, but was not able to capitalize on the early out by 17.
Yeah, let's take a look here. A little bit of a change, of course, with 17 going out early. That means Ascend is able to catch a little bit up. 20 points. They need one more bad game 17 for the first end and Gabe to be within the striking distance here. Still Cerberus, Sonics, and Navis. Also Danoa now with some good performances there. Kind of close. Well, close 37, but in terms of if we see good performance again from Danoa, they could climb a little bit more. They are close to the rest of the pack.
And that was the moment. 17, they went out in 14th place. They opened the door for these chase teams to catch up. But all of our chase teams, Cerberus, Navi, Sonics, they all went out sub 7, I think, at that point. No placement options, not a lot of kill points on the board. Now, Tiamba, I want to get back to that. This is a team that seems to sort of be not appreciating, but doing their best to play the hard shifts. They're getting a spot with a little bit of center, and then they're just sort of sticking to that hold until the circle moves away from them. That time, their hold was on the very edge, and they said, maybe the hard shift will work for us, and then it did come back.
Yeah, a little bit rough. I mean, I was hoping to see them they kind of hold on to some of the other compounds there, but they pushed out, they took the shack here, and they had 2 lucky knocks, which opened up the fight with G. Rough situation for them in general, but still loving what I'm seeing from Tian. But I think if they stick to their usual things here, they're going to be able to do great things for the rest of the games.
The trophy is on the stage. The players are in the air. It's time to get in to our next match with your casters, Paper Thin and the Cammy D.
We get ready to go into game number 4 on the day. It's going to be Erangel once again. And we are going to take a look at the trophy case where our winners await to find themselves in PUBG history, to find themselves in the Museum of Erangel.
It's looking like 17 right now, but there is the possibility of one of the teams below them straggling down in the upper to mid 90s to make that climb, especially if 17 go out early once again.
Well, this playing path is horrific. It is right down the south, starting at Lipovka, heading to Primorsk. You love to see it. You know what? Let's just embrace the chaos. Let's embrace the insanity of PGS1. I'm all board now. I have lost all reason and all sanity. I am now just becoming one with the madness.
Yeah, honestly, just becoming one with the universe.
There, because it's all one, the mad.
That's a pretty big stretch there. That's. Oh my god. That broke my mind. I totally forgot what I was actually gonna say.
So sorry.
Into this.
Just try to have a little fun. Live and think. Okay, for those who can't see it at home, Cammy D is now in pain.
I'm just like splayed out on the desk. This, I mean, oh man, broke my mind, it feels like. But at the very least, no hot drops just yet, though. 4 a.m. and Twisted Minds, well, they're good enough. They're not even going to fight over vehicles. Everyone's just landing in their own spot. The off drops from a couple of different teams, such as SDK down in Novo. There is Chiamba and Gen G on the military base, but hey, when you have it, it's an Eastern Circle.
Why would they drop Summer off so far away from the car? Were they just looking to see if maybe they could catch somebody making a mistake and run them over? Is the best I can come up with for that, but that's a little odd to me, but whatever, that doesn't really matter. As 17 Gaming remain on top, nobody really able to significantly close that leader gap. Cammy.
Yeah, the only team that really made a big jump there was Danoa in terms of like threats to 17, and their jump was to put themselves in position to threaten further with another jump. So yeah, it's still, I mean, 3 games left, 3 rounds left. It's definitely possible, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to come down to at least 1, maybe back-to-back wins, and 17 just letting off the gas. As long as 17 get like 4 or 5 points around, it's looking pretty set and done.
Yeah, back-to-back wins is still now looking difficult. Like it has to be huge games to back up those wins. It can't just be these 4 or 6 kills.
Yeah.
It's tough, dude. I mean, it's, you know, somebody's going to have to muster some kind of offensive here if they are going to challenge 17 games.
But the problem is, as far as like trying to go for a Hail Mary play for a high risk, high reward, these circles and the hardships have been making it so difficult for teams to even play a standard game. So it's almost like the base game of these zones is a high-risk, high-reward send with the nature of just how many hardships we've been getting, which forces teams to just go in one singular direction. And because they're hardship towards water or towards rock, you can't even do a wrap. You're coming in from a singular angle, and it's just like taking fights in tandem, parallel with each other. I mean, Chiaba at least are on the move very, very fast. I just don't know how much loot they have.
Yeah, and another thing that is starting to kind of catch my interest is that you have teams like Third Eye and others that are getting very aggressive, that they are really starting to just play for points, trying to get as high of a placement as they can no matter what the results are, and just, just going all out here. And that makes the chaos on top of what you're talking about, the circles, with the way that the teams are playing as well, just adds to this mix.
Cerberus now, widespread around Gatka, still out of the zone. Jamba, I wondered for a second if they were caught up in Sonic's hold. Sonic's not necessarily in position to gatekeep that western bridge, but you never know. Maybe someone's in a perfect position on a rotate. But Tiamba's continuing to move on, and they're still driving north. I think they might be scavenge looting on the way, which means that they could run into a Cerberus member, but 17 at the very least coming out of Pachinki immediately into the zone once again.
I kind of, for some reason, in the back of my mind, think that Tiamba's going to go all the way around to Stalberg. I think they're going to drive all the way around.
Honestly, they might. That's like, look at the direction that they're going, with everyone else just trying to beeline towards center. Tiamba know that they don't have, that they're not in a position to contest for a central position, so you might as well come in from the safest angle you can imagine. But hey, Cerberus here. I don't know if they're trying to take this fight, but Tiamba are going to be taking it to them.
The Cerberus is out for blood, and they are looking to just kind of jockey for position initially with Tiamba. Now they did get a player up here on the hill. It's Tycon, but he's backing off, so I think this fight is unlikely to happen.
Is it?
As long as Longskirt keeps going, I think it's
sending it.
I am pretty interested about Cerberus's timing here, because they certainly had to have heard Tiamba driving by and opted to chase them.
Yeah, it might honestly just be a chase to come in from the same angle. It might honestly just be that Cerberus has the same idea in mind that Tiamba does. We'll see if it comes up into anything. Right now, we're still just looking at other parts of the map. Still nothing in the kill feed for us to follow up on. At the very least, it's it's going to be an active rotation with a lot of yelling and screaming at each other.
Well, this looks similar to the other Erangel in the way that 17 is navigating the circle, just coming in a little bit late, taking the western edge and locking down that space. Genji is going to take their sweet old time, as is usual. They like to get fully looted. They like to get the best guns. They like to get that SLR into PO's hands, make sure everybody's situated before they start making their rotations. There's Suju taking that, as you boys in NA call it, the tempo dip.
Tempo dip. It's an old school call out.
But it checks out.
But it checks out. Exactly. It's a classic. It's an oldie and a goodie.
I like that one. That's one of the few that I like, because they just did it so much that it actually kind of makes it. It's like kind of like the one I call the liquid compound.
Liquid compound, yeah,
Always
for sure.
Every time. I usually don't like to use like really specific call-outs, like that are regional specific, but there's a few that carry over.
Because especially if it happens on a global stage, time and time again, and everyone recognizes it. And honestly, at this point, they're so long gone from both of those teams that those call-outs have a life of their own.
Yes, exactly. And Sonic's sitting we saw Tiamba drive by them very early. They didn't opt to put any pressure at Tiamba, let them pass peacefully. And now it is Na'Vi around the shelter. Howl, your previous game winners, going to be vibing in the kind of Alamo Museum area, and Ascend, shocker of all shockers, is also going to be coming in very, very late.
Coming from Primorsk is the only option. Get as much loot as possible and be prepared to fight for edge space, especially if there's a hard shift, which again, we're gonna have a hard shift. We are gonna 100% have a hard shift on phase 2. The question is where it is. Cerberus here, making their way into the zone through the S9 field. Tiamba separated from Cerberus because not only did they drive towards Stalberg, they actually went towards Georgia Pole to continue their loot.
Yeah, so you're right. They're gonna loot on the way. I'll be curious to see how they want to attack this circle, actually, now that they stopped there. Maybe they're going to cut through Razak or something. Curious to see how they want to approach this one. 4 a.m. sitting out there just on the outside of that dip we were talking about a moment ago. We're going to pop some shots at Schofield. Long range, but for the mini. doable with that high bullet velocity. So far, though, Crazy just saying hello and then saying goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, 4AM, this is the team that people had a lot of high expectations on them. They looked the best as far as all Chinese teams coming in from group stages at the very least, but they're now sitting in 13th place. With Cerberus, they're still trying to drive center, and they've driven themselves in the middle of a Danawa crossfire. The damage isn't really there for Danawa to capitalize too much onto that, so at the very least, Cerberus are able to keep all 4 alive, but perhaps not in the position that they were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you always got to be aware of if you're going to drive anywhere in and around the Yasnaya fields, is that Danawa in a circle like this is always going to be fanned out, usually Heaven and somewhere else in a 2-2 split. So you got to be kind of aware of that positioning and those crossfires so they can get set up. Gen G here, also, the latecomers, them and Ascend might be bumping into each other outside of the circle. See if anything comes out of that.
Sonics on Death Road. Up against Day Train, and now Gen G pushing away across a field. Where is this? This is out in the blue with Ascend here on the west side. Still a distance away from Circle 1. So these teams just trying to come in incredibly conservatively. They're losing a lot of resources for that one. Cerberus taking a couple of shots from Twisted Minds, and Day Train now pushing in onto the Sonics.
All right, Tiggleton only gets a touch of damage there. He's the only one on point. He's playing anchor here for Sonics. Quickly, Shrimsy and others trying to maybe get into position to back up that superstar player. See if they can get in there and help him. Who chills? Day Trade. Just kind of looking around for the rest of Sonics, trying to find out where those other angles are going to be coming from.
Tiggleton didn't get a lot of damage, but he got enough to deter Day Trade's continual push. Now that Shrimsy is here, with the buggy there, potential to continue that swing over further towards the north, but at what point will 17 third party onto this engagement here? The shots are still just teasing out one after another, and in fact, I think Sonics might just trying to run away from this one.
That might be the best strategy here for the Sonics. I also saw bolts in the hands of somebody on 17 Gaming, so that could have a role to play here. Circle gonna sort of center up. Super hard shift.
It's
really at all.
There's an argument that's a hard shift to the east because of the water. But as far as room playable, it's pretty good. Most teams are already inside it, so the pattern has been broken here in game number 16 of the Grand Finals. Perhaps they'll carry on further, but now Lurello trying to find some space. Of course, it's third.
Why does this keep happening?
I mean, they loot similar spots on this map, but man.
I know. It's just, it is the duel of the fates, I suppose. Twisted Minds now settles up in the museum, and Howell is going to use this opportunity to try to retreat. Kickstart trying to get to the rest of his team. Looks like he has successfully done so. You still have Adam on top of his wizard tower, and Kickstart going to get knocked by Soul, of all people, from forever away, out on the other side of things to the northwest, and he's going to get the flush as well, so a point for Danawa.
And it's still a lot of third-party action as well. Constant chip onto LG, and Adam's just going to be waiting for people running in terror from other angles of Third Eye, as well as Danawa into his tower here, but Howl also rolling on up. So Third Eye perhaps might be pulled in a couple of different directions here. Vox is already looking that angle, but Ruin and Apocalypse, you know they're thirsting for blood.
Absolutely. Adam there springs to life, gets one, can't find another. Actually, Oldest, though, going to come in there and help from afar. Snaker's the only one alive. Relo bleeding out. Now, see if Oldest can do any more. Long-range AK spray. Trying to find Snaker's there, but Snaker's rotates to the backside of the Wizard. Here comes Richie B on the flank with the buggy, looking to try to get the kill onto Snaker's. Going to get that grenade already. Snaker's here, had to have heard it, trying to rotate to the other side, trying to do what he can. But it didn't matter. Oldest got it before Richie B even got there.
More damage coming in from Danawa, perhaps in the knock on Richie B, but he's running inside and he's able to get the revive on to Adam, so there are still 4 up. Vox also rushing to find safety in this tower, but amongst all that fight, with Oldest now going down, suddenly Third Eye have lost all control in this area.
I have to say, that's a beautiful trap play that they just set up. Like, that is really nasty. Like, the angles that they're able to come at, the fact that they're able to get Adam back up and running, just in my opinion, a really smart play here from Third Eye. I know it sucks that it's, if you're fans of NA PUBG, that it had to be that way, but still, I was really impressed there.
Vox would go revive on Oldest, so maybe if they can get back up to 4 and have a little bit of a 2-2 split, this sort of, the resources will still be maintained in terms of control and spacing, but now Pio in the middle of 4 a.m., a widespread for Gen G as they're just trying to gather up all this information and maybe a little bit of spacing on the west side as the blue closes in onto them, but Pio, he could get popped off, and if he does get discovered.
Certainly the essence of Pio in play. Once again, this is his MO. Constantly out there on his own, looking to set the tempo early for Gen G, looking to get some of those points, get that much needed space as well. Tianba did actually rotate all the way around Yasnaya, so they're coming in from the north side, and it is wide open on the northeast, so if it does hard shift up that direction, then they have once again, as the desk was mentioning, successfully predicted that.
At the very least, they're coming in like raid bosses. They should be looted to the gills, but it is going to be another hard shift towards the east. I mean, again, hard shift in terms of where the water is, it could be a lot more rough in terms of like the borders touching, but there was a lot more teams that need to rotate into this one compared to phase number 2 and push up that hill onto the high ground that's surrounding prison. It's going to be very, very hard, especially with the fields on the north side, but PO is going to get isolated, surrounded by 4 a.m. Zhao Hai with the knock and the full confirm onto that one.
Now the rest of Gen G is driving in this direction, but I think they're going to peel off once they realize there's no hope to save PO17 diving right into the prison. They might just drive right in and play for placement points, play for safety. This is brilliant from 17 Gaming. I cannot stress how much I like this move.
For any other team, I think this would be a silly maneuver. But for 17, in phase 3 being dead center, this is perfect for them, and this is awful for all the teams that are trying to chase. But Ghibli now up against the Sonics. These are two of the teams that are trying to make that chase, and they're going to be fighting each other.
Ooh, that grenade just bounced a bit too far past Tiggleton. Life flashing before his eyes. Tiggleton now waiting for the regress from Ghibli, but right now Ghibli seems to be standing pat. Didn't find any knocks with those grenades, so they do not want to try to push this angle. Can be a bit tough trying to come up and over that hill with the way it slopes. So for now, they stand pat. Na'Vi out in the distance fighting 4 a.m. and Gen G involved in this.
Yeah, with H-Man, you can see the lone Sonics player there. A lot of lines of sight. It's going to be crazy with the knock on Tainment, but perhaps H-Man could be pulling Sonics' attention back this way to make sure that they're not backfilled. But I mean, Gen G and 4 a.m., they're just dealing so much damage to each other, though. I say that, it's mostly Gen G on the receiving end.
Yeah, Tainment out in the open by that UAS. DG and Foxy scrambling to find some level of safety. They're getting shot at from a couple different angles. Probably Na'Vi getting involved in this as well. Cerberus and Donawa scraping it up in the northern end of things. That's neither here nor there. There we go, down in the picture in the bottom right. Some are down. Crazy and Xiaohai now gonna try to push the hill, see if they can get it. Oh, Foxy with some great sprays! And all of a sudden, Trimsy gets involved as well. It's actually Example who got the knocks. So even though Gen G doesn't get any of these, there might be some points here for Foxy.
He's confirmed one at least. That's 1 point for Gen G. But this is going to be a very, very typical revive because of the angle from not just Sonics, but also Na'Vi. This is such a dangerous hillside to play on. And look at this. It's Xiaolu. Last one up for 4 a.m. Foxy's calling the rotation. But they're alive for now. 4 a.m. I don't know if the revive's going to be available, but Xiaolu seems to want to go for it.
It is phase 3 blue, so there is potentially time, but Uba probably wants none of it. Although they're able to crawl in just behind this US. They might have cut off the angle just enough. I don't know if the res can come through in time this summer, though,
yeah, the blue
with it ticking down so fast. Yeah.
Is that? I think Sonic's now dealing a little bit of damage to Uba. Someone does go down to the kill feed. No revive there. So it is just Xiaolu remaining for 4 a.m. And with both Na'Vi and Sonics not just holding this edge, aware of his position, he might just be hoping for a hard shift come phase 4. But it's going to be a medium shift to the north. Not the worst in terms of allowing Xiaolu some space to avoid a gatekeep. But it's such a big field up there, controlled by Cerberus with a little bit of Danoa in the mix.
Tiggleton an uphill drive to check on Ghibli. Didn't see or hear anything, so now it's a change in direction as Sonics have to figure out how to make a move. A lot of teams going to be eyeing that southern part of the prison, potentially wanting to contest for that territory. Rex and Ascend chasing Tianba here. The Tianba already in their vehicles. I think they're basically okay. Maybe 7-7 if Chris hits some insane shots.
Ooh, Spray's gonna come out. He's gonna go for the attempt for sure. But yes, Tianba are making headway into this zone. Finding a compound there on the eastern edge. Sonics rotating up this high ground. Howl should be aware of the new approach. Ruin taken down very, very low. Smoke seemed to be immediately deployed by Howl in a defensive manner, but look at that grenade on H-Win.
Yeah, here we go. That one is gonna, wow, that bounce. That one had rubber on the outside of it. Just goes soaring into the air.
Like a dodgeball.
Well, if you can dodge a frag, you can dodge a ball. And
I didn't see that in the movie.
yeah, I didn't see it either. That would have been a good one though.
Delete scene.
Someone just throws a grenade in there. That'll be good. Xiaolu up the hill towards Ghibli. Last man standing for the Angry Men. And he is going to use a bandage, try and get as close to full as he can, of course. Boosted, can sit through a little bit of blue. I mean, it chunks. You can see 3 damage per second, phase 4.
Oh, he's certainly hurt by Glass, but Glass is actually in a vehicle. This is going to give Xiaolu the information that there is someone ahead of him.
I am shocked Xiaolu didn't go for that.
Yeah.
I thought he had a great opportunity to just get a point at the very least here.
I think he's hoping that he can just follow up on whatever angle, whatever wedge Ghibli can break into this next one. Because Ghibli has to push in through, I mean, could be H, could be Sonic, but Navi here also coming up from that low ground in the Howl-Sonic standoff.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think Xiaolu's greeting here, and rightly so. He has to with the position that his team is in. They need points. They are down in 13th place right now. So
Yeah, can't just one and done.
Exactly. I think you're absolutely right. See if he can make it work. Still seeing him on the back end. Sonic's here putting some damage into Ghibli. Scrapes here and there. H-Win taking some damage as well. Shrimzy watching Navi. Tricky position here for the Sonics. A couple different angles they have to watch.
Grenade doesn't deal quite enough damage, though. A bit of chip on H when that next one does a little better, but again, the bounce towards the north still not favoring Navi into this push. They're inside the zone, but they only have a small little rock to play with. The only thing that's really saving them is that Sonics can only run out so far without getting tagged by Twisted Minds, but Ghibli here on the south, they're running into day trade.
Yeah, that's Flash from out in the blue. It's actually Vegas who gets the knock on it. Vegas gets the flush as well. The drive-by here, grenades being prepped by Poochills and company. Yumin down, Toasty and Glass trying to hold the line, but Poochills up and over. Greeting for the flush, and it's going to pay the price. It's Purdy Curdy in the back, a grenade in the hand from Toasty. Takes him down, Yumin quickly follows, and now it is only one player left for Ghibli.
And where did the Sonics come from? They stole us by the kill feed. They know they want to take control of the high ground, and they are here to finish what what SDK and Day Trade started. Only Glass up, still hiding out in the smoke. 4AM are eliminated in 13th place. Tiggleton on Sonics has been knocked.
If they could have just figured out that he was by the tree,
Yeah.
they could have gotten that, I think, but with a knock in there, a little bit of chaos in the Sonics, couldn't quite find those grenades, hoping that maybe he was on the edges of one of those smokes. Oldest down and out, indeed. Alia is going to put that mini to work. Find a point there. Now Third Eye under pressure from Navi. Navi has to cut through this. There will be angles from other teams into this fight. Let's see how Navi can get. Let's see if Navi can get something done.
Good grenade. It's sort of deterred a bit by the vehicles, but Mel has another one trying to make its way inside. It looks good, but still Adam just dancing around these frags like he's a professional tap dancer.
Love to see it. Ballet in motion here for the Third Eye, trying to dodge these frags. Mel just holds the spray down. Adam trying to repeat. Box out in the open, getting punished from on high by Alia and company. Here comes the rest of Navi. Twisted Minds now going to be driving just past this. I think they're going to barricade whoever wins this fight. And the rest of Navi now trying to claw their way through. Box shut down. Just Richie B in the second story.
Still not able to really land the shots in these one-on-one fights. Navi are just slowly flooding over and Twisted Minds with an angle. They're not making it easy for either of these teams to stay alive, and Richie B still up and at him, but surrounded, and the blue is closing on in. At the very least, Navi gonna have to go for a desperate play of their own, because Sonics have come back in this direction.
I love to see it. Let's go. But H-Win there trying to get the spray. But Richie B just got 2 kills on the Navi. Tough as nails is Richie holding the line here for Third Eye. Sonic's now wrapping to the north, trying to get in. Little do they know, 17 sitting inside of the prison currently. Shrimzy here watching Navi. The res is going to come through. Out the door they go. The fire is good from Mime and company. One more on the Sonics. Just Alia. Richie B out the window. Richie B going to get taken out by Shrimzy, actually. Grenade out here from Spyro. Trying to see if he can get the finish. It comes up just short.
Oh no, Adrian going down for Sonics is not a good look when they need all the points they can get. That's why they're pushing all these different angles. They hear a fight, they see a fight, they're trying to join on in. They've gotten a couple of kills so far. Oh man, but they're running out of space, they're running out of territory. And Twisted Minds, they've had the revive, they're still 4 up. So it's not, I don't know how Sonics are able to break in through this next level, especially with Lou holding points so far out, they might just be denying.
Yeah, there was nowhere left to run for the Sonics. They did what they could there on the edge, salvaged the points that they could find. Yeah, but with the maneuver that Twisted Minds made, there was no getting any further. Now, 17 here, still sitting. Prison edge going to continue to be in with that eastern side, SDK above. You have Twisted Minds around the other edge. Donawat, the surviving 2 members, and Cerberus up towards those bunkers, or excuse me, those trenches just to the north. They're going to have to make a decision here. Cerberus often chooses fighting, but Loki, a superstar trickster, waiting inside.
Shots coming out, and Onyx holding the line. Hisaki goes down. Smoke's coming out, but Loki has a frag grenade at the ready. Danawa know that Cerberus need to push on this fight, but I imagine they're hoping that Cerberus push faster sooner than later because they also need to make their way into the zone. The smokes are already being deployed, but that's going to be a very, very difficult road for Danawa to cross, even if Cerberus go down in the next 2 seconds.
Loki, knowing that this fight is going to cause attention, he's got 1. Can he find any more? Yes, he can. That's 2 for Loki. Takes a bunch of damage from Tycon, but the grenade there in hand from Hisaki takes down his teammate. And now Donawat with 4 kills, still kicking in this one, have some work to do to get in the next circle.
Tiamba angles onto that position. SDK angles onto that position. Twisted Minds, who are trying to push into what remains of the prison entrance that is in this next zone, will also have eyes onto that angle. And 17 also need to finally prison break this game. They got to make their way out of this small little lip. There's no way to climb up that high ground. At some point, you have to hope that they activate, that they just try and swing around and take Twisted Minds, because just hiding in the cave that is below SDK will only get them so many points.
All right, Donawat trying to roll in, maybe trying to save an Onyx, trying to use the chaos of Twisted Minds fight, but Perfectix finds the flush, so Loki on a solo mission here on out. Twisted Minds, 4 kills in the bag, gonna need a lot more if they're gonna make a run at 17 Gaming, who still sits alive in this lobby. Loki just driving around the circle looking for any kind of safety. It's Chris trying to tap with that ace. Has less than a clip behind the current one. And then the Mark 12 on the other side of it. Now Ascend is going to try to maneuver themselves in, keep Loki under check.
Ascend backing away from the chaos that is going to be that prison ridge, trying to find this last kill, this last point, but perhaps running a bit too out in the open. A couple of angles from Tiamba and potentially Howl going their way, but they're alive for now. Loki getting away a safe distance from that vehicle as it's about to explode, but unfortunately that cover is no longer usable. And a great grenade from It's Chris gets Ascend another point. They are chasing 17. They are still in the mix, but with 17 still alive, and we're in the middle of placement points, they're going to have to hope that 17 is going to absolutely demolish by the 3 teams that are surrounding them.
There's still hope for Ascend. They still have a shot, but 17 needs to get wiped out sooner rather than later. And it shifts back in towards the prison. Everybody here on the rock ledge is still in this circle. Absolutely insane. This is going to be a tight, wild finish. There's so much to work with.
Twisted Minds currently focused on 17. They know that they are here, but Howl need to move in towards STK, which means that STK are focused so far in the south. Twisted Minds could pull a sneaky maneuver and actually have one person hold 17, everyone else backstab STK. The big question is, what angles will Tiamba have? You can already see in the minimap that they are leaving their compound. Pow Pow has already entered into the zone, taking what is really close to center. But this, the way that these fights could unfold because of so many teams in such close proximity, it is really, really hard to call right now.
Yeah, this is an absolutely wild finish. Of course, 17 loving every minute of this. Teams are going to be watching for them to come out. I'm sure they've been identified by now by Twisted Minds. Tiamba, like you were mentioning, has control over the center of the circle. Ascend, if they're going to make a run, it's got to start right now. They got to start winning this game. There's a knock and a flush there. It's going to be Howl that actually gets it. Some shots from Apocalypse and Killikai to the other side, but Pow Pow already in the center. Has a great angle to turret from.
A bit too late of a set for Ascend, and then they're taking a lot of damage, and they're still not in the zone. Grenades, utility, everything is coming out from Howl Esports, as well as Tiamba, but Howl is distracted by a couple of different sides. They want to get all the kills that they can. Power with a great knock on Mika.
All right, it's Chris. Has slid his way up to the rock ledge, but he's trying to do something. Killikai down as well, so it's Chris for Ascend. Keeping your eyes onto them as they're a team who has hope to maybe unseat them, but no, they're gone. They're out. The man now springing to life on top of the Sonics, on top of SDK. The Molly is out right on top of Vegas. Not much he can do except sit there and cook, and he is gone. 7-7 now, and Tiamba looking to maybe finish the job.
Tiamba looking really good in the positioning. Because Twisted Minds and 17, they're still so entangled with each other. Chiamba can just hold a surrounding position on the Howl. And look at this frame by Perfecting, still not landing the final pieces of damage, but Howl go out. Chiamba, this is their game to lose.
No doubt about it. Tianba is firing all cylinders, especially Pow Pow. 5 kills in the bag already for him. The Molly is out trying to flush out these angles, trying to clear Twisted Minds out of these cracks, but it's going to be Perfectix who pops up and pops Pow Pow.
A headshot is going to keep Perfectix from peeking again quite so soon, but Longscrew with the frag grenade, make sure that it's going to be even longer than that. One revive for Twisted Minds, and another one immediately falls.
The res being stuck here, it is good. You have Pow Pow back up and running. Linshu on the flank, and Longscrew now it's his turn. He sees his teammate putting up big kills, and he wants to get involved. 7-7 gonna flush out Perfectix. More grenades trying to find Batulins, but Batulin's able to get his way back down the other side of the mountain. 17 still has one player left. Xiao Bei is gonna be sneaking out some incredibly important placement points for them. Here we go, around the corner is Pow Pow. 7-7 gets Spyro. Longscrew gets taken down by Lou. Pow Pow from up above is gonna take him down. It's a 3v1.
And they should know that Xiao Bei is left in this small little cave, under this small little ridge. There is nowhere else for a player to be. 1 versus 3. I don't know if Xiao Bei is going to have an opportunity to win this game, but still 17 again. Second place, 0 kills. But second place, they just cannot give anyone any slack. They went out early last game. That seems to be the only opportunity that they're giving.
It was a masterful move to drive into the prison. Just absolutely huge brain stuff from them. You cannot fault them at all for the maneuver they made and the price that they are paying for it, because it is a cheap real estate and they get a ton of points out of it.
Chiamba is zeroing in on this position. Yep, that's going to be the angle found. Pow Pow with the final kill. A bunch of kills for that player on Chiamba. 12 overall for the team as they take this win. Chiamba with the late rotations just seem to constantly put themselves in a great position to capitalize on the shifts.
Yeah, they're having a great run here towards the end of the tournament, climbing that leaderboard as much as they can. Again, every position matters, especially once you start getting up towards 8. But guys, we have some highlights, and then the desk is going to break things down, so don't go anywhere here at PGS1.
It's a big win for Tiamba as they get a lot of kills on the board and try to make their way up that leaders table. Congratulations to them on the chicken dinner, but again, another game where 17 somehow goes deep. I mean,
yeah, the consistency that they're able to show, and then also the late game circle they've been able to find has been super impressive here. And this exact spot here, like that is that's a spot, especially with the shift that went too often. Like you're just gonna guarantee yourself top 4 in that case, right? And that little point there, that's gonna be probably enough. We'll see if somebody else is gonna be able to catch up to them.
It is a spot that snaky players like myself know well. And when they went there, I didn't think, like, they sent Prison early. We said, oh, this is a good defense play. They'll get themselves in the top 7. They'll get placement, and then they got the shift. Like, oh, it's top 5. And then they got that last shift, and it was just
top 3 guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely top 3 guarantee. So the fight was up on top of the rocks. We saw a really good battle going on between Howl and everybody else that was up there. Ultimately, though, Tiamba, 2 games in a row, playing very, very well.
I love what I'm seeing from them, and also the potential from this team is huge here. Longscrew, of course, the big change we saw from coming in the beginning of the year. Linshu's still GLing, and these guys, they have potential, and I like what I'm seeing from them. But like the spotlight is obviously going to be in 17 games, right? The better organization and team coming out of China right now. So yeah, it's good to see Tiamba kind of step up like here. But if they did it earlier, they could have been maybe a case where they could have gotten into top 2.
Yeah, it feels like they started this grand final a little passive, and they sort of, and a lot of teams, I think they realized, oh, maybe it's time to turn on, but I wish they had done it from the jump. 17 I will say this is a story of growth because we go all the way back to the group stages. They had Sonics had a good first day that allowed them to very comfortably hot drop 17 for their entire first group stage day. It set them back. They had to go to the losers bracket. They struggled on the first day of that. This is the story of a team that has really bounced back from a bad start and managed to just absolutely dominate these late stages.
Yeah, and we gotta say also, once we got into this tournament here, PGS, when you looked at like the drop map for the home drops of the teams, so many teams are the kind of It is one of the, if not the strongest drops coming in, of course. So that's also why the benefit of setting in, having it for free is huge. I gotta say though, I'm impressed with what we've seen from Sonic so far in here in the grand finals. They've been able to really step it up in a new-ish loot spot in terms of global. But yeah, Tiamba 12, huge for them here, 22 points. They only had 29 points in the entirety of yesterday. So this is obviously a huge day for them, their biggest day so far.
Also a big shout out to Howl. They come in 4th with 6 kills. They won the last game. This is a team, like we said, not a lot of expectation coming in and have consistently impressed. Twisted Minds also with a very nice game. They played those rocks very, very well. Let's take a look back at that last match and the chaos that started near the prison.
Yeah, huge setup here. Third Eye Richie's able to get 2 players from Navi. There was actually, there's a moment where I was thinking, okay, Navi's actually going to be able to have, 3, 4 guys alive, maybe get in a little bit deeper into the prison area, but no, Richie B said that's not happening, and delayed the fight for so long that they had no time to make a bigger play here. But Tiamba defended this eastern side of the prison high ground for a very long time. Super well executed by them, and also taking down Howl in the process. I loved how we saw Howl kind of spotting a lot of the 17 players, but then Tiamba came in and said nope. Also taking down Twisted Minds, of course, in this case, and they're like, here,
we know where
they had to secure that last point. They won the last point here, of course.
Absolutely, that shows a strategy, right? Because I was watching with you, and I was like, that's not the blue kill. And you brought up every point matters. We go into our last 2 matches of the game. So the fact they went through and hunted them down, but did it safely. They didn't want to give that point to 17, and it ends up working out. Now, Pow Pow comes out with 7 kills, 4 knockouts, and 600 damage. A lot of that is because Tiamba felt a bit like the Spartans. They had their back to that cliff over the prison. They were defending against teams that kept trying to come in. They played it very, very well. That's not the easiest thing to do when there's no fallback potential up there at the edge of the cliffs.
No, and here Pow Pow, actually, Paper's been by a little bit of a fan of Pow Pow, and also coming in and saying, this is one of the guys I believe in. He had on his fantasy team sometimes here, so it's good to see him coming in here and getting a man of the match with 7 kills.
Yeah, Pow Pow pops off. Not too bad, and I like seeing it. Tiamba, again, they sort of have been playing a little passive for me, going to these centers, sort of send positions, hoping the circle works out for them. That has changed. They're now getting a lot more active, and you love to see it. Now, up on top, this is pretty interesting. Cerberus has taken over the kill lead and the damage lead. This is another team who, big fan base, and I actually saw a pretty good social media post today that said, what I love about Cerberus is that every time you watch them play, they make more fans. Because every time you see them, you go, man, this team is way better than I've sort of seen or thought that they were. And I absolutely love seeing that.
And also from last year we saw them do extremely well, and now they're continuing to kind of build on that reputation here. Emas, Tyke, and all the guys, they're able to really do some pop-off games. We saw Haisaki take down Navi here in the beginning of the day. Super impressed with Cerberus so far, and I hope they continue to kind of build on that foundation throughout the year.
The more time they spend in these international lobbies, the better they seem to get.
Sure.
Let's take a look at the overall leaderboard. 2 games left to play. 17 has the lead at 133, but it is not unattainable for a catch-up to happen. Ascend is not that far behind. A good chicken dinner and a bad game for 17 opens that up for them. Tiamba, even possibly the Sonics and Ghibli, if 17 has a bad game to start. I think that's really the key here.
Somebody needs to sit in the back seat of their car and pull the handbrake, though, because they have been able to do quite well for themselves. Tiamba, huge game so far and day so far for them. They're able to bring 44 points, their best day so far in the grand final. That puts them into the 3rd place here. Super impressed with them so far.
And I think one of the fun things that I've enjoyed at this event that sadly you guys can't hear at home is 17's play booth is very close to our green room, so we can hear the passion that they're playing with, the excitement, the frustration when things go badly. And there is definitely, it's fun to hear that sometimes, to hear how intense it can get for some of these teams. But 17, looking great. Can they be stopped? With only 2 matches left to play, it is almost time for the penultimate game of PGS 1, co-hosted by Crafted and VSPL. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
that could be the shot. Does come out though, and that's going to be a warning. With Sparrow, he delayed his drop, able to get the knock, fully run away from that, down to such low HP, but this is a moment to perhaps finish that kill, especially with the frag grenade in hand.
1 HP to work with, and what a survival. I love the fact that he sits in the window, goes the shotgun, comes through the chest for the nade, finds the second as well, too, he goes down. With full control of the hillside up above, shooting over the top, finds the first one, that is Pushil's down. Yeah, Tiggleton and company. Oh!
Engagement might be overwhelmed, but AZ with the underhand grenade, this one could be good.
Oh, he gets the knock, and now he's going to push out and get another. Looking for the third, looking for the finish. The 1v3 on Adanawa. Salute is hurt, but he is prone. He's going to throw a molly right on top of Salute. This may be the end. Salute is burning, but I think he got the first aid off just in time. Has to wrap to the outside, but no, the molly was good enough. What a play from AZ.
It's not perfect. They're getting knocks against them, but they are making it work time and time again. But Apocalypse with a very, very good return knock on Kurt.
Nice double headshot coming through, gets the flush instantly as well. Molly should take out Rune. We'll see if the man can do anything. No, Halo able to find the first. Apocalypse not in the position to cover him. And all Vegas now spots the second down to have HP. They know the connection was there. Push forward, aggress forward, get the final kill down. Slow SP, no!
Halo as well, so they are not down just yet, but oh, Halo is found.
Exactly, man. The team's aware of exactly what's going on here. Apocalypse crawls for input. Let's go for the flush. Yes, he does. Again, first game of the series. It's only 12 matches total. You want to optimize the amount of points you can get here. Penta, Nate locked on out, doesn't find the first man. Able to stay alive. Penta, though, take it down. Peaks the second time around. Apocalypse hits him.
Keep seeing them cheekily pop up in some of these final moments, so not too bad to be able to get yourself a few points. There is a world where they make grand finals, and quite honestly, I'm going to be truly frank with you here. Me, Benja, Toby, how? Well, they won PEC, fantastic. However, how are they going to do on land? We have a...
Xavier's position in particular is really tricky for Ghibli. Oh! Vegas once again landing a sick headshot! How is he getting away with this? Two more bullets in this AWM. Can Vegas make anything happen? Yes, he can! Stop! Please! Unbelievable! Vegas! Desperate to eat the points. They're set in 15th. There's Cumin with the first. Instantly, the flush to follow. As now Senna tries to find another one. Cumin again. Finds the third as well.
It's on now. It's on this maneuver for these teams to go out with a bang and not go out with the whip for the sense coming on in. Oldless with the grenade at the ready. It looks good. Oldless takes down 2 of New Happy.
For Akkad, still at her, holding the line, gets another. All of a sudden, this push for third party, or excuse me, for Third Eye, looked good, and now it doesn't.
But they're losing players themselves. It's not going to be a free grab. It's not going to be an easy continuation of this game despite being a center spot. And it looks like Sun Sister also want to take part in this. Metrical Road actually backed away. They realized that, oh, I say that, it's actually going to be Third Eye eliminated. Oldless swinging around the corner.
This, I mean, like you said, FaZe needs points, and now they're walking right to the guns of Genji. Taemin is making them pay, getting 3 headshots with the SLR. The end is near here at PGS1. Only 2 more games to go, and 17 Gaming is thoroughly in the driver's seat. Challengers remain, but can anybody get it done in these last 2 games? Paper Thin here, along with Toby, to bring you these last 2 games to find out if there will be any challengers or if this will be 17 Gaming's first global title.
And right now, it looks very much to go in their direction. But still plenty of teams that could, with one more good game here, stop them. But it's all going to come down to not only do they have a good game, but can they stop 17 early? Can they deny them the late games?
Exactly. Is anybody going to be able to prevent 17 from making these smart, safe maneuvers that we've seen so far today?
I'm not going to lie. When I saw them crash into prison early last game, I was like, oh my god, this is going to be their downfall. Circles came their way, but also just them being able to sit tight, having that corner, the little cave, to be able to stay put in. It's starting to get really ugly for some of these teams on the hunt.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the gamble paid off for 17 in the previous game. There are still contenders, maybe Ghibli, who knows, maybe they can muster something here. That magic that they've had the last couple of days doesn't seem to quite be there today.
Not really the same extent, but my eyes now, as we head on over to Miramar for the last time of PGS1, is going to be on this 17 team. We saw them in the previous Miramar, Oldless snug up, took out 1 early on. I think all of 17 are going to sit very comfortably in Picado this time around. No flexing out in the early game.
Yeah, I think you may actually be right. I think this time it's going to be safety measures engaged.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Exactly. But then again, I mean, a passive 17, the worry comes in where if they don't get the placement points to boot, that could potentially be a 0 or 1 point game for them.
All right, let's get those fireworks going, because we are ready to get some fireworks going in the game. We have a Miramar coming at you guys. PGS1 rolls along, even though we will find our stopping point very, very soon. It's time to get into game 5 of the day. Game 15, or nope, I'm wrong. Game 17 overall. My math is good. Game 17 here for Miramar. My math finally faltered, Toby.
It had to happen eventually.
It had to happen eventually.
Let's take a look now as we hop on over to Miramar. Very, very simple, very, very vertical playing path coming in. Hot Eastern committed teams might have a harder time, but at least what we might get off of this is a first circle that does not go to the east.
Yeah, no, I mean, this one, you know, promises. It's at least tantalizing us with that it might not show us, you know, that Los Leones area again. I think we're good for that. You know, our last Miramar, I would love something maybe a little bit spicy, just a little bit different. That's all I want.
Different.
Something different is all I ask for here.
Different and far away from Picado. How about that?
Sure. Yeah. I'm okay with all of that.
Let's make life miserable for 17 in this particular match, and then if anyone gets close to them, we'll say fair play for the final one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think this is, you know, you could see Cerberus out very early towards Oasis, men after my own heart, as they go up towards that northern area. You can see Sonic's going to be heading out south of the south end of Los Leones, Navi and Minas Generales, and yeah, everyone else just kind of fanning out in mostly their normal drop spots.
Yeah, quite a few teams down towards the southern side, though, as we said before, the hard eastern loot spots of Impala, of Luminosity wanting to go over towards Junkyard, not really reachable with this plane, and the risk of trying to fly over a team that lands down before you is simply not worth it. So a lot of teams down south, which means that should this first circle go north, we're in for some good rotations, but north, hell no. Let's go practically as far south on the first circle as can be.
I heard some screams of joy. You don't often hear that off of that particular circle. Usually it's groans, but I think people are ready for something different. We are certainly going to get it here. Maybe. We're likely to get it. Adam, this time around, it's Third Eye who's being picked on.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought the Third Eye were going to be receiving it? A fire coming through in the early game. Now, we asked for something far away from Picado, and in all fairness, I don't think we could really get further away from Picado with the first shift. So kudos to you, game, for listening to our pleas. We'll see, though, if 17, which is a team that everyone has their eyes on right now, can find a safe passage to this first circle.
Of course, Danawa still wanting to climb that leaderboard, still wanting to keep themselves somewhere in that top echelon of teams, a team that struggled early in this event, the first day, a day to forget, certainly for Danawa. Since then, they've had some good performances. They've gotten a chicken dinner. They just need a big game or two, and they're right back towards that top 3, top 4.
You said big game exactly. I mean, 13 points here. They're set in third.
That would be absolutely huge. To see them climb all the way back up, that would be phenomenal, because I was starting to feel a little, oh no, have they used all the energy on those first couple of stages? But no, today's climb, it really started at the end of yesterday, right? We started to get some games going their way. Should they be able to do it here, that would be huge.
I mean, if they can just clean up some of the early game stuff that happens to them where they get caught in splits. But here's a replay from the previous game. This is Pow Pow doing the pew-pew to Ascend, and him and Longsker doing a ton of damage, a ton of work here towards this end game, just sweeping, you know, south to north along this ridgeline, just beautifully played.
Pow Pow has been an absolute joy to watch throughout this tournament. Coming into it, I didn't have the highest hopes for Tiamba, especially not in comparison to some of the other Chinese teams. But if I was to look at Tiamba, I was looking at 7-7, I was looking at Longsker as some of those two players that we've seen globally before go out and deliver. Pow Pow, a bit of a under-the-radar player for me, has definitely impressed.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's kind of interesting here at this event that we've seen some players on some of our big teams that have been often in their own regions, like the secondary fragger, like you think about Himas on Cerberus, you think about Pow Pow, you know, the secondary to Longsker on Tiamba, having really big events.
Exactly. Well, we see teams rotate on in. We did for a brief moment see Adam and Oldless somewhere isolated. And then you think, but isn't Third Eye normally in Montenuevo? For anyone looking at the map right now, look at Third Eye split. They're currently setting up a gatekeep on Ascent this time around, because why not pick a new team every game to try and bully?
I'm telling you, there is no rhyme or reason.
Nope. It's just I think they're spinning a bottle in their booth, and then they put down some peanuts, one representing each team. Whichever peanut the bottle aims towards, once that spin is done, that's where they're going.
Yeah,
and now it's Ascent.
I know, it is quite fascinating to watch the way Third Eye has approached these lobbies, and I mean, I guess I'll give them this, they're not in last place anymore.
True. It's almost as if whenever they actually started fragging out, they got points off of it. Who would have thought? And speaking of, I mean, I know we've been hitting the drum on these the Luminosity performance for a while throughout the grand finals here, but it's mind-blowing to me that they were so unbeatable. They seemed unstoppable through group stages, to then come into grand finals and just not been able to get anything going.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, a team that I really had high hopes for, was really excited to see them in these grand finals. It just wasn't their weekend. So see if they can reset. I mean, again, a team that I talked about it earlier. Certainly, I think we will see them again at Globals this year.
Oh, definitely. It's for me though, it's the underlining of global PUBG esports. It's a long tournament. It's a long format. You cannot just play the first couple of days well. You have to be able to play well, especially through those resets. Had it just been one long tournament, they would have been set up there because of their great performance during group stages. But when resets come in, you have to be able to continue and drag your momentum onto the next stages as well. And for them, among other teams, it just has not happened.
Absolutely. So if you were glancing at your map right now, yeah, there's a couple teams in Los Leones, 17 and Twisted Minds, not too far from each other, relatively speaking. But in Los Leones, distance can be deceiving thanks to the buildings.
Yes, it sure can. We haven't really, I come back to think of it earlier today, we haven't really had like a proper city ending throughout the entire tournament so far. It's very rare that we don't have at least one or two, but there hasn't been like the full on. We did have on the northeastern edge of Los Leones, but haven't been properly inside. Now, here we go. For those of you guys who haven't been following PUBG esports for a long time, especially on the global stage, there's a thing where if one America's team is sat somewhere, they tend to somehow just kind of magnetize the other America's teams towards them as well, which is why you usually end up seeing America's teams fighting one another in the early game in particular.
Yeah, similar ideas on how to approach the game. Glaz taken down by Salute on the drive-by and just out in the open there. So that's significant damage here to Ghibli early. Yes, with 3 men, it feels like this team can still perform at a very high level, but this is a team that, you know, who knows, maybe 2 big games and they're right up there competing for that top spot. So a tough loss early.
Definitely, and while our eyes have been on Tosi and on Heaven, credit to Glass as well. He has been the one with the bold action to set up a lot of those fights where we have then seen Heaven and Tosi make amazing plays. So losing that support player early on could prove fatal for the likes of Ghibli.
Yeah, again, I've always been kind of interested in Glaz's career, formerly Nefiex. If you guys have been watching the PUBG Korea Leagues or the PWS or PCS's, where he's made appearances from time to time, Batulin's is about as high as it gets. This is almost the top of that particular compound, just seeing what's going on with 17, watching them relaying that info over to his teammates. 4AM is now making their way into the circle on the eastern edge.
Well, it's going a little quiet now as we still miss a couple of the north side teams. Ascent are making their way ever so much closer to Third Eye down below. Chris is going to be the one up close. I love the fact that Kilyakai and Mika, I believe it is, are wrapping north around. Because, again, we've seen this from FaceTime before in EMEA, where they say, we're not going to do this. We know they're going to be there. There's always one team around. And Chris, this is huge. The shot came across from the southern side, I believe. And that's going to allow for Chris to, well, once he gets rid of that vehicle, wrap his way all the way south around. So spotting that is huge for a team currently set in second, aiming for first.
I mean, I appreciate this. You know, they're trolling the troll. The master troll is Chris. And you're trolling him out there on that road. I like that. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Gotta test him every now and again. Let's see now. Uber caught in a split here as well. Don't think this is him positioning himself to try and be much of a gatekeep. This is just him hearing vehicles saying, you know what, I'm not gonna drive right now. But Haisagi swinging right past him. They don't come more accessible than that one. Uber, though, can't quite find the knock.
Yeah, Uber has just been a little bit off the mark throughout these grand finals. Hasn't been that normal, just absolutely just force of nature. Yeah, machine, no doubt about it. So Na'Vi still having a strong finals in 7th place. Would like to end on a high note, as everyone would. Now this battle kind of shifts in a bit of a different direction up towards the hillside.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Mika is aware that Oldless is up here. Also, Brax is still sat down towards Los Hijos, so it would be a dangerous fight for Ascent to engage in, because they could very quickly become outnumbered. In the meantime, Sonics 2-2 split, or make that a 2-1-1 split. Not oftentimes you see teams camp this place, but you know what I think? I think this might be Sonics, and if this shifts south, 17 might just pull up on us, and you can see they're already in the vicinity. Similar situation to what they did with Prison. We're just gonna find a place to lay low. We're just gonna let everyone else die around us, and we will survive till the end game. So I think this Sonic setup right now is a specific anti-17 setup.
It could be.
And it's gonna work?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is maybe Lil Ghost gonna go down. They're scuffling, and Tiggleton's got it. Mime and Tiggleton going to get a huge kill. And certainly gotta be feeling good about this. I think you're absolutely right. I think they read this.
Very, very wise play on the side of Sonics to set that one up. And not only to 17 lose a player, but that is the IGL down early on in this one. Let's see the next circle. Shifts back on land. What's gonna happen eventually? It happens in phase 2, which almost means that we don't really shift away from any playable terrain a little bit, but it's still the same 4 teams that have to rotate into the next circle.
Yeah, I mean, the only real unplayable terrain left is the mountains around Los Leones.
Yes.
Everything else is fair game, so we'll see. Maybe it's just gonna like double hardship up to Los Leones, and we're gonna get that city. You know, maybe you jinxed it at the beginning.
I want it, but I don't want it. It's like whenever there's 2 games left of a global tournament, it's let's just leave it to the players to come up victorious. Oh, I think Richie is in trouble.
Is he stuck?
Maybe someone run him over or shoot him, allowing him to kind of reset that animation there.
Yeah, that does happen. There are a few spots here and there where, unfortunately, the rocks are a little tricky.
While bouldering have become more and more famous in the world as of late, doing it in PUBG can sometimes get you in trouble.
Where's Cammy? He can go help him out there.
He can talk about all the different routes he could have taken out of that position. Needs to go bouldering. That's what he got to do in order to make his way out from that spot. 4 AM on the east side. Again, slow approach to this one. Not really overzealous. Hasn't been their grand finals either. While it didn't look as hot as other teams throughout the earlier brackets, I definitely did not expect to see them sat down in 13th off of what we saw from them previously in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I really thought 4 AM was going to be a contender in this with how well they were playing in the beginning. Oh, what is going on out here? This is just getting sillier by the minute. It really is. That car's just done. There's no hope.
It's, Brex. Good thing for you is that you're pretty good distance to Oldest. He could take, oh no, don't prone. You're not just asking him to. Now you're just asking him. So let's see if any of the shots connect. That's the first one going in. Is he still prone? No, finally he's not running, but 2 shots already hit. Adam finds the third. Brex. This one should be him down and out.
Yeah, that's ridiculously long range, especially with the SKS. Yeah, that's a tremendous bullet drop you're having to deal with. Some return fire into Vox. Adam trying to figure out where the hell it's coming from.
They might just want to try and pick him back up. You can see Chris now with the shots coming through, forced him off the ridge line. The issue is, as you can see there, Chris, limited in terms of tires available for him here. Millman dies outside the circle. In the blue, he falls. Not sure exactly what caused that, but Na'Vi -1. Rich is still chilling.
Poor Richie.
We need a pip. Like we need a picture of Richie until the moment he goes down.
I'll buy you dinner after this. That just feels bad, man. This feels bad. Oh, Penta. Oh my God. They got to start the res. Yeah.
Nope. Not gonna happen. I feel like the rest of the servers go, that's what you get. That's what you get, Third Eye, for getting at us all this time. Now, Luminosity trying to take it to shoot to kill over the hilltop. They're all up close. One good nade here could be lethal, but seems like they might be able to get away. As I say that, shots are connected, but not a whole lot more comes off of it.
Yeah, Reload there. Got a pretty good spray down, but just not enough time to finish the job. But, you know, out of one bad situation, potentially into another, SDK has to drive away from Tianba here.
Might just be going straight up towards Danoa, depending on where they opt to stop the vehicles. Setting up shop is here. A little unlucky for them that they have to move now. They would have wanted to wait those extra 15 seconds to see where the next circle is going to take them. But of course, the pressure coming through from the southern side didn't exactly make things any easier. Now let's see, where does the next one take us? We are headed down towards the southwest. Okay, so still plenty of terrain available. And what I like the most about this area, Paper, even if you don't have a compound, you can actually play the open. Because it's taller grass, because of the way the dips and the divots work, it's doable. Can he carry him from there? Can he do it? Can he get him up?
He's trying.
He's trying. Carry him.
Carry him?
Pan him.
Well, can you stick the res there, maybe?
We'll see.
And then see if that just pops him out.
Well,
I'm really glad they showed us that, because I saw it on the map and I was like watching it. I'm like, they're going for it.
They want to keep him alive. For the moments that we've seen success in Third Eye, Oldless has been a big part of that. So I do like the fact that they're committing to these reses. Now, rotations are coming through. Howl, the first one to try and execute one. Pow Pow, though, again, instantly there to find the knock and the flush to follow.
God, Pow Pow is on one right now. He is just making everything work. Linshu, good for the knock onto Apocalypse. So Howl here, trying to find some level of safety. The man now driving right into SDK. Richie B is just going to accept his fate.
Yeah.
Go down in the background. Ruin. Did the man get past SDK? Holy crap.
Sometimes you got to run the gauntlet. Sometimes you get rewarded. Issue for Ruin, as he ain't quite there with his teammate just yet, and I don't think there's a way for him to get out of this position, especially not with how they're positioned here on the side of Tianba right now. Chris falls down as well. That is yet another casualty on the side of Ascent.
Yeah, Send here in second place. One of those teams that we were looking to see if they could make the run. Tianba is one that now is in a position where if they can continue this unbelievable hot streak that they're on here today, they could find themselves challenging 17 Gaming in that final game. Luminosity working their way south to north, heading up as far as they can get in terms of compounds that are available. They will sit underneath SDK.
Yep, this fight is bound to happen. Batul in spots one. Can't fight the knock initially. Does get in the second time around. Blue there to assist as well. Third one falls, and that is it for Day Trade. No more Miramars left for them as they fall in 16th.
High hopes for Day Trade coming into these grand finals that they were going to be able to make a splash here along with Cerberus. But right now, they sit in 12th place, out early in this one. Have some work to do in that final game if they're gonna make a run towards that top 8.
Yep. Alia now with still a bit of rotation to make to get to the circle again. Lost Mill earlier on. Have to find an area of approach. H1 is knocked. I'm not sure if that came through from Na'Vi, but at least that's info fed across that something's happening in their direction. Ruin fell down. I'm not sure if that was Tianba players yelling in the background, but if they're hyped, I understand why.
I could hear those Tianba players. They're very excited. Every point is so important here, and the more damage they can do here,
yes,
the better. Cerberus now cutting through towards Third Eye. Few players fanned out for them. Fox, Adam, and Oldless still alive. Oldless very beat up, or excuse me, able to get the heals up, but Adam underneath, Himas drives right in. He has no idea. He has no idea.
This is just playing perfectly into what has become the playbook of Third Eye. Be sneaky for as long as you can and then make the play on out. Himas spots one though, Vox. Oldless not pulling the trigger early enough for his teammate to stay put. That's a bit surprising.
And then he can't find the spray, so he's given Himas the opportunity to maybe get a res. The rest of Cerberus wants to get involved here. He's got to switch over to the barrel. He gets it out in time. Around the corner, though, is Oldless. He's good for it. And he's going to stick the flush. So Himas does fall. Is Vox going to be savable? Some damage into Hisaki over towards 17.
Yep.
An important rotation coming through.
3 in the vehicle as well. We saw Little Ghost go down just before. Now a headshot comes through from the side, but this dip should be theirs for the taking. Should be theirs to claim for a while. Nades, though, already rubbing in as Xiao Bei is down to low HP.
Yeah, Genji has an opportunity here to maybe put this game in someone else's hands. The grenade, though, gonna go too far. Suju now gonna peel out in his Murado, leave Xiao Bei and Xiao Didi on their own in this dip. And yeah, he's just driving center circle.
Yeah, Might as well try and see what you can get off it. Now he's getting shot at, though. Hit twice, I saw on the map feed. As he's trying to prone this one out. He has the mat nearby, so we'll see if he gets to stay put or not in that center position.
There's still this fight here on the edge. Adam, there's no way that grenade's getting up there, buddy. I appreciate the attempt, but he's in trouble, to say the least. Gen.G is getting pressured on the north. The Mad and Suju positioned right next to each other. Long skirt proning down in the open. The rest of Tiamba. It's a 2-2 split here for Tiamba. So you got Pow Pow not too far away to back him up. LG, though, not really aware of his position, I don't think.
Yeah, no, Tiamba really needs to make a play. And what a story it's been for them. 10th place coming into today, now just 1 point out of second. It's been a huge climb, and the journey ain't over yet. Longskirt is the up-close strip, but with the smokes being deployed by Luminosity, there ain't really a whole lot they can do to properly engage it. And Onyx now getting a shot in onto Pow Pow as well.
Yeah, the high ground compound controlled by Danawa is giving them some sight lines down into this potential fight that's brewing. Longsker, though, springs into action. It has Flood down, but Mime immediately from behind. The Sonics want to get involved. They want points as well. Smokes are out across the board here as Pow Pow trying to keep Mime off the flanks.
Yep, so example go down to blue just before now. We literally cannot find an entrance to the circle, and the teams they do not want to give points to are the ones sat right in front of them right now. But with this fight brewing, you'd have to imagine that example tries to pull up on it.
All right, let's see what they want to do. Still 4 a.m. and Cerberus dueling down in the pip. And Onyx still putting some shots into this, doing a lot of damage in this fight. Longsker is back up and running. They got to make this fight happen soon.
Yep.
The blue is here. Longsker re-knocked. Now, Tianba has to push through a couple NA teams. 7-7 down. Lin Shu here, burning to the blue. A Mime's going to make short work of him. And now Luminosity is just holding the line.
And if there's a team that Sonics wants to take out right now, that is Tiamba. Now, though, they're running into the next one. Traded 1-for-1. Tiggleton falls, but so does Kickstart. Relo, too, goes down as Sonics try to make their way further towards this circle.
Yeah, the blue is doing a lot of the damage in this fight. H-Win and Mime still on their feet. Pow Pow is going to be able to get the heal off in time. Luminosity gone. Pow Pow still alive. And I believe the Sonics fell as well.
Exactly. Both the NA teams out right after one another. Pow Pow able to claim 1 more point. First stage is all he's got left to work with now, as the East Coast is still under full control. And Onyx finds Na'Vi. That is 1 more team eliminated. 1 more team on the hunt, taken out early.
Pow Pow now just sitting in the blue, trying to find the timing to maybe get back in. He's got plenty of first aid kits, I think, on the ground there with all those dead bodies right around him. So he can still hold on. Danawa now starting to get active in this, wiping out another team. They just wiped out Na'Vi. Now STK to follow.
Yep, they're playing full control towards that east side. Love the fact that we saw them flex down to take control. They already had a really good compound. Obviously now it's shifted away from. But the only reason they can now play safe from that spot is because they were daring. Because they opted to play so proactive. They have no threats now coming from that east side except for a potential Ghibli push.
Exactly. There goes Third Eye out into 10th place. A long battle on the edge. Ascend able to find some points here and there throughout. They've got 5 kills, I think, in this one. Tiamba is going to go down. Pow Pow out. So a big threat to 17 has been eliminated, but they have a couple teams around them.
The main concern is, while Little Ghost did fall early, 17 is still alive. Sat very center in the circle. So unless if Danawa has something to say about it, this could be top 3 territory, or maybe top 5, maybe top 3 territory for 17 once more. We'll have to wait and see once the next circle here is going to force Danawa to make a play.
As long as nobody wraps in from the north, Danawa is somewhat okay in this position.
Yes.
The real danger is going to be if like Gen.G or somebody tries to sweep that edge. Ghibli going to load up in the vehicle under fire from Ascend. The Mad waiting up ahead. Is he going to have to fight? Ghibli is going to drive right by him. He's going to have to make a go of it with the AUG, but nope. Can't find the connection, and Heaven is going to put Howl out in 8th place.
Huge for Ghibli to come out victorious in that one as well. It could easily, with the AUG in hand, been 1, 2, maybe even 3 down there. But now the fight has unfolded on the north side. 17. They have to be dealt with early if any of these other teams want to catch up.
Yeah, certainly some grenades are going to explode in front of Danawa, taking their time with this fight. Still a ton to fight for them. Xiaobei gonna load up with another frag. Nope, he's gonna, yeah, he did throw it. It is gonna go to the right there. Loki pinned down by the tree. Soul alongside of him. Some of their teammates watching the backside, but this fight hasn't gotten super crazy. Let's see if Pio can find a grenade to land inside of 17. No, it comes up short.
And I think Xiao Wu just picked up a shotgun inside that shack too. Could not be any better for him. Xiao Bei, those nades are going to bounce a bit too far. Not a whole lot of damage done with him. Circle shifts towards the roadside once more. So 17 still in, but because all these other teams aren't, the threats are getting that much closer.
And the good news is there's 0 kills for 17 Gaming if you're these other teams. Or 17 just hunkering down. Ghibli now encroaching towards Suju. Danawa just really being diligent. They know that Ghibli likes to get aggressive, so they have to keep them under watch. They cannot let them spring to action and start breaking ranks.
Exactly, Danawa being very cautious on this approach. They have Ghibli over on the other side. I think they heard the shots fired earlier between Howl and them. That nade could be absolutely on point. Sends 2 forward. Not gonna find anything though.
Oof. Didn't get the knock. Damage was done. They got to be careful here. Smokes are going to come out. Trying to buy time for Gumin to get back up to full health, or at least get the first aid off. Could be some players coming in behind. Still Ascend might have a role to play in this.
Yep, they are shooting up in that direction, trying to get them from behind. Solo on point. Second time around, finds the double toes. He forced the prone down immediately. And you can only imagine that Solo ups 1-1 over, now knowing exactly where they had them. But here comes the push. 4-man strong from Danawa, pushing aggressively on this one.
Yeah, they are trying to box Suju in, but it's going to be 17 Shouty D, who's got a cross angle onto Loki. And Onyx is going to be good for that kill. Now trying to keep Loki alive behind the rock. Xiao Bei and others trying to get involved here. Loki behind the rock should be safe. Is Gen G going to get into action? But Ghibli wiped out by Soul.
Soul gets all of them. Huge for them. I think when they pushed onto the shack, they thought there was another Ghibli player position there. They see it then, that it's a 17 player. A bit surprised, lost one initially, but able to get all 4 back up alive now as well. And you saw Ascent instantly off of that play, backed off. This is not 17. We don't want to take this fight right now, because Danawa, as of this very moment, ain't that much of a threat to us. We need to stay alive to take the fight to 17.
Here comes 4 AM on the backside of Ascend. Mika and Kilyakai very spread out, as is tradition for Ascend. Very rarely are they in a position to fight together. Is Xiao Lu and Crazy going to be able to identify the sneaky position? Oh my God, yep, they saw him. They saw him. The eye's too good. Pixel out of place. And Mika is down.
That could have been huge. We saw Mika 1v3ing day trade just yesterday. Could have been absolutely phenomenal. But for now, Kilyakai will have to play the rest of this match alone. Still 2 up for 17. Gen G is still yet to make an aggressive play across the road. Issue is, they have Twisted Minds sat right behind them.
But for every team that falls on these edges, 17 continues to profit, continues to get enough points to keep that lead out of reaching distance from some of these other teams, especially with Tianba going down. Ascend having a good game, but can they get much further? Can Kilyakai make something of this? Danawa now hammering down on top of 4 AM. They want to keep them boxed out.
Exactly. Danawa are playing the best PUBG that they know. We got to sweep edges. We got to take control. We cannot go aggressive on 17 because the risk of us getting pushed in from behind by 4 AM is too great. Figure out where is your most weak angle and take the fight to exactly that one. I'm loving what we're seeing from Danawa here.
Twisted Minds is just playing patient on the other side of things. Just something to keep in mind. Salute there. Getting some good damage into Xiao Lu. Yeah, he takes a bit in return. But now, Danawa gonna change angles here. They want to reposition this fight.
They've forced them off. They've seen the next circle shift go up towards the northern side. They know that 4 AM can still wrap back the other direction. Issue is 4 AM ain't really all about that. So as soon as they give up the angle, now 4 AM is running back towards Danawa.
I kind of like this, though. If you can somehow get 4 AM and some of these other teams that are towards this ditch along the side of the road to start fighting, Danawa could find a moment to third party this. It all depends on kind of how aggressive 4 AM gets here.
Yeah, sure does. Gen G not really wanting to go aggressive here either. Very happy to see everyone fight on the other side. These nades are getting ever so much closer, but still yet to find a knock.
Oh, that was dangerous for Danawa. They were right on top of each other there. A good grenade might have spelled disaster for them. The follow-up is good. Soul there as well with the shots from the M4. Finds the knock onto Xiao Lu. Crazy off to the side. Not much he can do but prone and try to heal. Xiao Lu bleeding out. Danawa on the hunt.
Exactly, with the knock coming through them, seeing him go down, seeing the rest of the team fall back. They know that they can reclaim so much terrain off of this, but it ain't done just yet. Crazy found one instantly traded, though they still have to find Summer up on the top.
Oh, Kilyakai coming to life here. Take Summer down, had the knock onto Anonix. Should be taken out here by Loki. Indeed he is. Taming going to put some party shocks into Danawa, but they've got 12 kills.
But who is benefiting off of this? 17 still alive. Second and third now out. Danawa needs to come out strong if they want to take this one home. But as I say that, it's Gen G wrapping over the top. Xiaowu down.
Nice push here by Gen G to find their first kill of the match. Patience and caution has profited for most of these teams, but it is Danawa who is doing the lion's share of the damage and the killing. Danawa now gonna be, oh, it's Perfectix finds the angle here. Lou as well now watching Danawa up and over the road.
They still have the Ridgeline issue as Twisted Minds haven't been forced to fight up close yet, so they have plenty of utility, and one well-placed nade here could be the downfall of the team, but just like that. Actually, you know what? I think that knock only comes through because he got rest, but nice return fire from Soul, takes out one in return.
Soul using his last grenade to try to finish the job on a Perfectix, but it's gonna bounce away from his target. Salute trying to wrap in, Batulin's now doing damage to Gen G. Twisted Minds springing to action, but they're gonna have to take a moment to go for the res here. Soul continuing to work around the edge of this road. He has gotten completely underneath Twisted Minds. Are they going to be ready for this?
One nade here could be absolutely crucial, but as you can see, Soul has literally zero lethal utility. He has to peek this one. He knows it's a 1v3. He has to go aggressive at some point, but when does he spring the trap? You can see Lou is already starting to look in the opposite direction. He knows something wrong.
Yeah, there's something, the danger senses are tingling here for Twisted Minds. Soul gonna wait, might have gotten spotted on that peak, I'm not sure. No, he hasn't been. He's got one. Can he find two? No, the re-peak hit the side of the hill, goes for another, cannot quite connect. No help to be found from Loki. Loki is isolated on the other side of the circle. Soul trying to come up with some heroics flashes to try to buy time here for Twisted Minds. And it looks to be keeping Soul pinned down, at least temporarily.
And while all this is going down, everyone's forgot about Xiao Bei, so he's just going to be proning this one out. Loki now pushes on over, finds the first one, just one left to be seen. Perfectix on the other side. Can't quite find him fast enough. The kill should come through, but as I say that, no, Pio from behind takes one out. Perfectix now with another.
Oh my God, Soul still alive. Perfectix hanging on for dear life for Twisted Minds. Soul gonna try to catch him on the edge, and he does. 7 kills for Soul, 14 for Danawa, but they are down to their last player.
And look at this, once again, 17 are scraping their way into top placement points. Not just a few, but they're getting top 3 after top 3 after top 3. What a way to play this one safe against their usual playstyle, because 17 is aggressive, but they're playing foot on the brakes right now, and it is working so well for them.
Everybody around them is just cannibalizing each other, and now Xiao Bei can just rest. There isn't much he can do now except try to maybe get that extra second place, get those extra points. Who knows? Maybe a kill and a flush here and there. But Gen G has firm control over their side of the circle, over the center part as Phase 9 approaches. Eventually, Xiao Bei going to have to make his way in. Oh, that Molly's so good.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's done.
Is he though? No, maybe able to crawl over that blue. It's going to tank him if it gets him just once or twice. Could be him dead now. They know exactly where is that. Flash going to leave him blind for a little while. Jumps on up. Flash run in return. Pio trying to make a flank around. Again, 1 point difference could be really the deciding factor in whether or not 17 comes out victorious here. One more tag from Blue. Hurts like hell at this one, and there he goes.
All right, Soul in a 1v4 versus Gen G. Korea versus Korea now, as Gen G is just going to press the accelerator. They want to finish the job, and yeah, it's quick and over. It's a trade, and Gen G finds a 5-kill chicken dinner.
It ain't much, but it is enough for them to stay in the race. Maybe not for the win, but for a top 5 place off of this. Issue for everyone else is, though, 17 did it again. They snuck their way in to a top placement.
Yeah. Huge game for Danawa as they continue their climb on the leaderboards, continue their march towards the upper echelons. But we are going to take some highlights, and then the deaths, guys. We have one more game. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to miss this.
Two Gs, 4 players, and 3 chicken dinners as Gen G takes home a chicken dinner a little late. I don't know if it's enough to get them into the top 3 or 4, but it was a great game by them. 17, however, yet again, grinds their way into the points.
Slowly and silently,
get into a center position in the circle, and then, yeah, of course, top 3 gets them 5 points. No kills, though, and Danoa had a fantastic game. If it wasn't for Danoa's rough day one, they would actually have been #1 or close to #1 at this point here.
I mean, it's official. I'm a Soul man because watching that game was incredible. Him and Loki going up over the hill to fight Twisted Minds was exciting and dynamic. But I think 17 in a good spot, and the reason that they are is you saw that they sort of had to send to a weird spot. Sonics had a great camp on them in the cave. They jumped out of the car. Gen G knew where they were and started using those nades, and they had the wherewithal to get in a vehicle and fake leave. They drove one player off while the other two just didn't even move. And then Gen G was like, oh, they left. Let's just preserve our utility.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Suju, that's super well played, of course. Getting into that shack there, it kind of took all the attention away, exactly as planned there, and they managed them to get those points. Those 5 points might be crucial there, because if it was, one more knock or like an opening or something like Gen G, they felt, it's also a hard push over that road. It's like, it's perfectly laid up that it's like a high ground. You have to peek over it like it's a ridge, so it wasn't worth for Gen G. And they managed to stay alive. They didn't get that many kills, sure, but they still managed to stay alive and get into, the win and get enough points to put themselves a little bit further in the top there. They, I will say, compared to what we saw in day 1 for them, day 2 and kind of the start of day 3 has been a little bit different.
I mean, when we talked about the start of day 2, Gen G was in 7th place. They slid pretty far down. They've had some tough moments, but this is a nice wake back up. We've seen a lot of teams who had some tough days, 2 and 1, sort of come out and play today. But again, a lot of this comes down to 17. How do you catch them? I will say Ascend, again, manages to get into the late game, manages to put points on the board, and Danoa does not say die. These guys refuse to give up. Take a look. We're going to show you our top 4 teams. Danoa is the one to look at right here because they had a long way to go at the start of this match to get back into that fight for possibly first. They should, I think, be in second after getting 14 kills in a chicken dinner. A 24-point game is impressive.
Yeah, super impressive. They had 21 points on day 1. They got 24 points in this game alone.
Yikes.
So huge game for them here, of course. Unfortunate. If they had like 10, 20 more points in day 1, they would literally been just contesting there for the first spot. But yeah, of course, huge game for them. If they wanted, if this one and the kills to boot with it, they would have been super close.
They would have been close. Let's before we show you how close they are, let's take a look back at the match. Sonics came out strong, got a couple of kills. They've been trying to put points on the board, but when that shift went away from Los Leones, they just couldn't make the transition, and that's where we lose them in 13th place. Then we jump to the Big 5. This is where things get a little bit wild because Danoa has to, I mean, that cross by Soul to get to this side and make that move on Twisted Minds was incredible.
Perfect timing. Of course, they have the smokes down, so you had a little bit of cover here. And then Loki's push over there with the barrel, opening it up, getting a flush as well, huge for them. Twisted Minds, though, super unfortunate for them. Like, they were actually 4 guys alive. They're looking strong, and then Danoa just come in and completely destroys them. Of course, 17 gets shut down, and then Gen G is just about finding the last player. Loki got spotted quite easily.
Yeah, the real winner in that fight was Gen G. They had the ability to just watch it from the high ground and wait to come through and clean up. And remember, our MVPs will come from the winning team. So will be one of these gentlemen. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Foxy takes the man of the match.
Yeah, that would be no surprise that, of course, with the 3 kills, there would be kind of expected. Yeah, Gen G, hopefully they can kind of push it a little bit further with the last game, make it exciting. But still, our mid-pack, our, second, third team, all the way down to 8th, it's going to be super, super close. Huge difference in prize pool, huge difference in PGS points, so that's going to be really important.
That's it. I think the prize pool, especially when you talk out of that 2nd and 3rd place, it gets a little bit less of a differentiation, but getting those points, because at the end of the day, all anybody cares about, these players, is they want to go to PGC. They want to play in the big show. They want to have the chance to lift that World Championship trophy. And the difference, 4 teams in the past, we've seen cutoffs as different as 14 to 20 points. So everything you can get matters when you're looking at the future.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, man on the match, Foxy, good to see him here. 3 kills. One of the lowest ones we've seen so far. If you look at the average there, usually there's a little bit more damage and knockouts coming in. Ascent, though, they ascend to the very top here for 80 kills total. Danoa, they're in there with the first place for... It's close, though. Look at that. All on 16,000 damage, except for Ascent. Super, super tight in terms of total.
You say Danoa, I say Dano win, because these guys have been playing so hard here today. Like, that fight with, like, sending Soul to the bottom, Loki going up over the top. Like, they knew they had no other choice for their win scenario. They threw everything they had at the wall, and they were able to walk away with a huge amount of points. Did they win the chicken dinner? No. Did they win the match in terms of points? Absolutely.
Yeah, and as I said here, Danoa
First day, 21 points.
Yep.
This game, 20 points. Super, super fantastic game for them here. Let's take a look at the overall and see how it changed it up. Yeah, it does a little bit.
I mean, it's close. Okay, so let's talk some scenarios.
Right.
Before this game, 17 looked so good. You and I were even joking in the green room about how were we going to come up with a scenario where someone can catch 17. But there is a world where Ascend and now maybe Donawa or Tiamba comes out, gets a massive game, gets first place. We just saw 20 points in a game, so that can get you caught up. The problem is, Ascend can do it, right? If they work really hard.
Yeah, I mean, Ascend with a win and, 8 kills, they could do good. Or Donawa with, 14 kills on a win, they could do good. But still,
The problem is 17. 17 has developed a defensive capability unlike we've ever seen. The circles, they're finding the right spots. At the end of the day, there's just not much that we can do to stop them. Now, if you want to get your hands on some cool prizes, you don't have to chase down 17. You can just chase down the code at the bottom of your screen. Type that in right now and get your chance to get some of those cool skins. Remember, they're only available until the 17th, so you can get them in-game if you don't win them for free. I'll tell you who's not going to win something for free here. 17. They do need to get into the late game. If they have a bad match, and we did see it once today, where they went out in that first 15 spots, Ascend can do it, and Donawa maybe, right?
with a huge game.
Huge game.
All win and double-digit kills, they could do it. But still,
So you're saying there's a chance?
17 gaming, they have been looking fantastic. And if everything comes to what we've seen so far in the grand final, they're going to get another, 10,
Yeah.
maybe 3, 4, 5 points guaranteed, but 10 if they get the kills going as well. They played extremely well. Their third-party opportunities have been on point. Their rotations have been on point, and how they've been able to manage to get into the late games again and again have just been on point every single time.
It's easy to give them a hard time about how slow they played these last games. It's because they played the rest of this grand final so well. Can they do it? Can they continue the run to the championship? It is time for our final game of PGS1 with your casters, Toby and Paperthin.
It's the twilight of PGS1. The clock is about to strike midnight. The carriage has arrived. And 17 Gaming is looking to see if that glass slipper fits, if they can finally be that Cinderella team, if they can finally take a global tournament, if they can finally take a tournament. Even in China, they've never even won the PCL. Toby, so much at stake here in this last game.
And it couldn't be written up any better. 17 Gaming, 17 points ahead of second place right now. It's Ascent on the hunt. It's Donawa, it's Tiamba on the hunt. They need good games, but most importantly, they need to take out 17 Gaming before they start racking up points.
Keep our eyes keenly aware of Pachinki, the center of the map. Will draw our attention. The bullseye of Erangel. We'll see if anybody's going to throw any darts out early. From what I can see so far, everybody is holding it close to the vest.
Let's let them loot. False sense of comfort, and that's when we get them.
That's the best way to do it. I think rotation traps are actually the best way to hot drop, quote unquote.
It is at least the more unpredictable ones in terms of if you just fly down next to an opponent, it's pretty obvious for them to go, well, we're going to be fighting. So we'll see. We'll see how things are going to pan out here as we jump into the final match of PGS1 again. Our eyes are here. Our eyes are on 17 Gaming. Will they get the first circle? Last game, we tried to get it as far away from them as we could. They still got third place. Let's see where this one is going to take us.
It's going to be hard based on that plane path to get one away from them initially, unless it's like a full milli circle or something like that. Circle will come out very shortly here, and it is going to be West, and that Cerberus cheering behind us. They love these circles, of course, but I want to go on a talk here about 17 Gaming, and I've been with this team for quite a long time. There's a lot of history for them in PUBG esports, I think a lot of people became aware of 17 Gaming as a team because of the Face It Global Summit and because of them being on the receiving end of the Captain Grenade.
Yes.
A kind of an inauspicious start to their PUBG Global career. Since then, they've been a strong team. They've been a really good team. But again, PCLs, PCSs, every kind of tier A or tier S tournament they've been to, every global tournament, second or third has been their best finishes. They've never been able to find that win. Show retires, the superstar for that team, the leader, the spiritual leader of that team now. And here today at PGS1, they may very well find themselves claiming a title.
And what better way to do it than doing it in the grand finals where the two
candidates, the two that we thought would be the victors, Petrichor alongside New Happy, aren't even here to do anything to try and prevent it from happening, because they are two of those teams that have time and time and time again been that stone in the shoe for 17, the ones to take the wins away from them in the very last moment.
Yeah, I mean, you think about, they've been in the shadow of those teams, 4AM and others as well. And even 4AM here taking some shots, Xiaolu just saying, we see you, we see what you're doing, we know. And I mean, to think about the way this tournament went, even for 17 Gaming. I mean, just crazy, not good to start. Crazy bad. I'm just going to call it what it was. It was bad.
It was a yet another case of if you keep hot dropping, either you come out really victorious or everything goes against you. And they got the worst side of that coin flip, no doubt about it. But again, that is in the past. They've bounced up, or they've turned things around, I should say, and they've gotten things going for them. And now, not only do they have a 17-point lead, but they're also sat, should they stick around here, dead center, phase 1.
An epic journey, to be certain. And already moving in towards the middle of the circle. Cerberus still kind of in looting phase, so kind of got to be careful with these positionings. You never know where Cerberus is going to pop up. They are a tricky team to kind of understand what they're going to do game to game.
Now, as we saw 17 jump into their 2-2 split, as much as it's dead center and it's good for them, as we see Vox just doing third eye things, this is pretty interesting because while it's dead center, it's also one of those spots where you know there's not going to be a full team in either of these two spots early on. So this is one of those spots that even if shots are fired towards you, teams still tend to commit to a push on because they know even if we pull up fast enough, we will have a 4v2 at least for the first 10 seconds until the cavalry arrives. So look for any of these teams coming in from the east, especially looking at Howl right now, to be one of those teams potentially to full on collapse on the compound, potentially taking out 2 from 17 early on.
I like what you're saying. I'm going to keep my eyes on it for sure. Our observers are definitely going to be keen on anything that happens with 17 in this game. Rightly so. We need to know every little moment that occurs in this, every slice of time that we can find. Can break it down to the well, it's called the plank length of time, which is the shortest amount of time theoretically possible. We need to see every bit and piece of it.
This is a perfect camera angle. Just keep it here, where we can see all of them running around. No, I'm kidding. There's, of course, plenty of highlights, plenty of moments to unfold in this match. The first one might be around the corner as Belmoth spots one, spotted the second as well. Doesn't want to take the shot initially. Mime now, though. If only he knew. Now seen, no tree for cover. Love the fact that he waited with that shot, but H went instantly their return.
Wow, Flash got shut down. He was waiting with open arms, but somehow H-Win able to recover and kind of expect the trap play here by Daytrade. Belmoth now gonna let loose with the grenade. It looks pretty darn good, but it just bounces too far. H-Win doesn't even take any damage from it.
That molly should be good. Those should force H-Win off the tree. Good thing for him is that his teammates have already deployed smokes, allowing for him to cross on over. And Sonics right now, while first place might be out of reach, they are in the midst of the big bunch of teams here. There are so many placement points, so many PGS points, so much prize pool money that could potentially go with or against them depending on how this match unfolds.
Now, this match could get bloody because there's going to be a lot of teams hungry for every point they can get to try to climb that leaderboard, to try to get into, again, those top 8 positions. Na'Vi, one of those teams we're looking at to see if they can recover from what has been a lackluster last couple of days. Daytrade now going to mount up in their vehicles, have a little bit of a kiss, and then move on with life. Donawa wrapping around North George. Well, just Soul and Salute, as I call them, the dynamic duo for Donawa. Alia taken down by H-Win.
Well, that's a good knock. Mel is in the nearby vicinity, but can't fully commit to that rest just yet. The remaining 2 Na'Vi players, again, in the 2-2 split, they now have to fortify. You have a player that has to go for the rest. He needs protection while that happens. So they're giving up, not that it's prime real estate, but a pretty good compound down towards that southeast. And if the next circle swings down here and somebody takes that away from them, that is a huge loss off of simply 1 knocked player.
4AM had to stop up short of going any further. I think crossing paths with Howl a bit. Apocalypse with an M24, a dangerous gun if he can connect, of course, can change a round instantly for a team if you get headshotted by it.
While the game quiets down, as I say that, of course, Howl just says, you know what, let me just check out 4AM. Can I join their team? Nah, crazy, don't want any of that. While we're now having a brief moment of quiet, 17's position right now tells me that they're not playing scared. Just because they play Cinder, just because they play quiet, doesn't mean they play scared. They play with so much courage and confidence. They're ahead right now. They know that everyone is gunning for them. They're in a wide 2-1-1 split. They just want to play smart, PUBG. And if smart PUBG right now for them is not playing aggressive, just playing placement points, then that is what they're going to do. So do not for a second, do not for a moment think that just because they're passive means that they're playing worried. They're playing incredibly smart PUBG, understanding their spot in the leaderboard, understanding the circle, and the situation that they're in.
Yeah, precisely. I have been very impressed with the way they've been handling themselves today. SDK right into Tianba, a team that maybe has hopes of trying to do something on this 7-7 with the opener on to Vegas. Purdy, Curdy, and Penta trying to wrap around into the house, but 7-7 having absolutely none of it. Alo down as well. 7-7 needs one more piece to complete the puzzle. Pow Pow here out in the open. Penta's up there, and it's going to be STK gone.
It in minds instantly take me back to Tempo Storm. Once tried to do a similar play, didn't happen. For the sake of SDK, they stayed alive for longer than Tempo Storm did back then. But kudos to Chiamba for staying alive throughout all of that. Caught by surprise, able to rack up all 4, and most importantly, 0 casualties on the side of Chiamba. They still need a good game. They need all 4 alive.
Absolutely. LG now swinging in towards Ghibli. Crashes on. Tosi with some damage. Oh boy, that just parks itself up and creates a ramp on the outside. Tosi trying to get out of dodge, trying to stay safe, able to with the help of that fence line. Good awareness there by Tosi of the angles that he was going to be visible from.
Really smart molly lob down as well, denying them the entry initially, able to now fall back towards his teammates too. They did manage to find Heaven up on the hillside, so they know it's a split. Now with Glass getting the rest on through, Luminosity has to be very smart about this one, because if the next circle goes anywhere near them, and even with Genji creeping in here as well, any team visible from behind, that's them out.
Tosi here. Whoops.
Happens.
Happens to the best of us. We've seen it throughout this tournament. Genji getting involved. There was a knock on to Glass. Heaven as well, knocked by Uba. It's Ghibli falling apart at the seams. Everybody is looking at them from multiple different angles. There is no safety to be found.
Not at all. And for Na'Vi, getting 3 points here is huge too. Look at the leaderboard. They're currently set down in 10th, but look at how close they are. All the way up to 5th place is just 13 points. Could be huge if they can get some more 3 points over this. While the first one didn't exactly get to them. Only the knock was found. No flush confirmed just yet. 3 points here could be game winning.
You may be asking yourself, why is everybody at this compound on the southeastern edge? Well, people want points. As soon as these fights kick off, everybody starts turning their attention towards them to see if they can find anything. But Genji realizing there is not much profit to be found. They're going to leave players there. Circle is going to hard shift up to the northeast. Now, 4 a.m. out with Vox. Vox there with some long-range AK sprays is doing some serious damage.
Yep, Lu down to low HP as well. Xiao Hai too down to low HP. Adam actually finding him with the scar from even further away. Huge damage coming through from Third Eye. Really wanting to put a dent in 4 a.m. and hold this now with the SLR taking out Xiao Lu. 4 a.m. look good in this position. They got the shift, but Third Eye once again wreaking havoc on teams that try to make their way up the leaderboard.
Yeah, just crazy stuff here. I can see Howl potentially drifting towards this fight. I think if there had been a knock on the Third Eye, they might have been keen to get involved in this, but so far it's been clean for the NA squad. Nurins and Buchils, survivors from the earlier affairs for Day Trade, going to be driving center circle looking for some kind of compound, some kind of safety. There's not much to be found until you get all the way over towards just south of the ruins.
Yeah, it happened off camera, but 17 Gaming has regrouped as well on that southern side. So look for them to try and stay put in that position for as long as possible. Towards the west we go as Howl in trouble. They found 2 onto Na'Vi, but taking casualty themselves as well. Cerberus instantly saw the rotation coming through. Howl falls 15th place. That is them out 11th for now. We'll see if they drop further down the leaderboard as this game unfolds.
It's a big loss for Tiamba. They're losing Lin Shu. Mel with a good grenade finds the knock onto Flood. Another out from Uba. Is that going to get anything else? No, it doesn't go far enough. LG mostly able to avert disaster here so far. Grenades up into the upper stories. A little bit of damage to Snakers and Relo. But so far, LG should be A-okay. That grenade not going to connect either.
Avi just needs as many points as they can. Yeah, no reason to stick around, no reason to try and hide it out. Mika able to find Dano, and honestly with all these fights going on right now, 17 are laughing. They're enjoying everything they're seeing. Let these top teams, let the ones on the hunt take out one another. That is the playstyle they've been executing all day long. We don't have to fight. Let's just let these other ones wound one another. As long as we outlast them, as long as we outlive them, we will come out victorious. This fight for 17 Gaming fans, they are in joy.
Soul, a huge moment here for Danawa. No escape route that I can see right now. He might just have to fight this out. Certainly he knows that there are other Ascend players coming. Gonna throw a smoke, try to buy a little bit of time. Gonna switch over to that Saiga and the Scar. He knows that this is there's no other hope here except to win an up-close and personal battle until the rest of his team can get in a position to give him some cover.
I'm looking at Ascent and seeing, is there a way for them to back out of this? Is there a way for them to wrap down towards that southern side and get out of this? Issue is Mika is too deep in. He's on the other side. You can see east side of Gatka here. Doesn't have his vehicle anywhere near. He is in trouble, and I think that's the issue for Ascent. They simply cannot leave him. Knowing how many points they need in this match, they cannot leave their fourth behind. They need to try and defend. They need to try and get him. But if he falls fast, expect to see Ascent try and get out of this position.
See if Danawa is going to be mentally aware of the way that Ascend likes to position themselves, the way they like to play. It's spread out, it's ratty, no doubt about it. But that has been so successful for them. What a grenade from Mel. Finds a ton of damage onto LG. Footsteps are one. Oh, so good from Mel. Right on point. Takes down Stakers and Flood. Kickstart on the roof. Can do nothing but watch.
We can't do the math, but Mel got all the geometry down in order to get that one through. Second ones will fall as well as Luminosity continue to take casualties. Ascent alongside Danawa. This fight has been brewing for a while now. Mika will fall. Loki able to fight one, so damage already done on both the two teams chasing.
Now it's all into Soul. Ascend here trying to stun him up, trying to flush him out. Molly's in hand as they continue to push angles. Soul backed into a corner. Gonna use a stun of his own to buy a little bit of time, but Brex crossed. Soul here has to back up. He gets a little bit of damage. He's gonna push through the Molly. Is on fire, dodges the grenade. Some fancy footwork here trying to find the knock, but he can't find it. There's one, there's two. Soul, he needs one more, but it's a grenade from Brex. Sir, it takes down his teammate, but they do find the kill.
And the collapse is coming there instantly here. Soul bought as much time as he could, and that is going to be Ascent in trouble. Brex go though somehow still alive. 7 HP to work with. Salute now wrapping around the corner. That's gonna be denied, and that is going to be Ascent down and out in the final match of PCS 1.
17 Gaming can only watch the kill feed and smile now. The teams that were threatening them the most are beating each other up. Still Tianba with 3 alive. Still potentially a role to play in this perhaps, but it is looking all but over. Kickstart now. Taking a grenade to the face from Uba. Uba gonna launch another one there, but he is dealt with by Kick, and LG hangs on.
Luminosity looked perfect in group stage. Na'Vi did so in winners. Now both of them crumbling here in the final stage. Tianba able to find one more. That's Danawa out. We have one team on the hunt. Currently sat 19 points behind our current first place team of 17 Gaming.
Yeah, there's almost no way. It is a
9 kills and a win.
It could happen.
9 more kills make that and a win.
Yes, they need a lot more
14,
kills.
14 kill win, 3 players alive. Come on, Tianba. Make it exciting.
Hey, Tianba, if there's any team right now in this lobby who can get it done, it's them. They're playing out of their minds today.
They sure are. On the very western edge of this circle, this next shift could be tournament deciding. 17, again, has been lucky with some of the circles going their way off of the positions they've been opting to commit to early on. So far, they're all in on that southern side. But let's see if maybe, for the sake of Tianba and all their fans, this next one can shift towards them. And maybe Luminosity, hearing shots in the compound. Are they committing to it? No, I think they're swinging around.
Yeah, they're going to fan out and try to avoid this altogether. But Relo took the worst angle here, and he may be punished for it. Skirting around the side of 17, and yeah, the Xiao Bei is going to find another point, and that just makes things all the more difficult.
Need another one. 10 kills from here on out. 14 kills, now make it 15 kill win for Tianba needed in order to best 17. It's looking impossible, but if there's a stage for it, if there's a time for a comeback history to be real, they started the day in 10th place. If Tianba pulls this off, that would be a comeback of a lifetime.
No doubt about it. Sonics into Cerberus territory, 2 knocks, and well, the Sonics are gone. Snap your fingers, and Sonics will find themselves out in 11th place. Circle's gonna shift down to the southeast here.
Oh, 17 is still in. Yep. They are still inside the circle, you guys. You had your chances to take them down early in the previous games. You didn't, and now they get to live to write home about it.
Sonics will currently sit in 5th after being removed, so who knows? Maybe Ghibli with 2 players can find some success, can climb themselves. Cerberus, Twisted Minds as well.
I mean, for Sonics as well, for Cerberus to get those kills, if there's a team you want to take out and get those points for, and on the flip side of that coin, for Sonics, if there's a team you do not want to give those points to right now, Cerberus 4 alive at just 6 points down. Huge for them to rack up so many points here. Now, that's 1 from 17 down. Tianba, when do you make the aggressive play? You need so many kills in order to win it, and you need to take out 17 in order to make that happen.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a long range shot.
Yep.
That is, oh my God, that's like 600, 700 meter knock.
And off of the knock, even though they're both inside, they just instantly fortify. They know, great, now they know where we are. Now we have to play it smart. Now we have to play it together. Again, do not mistake 17's patience for weakness.
Absolutely not. Ghibli here, nothing to play but this kind of protection of foliage from the trees in this hillside. And that's about all they got. I'm really keen to see if Tianba is going to make a move towards 17. Shots from Imas. Taming very, very weak here is Genji trying to get into somewhere to some kind of safety, maybe the edge of the field, but not much left in this circle to work with.
Nope, and if there's one team we don't want to give the points to right now, that's Little Ghost finding the double spray with the barrel in hand from the other side. 1 point confirmed. One stolen away from Kickstar, but Genji falls in 10th.
Instead, Tiamba's going to try to fight Cerberus here. We've already seen Cerberus stalwart on their defense. Hisaki with the hip fire, taking down 7-7, but long skirt, good for the knock onto him. Himas trying to come to life. Taikon got the knock on to long skirt. Pow Pow, last one alive for Tiamba. The last hope for anybody or anything to stop 17 from winning this event.
Trying to now make his way on over. That nade will be close. Not going to be enough, though. And I think with Pow Pow being a sole player left alive, it's probably going to be written as is that it's going to be practically impossible for anyone at this point to catch up to 17. But with that said, still so many PGS points to play for. Still prize pool to play for. So much on the line for these teams, regardless of whether or not they can make first or not.
Yeah, still a lot of teams in the top half of the leaderboard alive, clawing for every point they can. If those are grenades, they're going to be pretty darn good. Cerberus maybe out here. Pow Pow with a great grenade, finds 2. Still Himas on the flank, but Pow Pow continues his reign of destruction.
Can't peek over just yet, and knowing that he has Cerberus nearby on the leaderboard, he needs to rack up as many points as he possibly can now. Circle shifting away. He needs to get that heal off. Does he do it in time? No, not going to happen. Tianba down and out.
Well, we know how this will end, but let's find out the road that we take to get there. It's Third Eye sitting by Puchil's and Nurin's outside of the next circle as it shifted back towards the field, downhill direction. But a great day from Tianba. Hats off to them.
Definitely. What a climb.
Played amazing today.
What a climb. 2 points out of second. Started the day in 10th.
Unbelievable.
Huge.
Oldless running out of bullets. Gonna have to reload. Vox with a bolt. Still some work to do here to get into the next circle, as Puchil's is just kind of plopping himself down, waiting to see if there's any movement in his direction. How is Third Eye going to take this? I mean, my assumption was with Third Eye was just want to fight.
Yeah.
But, instead, Nurins catches Vox out in the open.
I'm not sure if Puchil's even started shooting, so I don't think they're necessarily fully aware of his exact position off of this. Nice double headshot coming through from Nurins there to claim that one, and potentially leaving him unseen, and indeed he did. Adam falls.
There you go. Puchil's waiting around the corner, just seeing if any more of Third Eye is going to be coming out. He knows there's still one left, and they are just going to be keen to watch that door. Smokes have to come out from Oldless, try to make his way through, but this is hard, to put it nicely.
Yeah, ain't gonna be easy whatsoever, especially with the circle, as you said, shifting away from them. Day trade, trying to clean up as best as they can, trying to rag up some more points. They are set just 1 point behind for him. And again, PGS points on the line here. You want as high of a placement as you can possibly find. Finding him there as Norrens goes down. As Norrens finds Oldest, sorry.
Yeah, day trade now. Still, maybe could get a little bit further ahead. We'll see. As they are in the blue, they're going to have to mount up and roll out. So Lalzi and Himas still alive for Cerberus, sitting in 7th. Every point could be a change in that leaderboard. Getting shot from a couple different angles, Twisted Minds with a lot of players alive, and they are up on the hillside. It is going to be Spiro. Who's going to get that knock?
While we have our eyes on 17 as well, just massive kudos to them. 3 second places today. They started the day off with a win. Now they make top placements again. They're a team we know to go aggressive. They're a team we know to not really care too much for the placement points as long as they get the kills. They've just shown all the passive teams how to play passive PUBG. Phenomenal performance in a day where they know there's so much pressure on them to perform well.
And now they can just start fanning out and go for it. Yes. I mean, they could just start going for some highlight reel plays, just get, farm some clips for the old TikTok there. And Twisted Mind's going to be pushing down the hill. Nurin's going to finish off Tosi. Ghibli's run has been ended, but what a performance from them. What a absolutely just pleasant surprise they were here in these grand finals.
A lot of surprises in these championships so far, and Ghibli, definitely one of the bigger ones. Did not see that one coming whatsoever. Now, Suju, Xiaobei, I think they know that this one is going to be theirs for the taking. They're fanning outside of the circle to find some of these last kills.
Yeah, Puchill's trying to find the heads, but cannot. Grenade comes up short, fortunately for him. Smokes have to come down. Lil Ghost has a crossfire. That's going to allow Xiaobei to push forward off the backs of these defensive smokes. Grenade is going to be out. Nurin's here, a little bit too far away to take much damage. Only 9 comes through. Looking to see if they can get his teammate revived.
Loving that we're seeing 17 not just care for the championship. They want to win the final game too. They're not done playing until the fat lady sings, and she hasn't sung just yet. One more comes through. That stage trade out. 17 again, taking matters into their own hands.
Love to see it. Just absolutely phenomenal stuff here from 17. But now they have their most formidable foe left here in this game. Twisted Minds to their north. They will be looking in this direction. A straight-up 4v4 could be very exciting. With Himas out, it is 2 teams remaining. It is EU versus who will certainly be our PGS1 champion.
And if Twisted Minds win this game, there might just be a top 3, top 2 spot available for them. Another big comeback in Grand Finals. They did not start off strong here in the Grand Finals, but they have played really, really well today.
Xiao Didi now making his way to join the rest of 17, or at least create an off angle here. Xiaobei waiting. Batulin's on the edge of the blue, is going to be forced back. And Xiaobei knows it. He knows that Twisted Mind is in a tough spot, especially with this position.
Yeah, exactly. Both Xiao Wu and Perfectix playing kind of the backfill protector roles, trying to get overview roles, and both Spear and Batoons, they have to back off. It's simply too strong of an angle to a push. So Shu able to find Batoons. That's 1 down.
All right, that's 1. 3 more to go here. Xiaobei's spray just not quite good enough. Took some damage from Perfectix at the end of it. Suju comes downhill, taken down by Lu. So still hope here for Twisted Minds to come through with the final win.
And again, for Twisted Minds, they know that they need points. They gotta try and go for the flush. Just 1 placement point extra, one kill point extra could be the deciding factor in both prize pool and PGS points.
Lu now under pressure from Xiao Didi. A lot of damage being done. A grenade splashing by Xiaobei, still alive. Still trying to do something, but a great grenade from Spyro has Xiaobei down.
Little Ghost and Wu just with hay bales and a vehicle for cover each. We'll see if they can somehow bring this one home. 2 versus 3. Twisted Minds has the better outlook, but they are not inside the circle just yet, at least not Spyro and Lu.
No reason not to play for it here for Twisted Minds, but it's downhill out in the open of a crossfire between Lil Ghost and Xiao Didi. See if they can get it done. Shots are starting to ring out. Lu is down. 1 player left here for Twisted Minds, or 2 players left, excuse me. Perfectix out in the other side of things. Spiro down. Okay, now it is 1 player left here for Twisted Minds. Perfectix gonna be spotted. Lil Ghost dialing him in. Is almost down and out. The cherry on the top here for 17 could be coming shortly. Perfectix still trying to do what he can to win this out. Xiao Didi not going to have any of it. He's going to try to flank out, try to finish the job. Perfectix still trying to keep himself in this, wants to win this game. Like you said, Toby still has something to play for. Some time being bought. Xiao Didi now taking some shots, but Perfectix with some smoke. Maybe a little time left.
And he's not inside the circle yet either. 1 smoke locked on forward. We'll have time to get 1 more first aid off, but this run is going to be so damn difficult. They know exactly where they have him.
He's in trouble, to say the least here.
That is putting it lightly.
To say the least. This will be tough. Still some smokes left here. But you can see that Xiao Didi and Lil Ghost, plenty of bullets left. Plenty of angles to find. As the time ticks down here, phase 7 drawing to a close. And now...
What a game of 17 can bring it home in the final one, too.
Oh, I know. I mean, this would just be a wonderful finish if 17 is able to get this done. Gonna confirm the kill there on the outside of things on the Spiro. Perfectix, maybe if he could find 1 knock on one side, he could still get this done. He's gonna get in the vehicle. Bold play here, but has to make some kind of maneuver. The shots are starting to ring through. If they can just find the head, they will have a win. And they will have themselves a championship. The spray comes through. 17 Gaming takes the chicken dinner. And at long last, your PGS1 champions will be 17 Gaming. Unbelievable stuff, Toby. Absolutely unbelievable stuff from this team. Just a